Spit your facts. Hey guys, here we go.
You believe in it. You believe in it, right?
Have you ever done psychedelics?
It's like a cult.
Have you?
I can't confirm or deny that here.
Can't confirm or deny.
Yeah.
So let's say in the case you did do them, do you think that would make your theory of the flat Earth more realistic or less realistic?
There's objective truth. You got to be sober at some point, right?
I'm not okay.
You know, so like I was into flat Earth for a long time, a year and a half, until I really convinced that this is true and this is worth me like talking about.
What proof do you have that the Earth is flat?
Water's flat.
Okay.
That isn't like enough proof though.
It is proof, because how does water bend to make a ball of which we can't reproduce here on Earth? Can you reproduce it? Can you reproduce a floating ball in like 3 feet above the ground? Can you do it right now? Here's a bottle of water.
No, but the gravity is extremely strong.
Okay, so that's a preconceived notion, and if you want to assume that's true,
proven.
no, it's not proven.
Mathematically,
It's a theory.
No, it's
a theory.
Gravity is a proven theory.
It's a theory, though.
No, it's a.
I'm a man. Is that a
proven.
theory?
It's proven.
Is that a,
That's gravity.
that's gravity right there.
No, it's just that this weighs more than the air around it, and the air can't hold it up.
Wait, so you don't believe in? Wait.
It's not that I don't believe it. You just
don't
call
believe
it
in
something that I
gravity?
don't call it. You use gravity, and then you turn it into some like fantasy story about planets and
Wait,
everything
so
else
you don't
that's out
believe in
there.
gravity? Is what you're saying?
I don't believe in the nomenclature that you call gravity and what
So
it does.
Add me
believe
on
that
Snap.
if you throw your water bottle up and it comes back down, that's not gravity. That's just it being heavier than the
Yeah,
air.
it's just buoyancy and density. Really, that's all.
And you believe that the proof that the Earth is flat is because water is flat?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So when does water, like, what distance can you see water start to bend here on Earth? Could you give me a distance?
But
You can't see it bend because gravity pulls it down.
No, you should be able to see curvature. At what height can you see curvature of the Earth?
I don't think humans can see that far.
unless we
you're
go
on,
up
like, a high
into like the atmosphere or up there, like
On top of
then you
Mount
can start
Everest.
to see the
Mount
curvature
Everest
because
is
Earth
curvature.
is extremely big.
Okay.
Like that's why we can't see what the. That's why I look down there and it's not necessarily curving because of the fact that Earth is so big. We're so small. We're on the surface.
How big is the Earth?
Well, I mean, I don't know that off the top of my head, but I mean,
I do, and that's why I'm here. So if you were just to get more informed about your world and where you live and like your place you were born and care about it, I know we're not taught, and that's a shame. And if we were taught, then we'd have a bunch of flat earthers around here.
Not everyone remembers these.
No, we don't. We're actually really not taught it. Because if you're taught it, you're tested on it, and then it's something that you would remember, right? Because that's the only way Americans remember
I remember
anything.
every single thing in school because I remember in science class in like
I remember
sixth
getting
grade
pushed
they
into the
talked about how
lockers.
big the Earth is and
What
stuff.
does that have to do
But I
with
obviously don't remember that now. I don't remember the units and stuff because what do I need that for in my
Exactly.
everyday life?
So I would encourage you to get informed on that, and then you would be
But this is false information.
enlightened. On
this
it.
is
No, it's
false.
not. It's
It
not
is
because
false
you haven't looked into it. Just because you're
It's a
ignorant
conspiracy,
about
but
it.
it's
No
a false-
offense,
it's
but
false information.
you just don't know about
If
it.
this
Yeah,
is
you
false
can-
So-
It's like
information,
actual videos of satellites.
dude. Okay, I think this is his point. He's trying to say that because we have not been in space and seen the curved Earth, we can't say that it's curved.
Well, it's a religion. I mean, how?
not a religion.
Yeah, it is. You're
not a religion.
you're basing your belief on where you live about Earth on other people and their testimony that
What-
they've given you. You haven't
What
verified
benefit-
anything.
What benefit do they have on lying about this?
What?
Exactly, that's
But
what
why?
I'm saying.
Well,
What
why
benefit
don't you
do they
look
have
at
on lying against
look at the
about
truth?
No, but
Look at the truth of the matter, and that's
It's not
water
the
laying
truth.
level flat, and then you
It's
can
not
go
the-
into
but what benefit?
ideas
Because
and conspiracies
there's no
about
reason
why
at all
they
for
would
them
do
to
it.
lie about this. There's no reason at all.
putting
So
that aside,
what?
You were
benefit
lied
do
to
they have?
about Santa Claus.
Hold on 1 second.
Why would your
I got
parents
one
lie to you about
That's
Santa Claus?
so much different. That's just like
something to be excited
like
about.
cultural because
No, it's a
like,
lie.
question.
Like
I have one question for
Being
you.
lied to.
What does the Earth being flat and people that think that it's not flat have to do with mass though?
Lois loves this question.
You don't believe it, so you think all the countries around the world?
Welcome,
Why?
Lois.
Can I just say
Welcome.
yeah.
Okay, like, I don't care if you believe it or not. Like, wear a mask for your friends. Like, if
That's
they
what I'm
believe
saying.
My friends
It's
don't
not
wear
about- It's
masks.
not about you. It's about
So
that's
about giving it.
It's
not really.
You're
But
so
like
your friends are
you're
sick, they
you're
know
like
that.
furthering endangering other people. Let's say you go
Prove
out
it.
to Target and
prove it.
Prove it.
Yeah, prove it. Prove that I'm going to kill them. What's the percentage of the mortality
you're
rate
not
for
going out and
coronavirus?
just stabbing them.
What's the mortality rate for
Still
coronavirus?
140,000 people
about
have
one
died
per
from
patient.
corona.
Okay, wait.
How many people died last year of the flu?
You tell us
That-
about this.
How many people were aborted.
We have a vaccine for the flu.
You don't
We
have a
don't.
vaccine
I
for
wouldn't
corona?
take the vaccine.
The main.
I don't
Wait,
take
you-
vaccines.
You're unvaccinated?
Oh yeah, but since last time I took one was like 2004, I think. Yeah. So I'm getting everybody sick. Blah, blah, blah.
I don't get the flu.
Yeah,
I
she's
don't
getting
get the
people
vaccine.
sick too. But doesn't your flu vaccine help you from me? Isn't that how it works?
Yes, but
Okay,
you have to
so
think
fair
about
enough.
other people that also don't get
No,
vaccinated.
but you get the vaccine.
No.
And if people choose not to get the vaccine, they're just like me, and we can give high fives and hug and be not social distance. We don't have to worry about social distancing.
Wait, what's your reason for not wearing a mask?
I just don't want to.
See, that's
This is
so
a-
ignorant.
This is America. No, it's not actually ignorant. The
Please
CDC,
explain.
the CDC says
Wait,
that masks are in
Trump
no
2020
effect. If you go on my YouTube
Trump 2020?
stream right
Trump
now,
2020 though?
you can
That
you
is
can
the-
go
that is the-
and
if
look
you're-
at
Wait, can I get a card actually?
Okay, I have links.
No, I'd actually like a card.
Don't touch the
I have CDC links on the video, so that's where I get my information.
I do want to check it out later. Though.
About
I want
wearing
to
a
see his
mask.
argument.
Looked at it.
I'm not sick. I don't show symptoms, so I don't feel I need to wear a mask.
But you
just like
could be
Fauci said.
asymptomatic.
Yeah.
And then also,
Fauci
people,
said that, so just a heads up.
What kind of disease is it if it produces no symptoms?
Yeah, what kind of
does
disease
produce
produces no?
symptoms.
No, but
I
you're
know,
asymptomatic.
there's
There's
some people that's
asymptomatic.
asymptomatic
Yeah, exactly.
where they
No
don't show
problem.
symptoms,
Then
but they
there's
can
no
spread it.
Have it.
No,
They
but you can
still
still
But you
spread
can still
it.
spread it. That's the thing.
No,
Yes, you can.
no, the CDC said that you
It is a
can't.
deadly disease. People are dying
I
from
don't
the
know.
disease.
I mean, I got
It's a
my
deadly
links
disease.
here. You can go onto my YouTube channel, look them
Go
up.
on here, guys. Let's see
So
this.
You could go on the CDC
to you.
website.
How do you
I
get the
do.
common cold?
I do.
How do you get the common cold?
So
I don't know.
believe
You tell
corona
me,
is fake?
because you seem more aggressive than everybody
I'm
else
saying, how do you
here.
get the
So
common cold? Like, if you're any-
Oh, you're being
I don't
aggressive.
get.
You?
I
I'm
don't
just
get
saying.
flu
You just showed up.
colds and I don't
You're just
take
mad
any
because I don't
of
agree
that.
with you.
So
So how do
I'm
you?
not
saying
mad.
you've never gotten
I'm
sick
saying
before?
you're ignorant.
Years ago
If
when I
you've never
used
gotten
to
sick,
get
you're just
flu
lucky.
shots,
So good
When you used to get flu shots, you got sick.
Really good
You don't get
immune.
sick. I don't know.
I mean, there's a lot to do with diet and way you
I
think
take a
about
good
life
diet.
and everything
I take care
else.
of my diet. I work out
So
every day.
good for you.
So, like,
Awesome.
I try to make sure that I'm good and healthy.
That's good.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
I hope you plan on having a wife and reproducing,
I
so
mean,
that we
but
can have
wearing a
more
mask
human
is
beings.
kind of
I
a.
don't.
you.
I don't plan on reproducing.
Okay, well, that's your choice.
Me either, actually.
That's your choice.
I don't want my
you know?
kids to live
But we
in
want
a-
human beings. We want more human beings.
Fucked up. Let's fix
I love
it.
people. Human beings are
I
good.
do too. And
I don't
that's
like
why we
eugenics
wear
programs.
That's why
masks.
it's a common courtesy to wear a mask because so that you don't infect other
No, it's not.
people. It is.
No, I'm
Because
not.
then you're endangering the people around you.
That's not fair to say that.
So you
It
think
is fair to say that because that's how the disease
No, nobody
spreads.
was wearing a mask last year.
asthma?
Because there
Why
wasn't
wasn't-
corona.
Where
Do
is-
you
where is-
understand that this is
Where is the?
This is a
I don't
new
see the
disease
pandemic
that was
anywhere.
just spread.
I mean, you can't
It's
see.
came. How did you verify it came from
What you're
China?
saying.
Because
Because it's been
that's where it
proven.
started.
How has it been proven?
I don't know. You have the facts.
Oh,
Look
okay,
at
so
them.
you can't give me any facts. Got it.
A person with asthma should be wearing
You just
a mask,
hear what you
especially
hear and you
because
believe
they
it.
are more prone
Like
to
a
getting
religion.
more serious
I-
Like a church.
You can't say
Well,
that with
that's
their
completely-
My little
that's
brother-
completely different thing.
My little brother
say
has
what they're
asthma.
saying
He
is
wears
not
a mask.
factual, and
He
say
doesn't
what you're
complain
saying
about
is
it.
factual. Just because what you said, you believe
Okay.
is true.
in the car
Okay,
together.
I'm
You have
not-
to
I
be
don't-
open-minded. Listen to other points of view.
But I have. That's why I'm
You're
here.
being very
That's
close-minded.
why I'm here.
You said don't wear masks because you don't think they
I'm a
should.
very
That's being
open-minded
close-minded.
person,
Shitty is real.
unless I seriously believe.
Really shitty.
CDC recommends that people wear
One
cloth face
mask,
coverings in
put
public
another one on
settings.
top of it.
Huh?
The CDC recommends.
Recommends, right? Is it a law?
Come here, bro.
No,
Okay,
now it
so
is.
it's not a
Now
law.
Now it is as of tonight.
It is a common courtesy too.
I can go into a store and say I'm medically or religiously exempt, and I
No,
can walk around the store.
Not religiously.
Yep.
There's no medical
Explain.
condition that
Do
says
it.
you cannot
Do
wear
it.
a mask.
10 times, 10 different stores. I'll bet you get into 8 of them.
I don't want to. You know why?
Okay. Then,
Because I want to wear.
then verify whether I'm telling the truth or not.
Politics?
Hey,
No, I'm not.
Are you
I know that unfortunately they label a lot more Republicans with non-mask wearers, but no, I don't.
he's not ignorant. He's just
I'm gonna get a
fed
little
false
political.
information.
Part is like
Are you a drinker?
I mean, I look into information that's not
Yes and
common.
no.
I was diagnosed with
that
psychotactile.
basically even into this information.
Yeah, it's a mental issue where you just believe all these crazy things that aren't mainstream.
Wait, so you just admitted that you believe all these crazy things that are not real?
No, all these things that mainstream
has-
wouldn't
No,
agree
because
with.
he wants to be different. He wants to
Yeah,
be
I want to be different.
He's trying to be
I like to get attention.
Wait, you were
So you're a
diagnosed?
clout seeker. That's
You're
what I'm
not
hearing.
6 feet apart. Why aren't you?
That's what I asked. I asked them. They didn't-
Because they're like this
They
for
didn't
my
really
medical
have-
reasons. They have to be close to me for
She has
some stuff.
diabetes, and So we are the only ones that have
Really,
been,
Yeah.
close.
okay, I don't think anyone should wear a mask if it's gonna cause them to faint or they're gonna have a hard time breathing.
But
My little brother has asthma. He still wears a mask with no problem.
same as
I
my
have
dad.
There's no medical
asthma.
condition
I can wear
that
a
says you
mask.
cannot
I
wear a
actually have
mask.
a legitimate lung condition. I had to go to a breathing therapist.
Isn't it selfish for you to
No,
tell us not
it's
to wear masks?
It's selfish for you
Same
not wearing a
idea.
mask. It's selfish for you.
the exact same idea.
What are you told?
No, I'm
How are
responsible
you
for
against
myself.
your own
I'm
word
not
now?
responsible for you. I put on a seatbelt to protect myself.
That's
don't-
not.
Yeah, I put on a seatbelt to protect
Not
myself.
so
too.
horrible.
That's a,
Reason why they
that's
actually-
a terrible analogy.
My seatbelt doesn't make your
No,
mask
that's
work.
a terrible analogy. It's
And
not about
my vaccine doesn't make your vaccine work.
But we're
So
not in the same car together.
The reason
It's
why
like-
they actually made the
but
seatbelt
we
is
are
because
if you
World
not
together.
put
if you're
can harm
if
you.
you're rolling with me
Safety
down the
because
street
if
and
you
I
don't have
ask
a
you to put your
on, you're
seatbelt
going
on, will you do
like
it?
40,
Yeah.
right? In a car
Why?
crash,
Yeah,
you will go
Why?
out
I
of
don't
your
wanna
window.
die.
Okay, I don't want to die either, so that's why I put mine
Something will come out
on.
of your
But if
window,
I ask, if
and
you
you're
ask me to
projectile
put a
from
mask
here
on,
onto everyone
that's my
else.
choice.
Can I say
No,
something?
it's-
Can I say
that's
something
how
real
you
quick?
see it. Okay.
That's the
That's
reason why
the
they
We
actually
all
made
can
it.
transfer this
You see
this
it that
virus.
way.
So
That's
why
the
wouldn't
No, that's
we have
not how
an
it is.
obligation
Why
to
they
help
said
each
that.
other
That's
out
the
and
How do you-
prevent this shit?
could you say again?
Why wouldn't we try to
That's
prevent
the
this shit?
legitimate reason.
Why-
Prevent, but
what's the point? What's the
I don't
point
see
of
an
what you're
epidemic here, and it seems like everybody
is
who
an
would have
epidemic.
got it, you would have got it.
It's not an epidemic.
I don't see it. I don't see
What do
it.
you mean you don't
Pandemic.
see
You
it?
can't
Epidemic is
physically
a-
see corona in the
I
air.
don't
Like,
believe in air because I can't see it.
wait, so do you believe there's air?
Is that really an argument?
I mean, you haven't
Like,
seen
you're
the
coming
earth
to-
from a...
I mean, you just said you can't see the corona, so is it there? You can't see
I
air.
didn't see. I didn't say I see
Yes, you did.
corona.
You
Yes, you
It's
did.
recorded.
You said
And
you
you've
couldn't
never
see
I don't
seen
see
the
a
earth actually
pandemic.
flat.
People
All
It's
you
a
see is
pan-
this
You're
right
putting
here.
words in my mouth. A
millions of-
pandemic
Are you
and
at a
coronavirus are two different things.
Are you at a house?
millions
Corona is
of
a pandemic.
cases.
You understand?
There are millions of cases that makes it a pandemic. It's
Where?
worldwide.
Where are the
That
people
makes
dying?
it
In the
Where are the
hospital-
people dying?
They're dead.
You're at one lake.
Where are the
out of
people
the
dying?
whole world. You're at one lake. Out of the
Just
whole
because there's
world.
no one dying here.
Yeah, I don't see
Yo,
what
should I
you're
just
asking.
drop dead right now? Would that prove it that corona is real?
Then what?
If I just drop dead right now, would that prove corona is real? If I drop dead from corona,
That might show that you have other pre-existing conditions.
no, the pre-existing
They're
condition.
going to intensify.
Wait, can I ask you
the
this? Do you know how corona kills people with pre-existing conditions? Do you know how corona kills people with pre-existing?
Please tell me.
So
Inform me.
it,
I like to be enlightened.
completely, like,
Why
it
would a sick
completely
person
devastates your
walking out
immune
here
system, which is why the pre-existing condition is what causes them to die.
Why
But
did you
corona,
believe the earth is flat?
Because I like looking at it as fun. It's kind of like out of place. Doesn't it look out of
Can I ask
place?
you a question?
Not really. You look normal.
Can I ask you a
This looks
question?
out of place right here.
Why do you think that because you don't see anybody dropping dead in this one
It's not so much that. It's just that the mortality rate overall for it isn't any more than anything that we should be worried
the
about.
most
just
the
not
mortality
anything that we
rate
should
isn't
be
the
worried
most
about.
dangerous thing. It's how fast that it spreads. That's why we should all be wearing a mask so that it
But
doesn't
you're
spread.
not, and you're
Yeah.
all over my table. You're touching it and getting it all. You know, now I gotta.
Oh, so you do believe
Wait, so
in
you
air.
do believe in corona then?
a mask.
I'm
spreading
shocking.
particles that you don't want,
Unbelievable.
right?
How? Look at how. Did you hear how like quick you jumped to gullibility and actually believed I was concerned about him touching my table? Like that's
Wait,
I
what?
just thought
That's
you turned into
beyond.
a decent human being.
That's
Well,
beyond.
for a second.
Gullibility?
I'm not saying I would, but like,
Gullibility isn't even a word.
what would you feel like?
Gullibility? It's not a word.
I'm pretty
that
sure
fine?
gullibility is not a
Do you
word.
believe in the
It's like
flu?
If it is, then I'd be surprised.
I mean,
missionaries.
I
go
I
out to,
tested
like,
positive
African
for the
countries
flu
and force them
allegedly,
to
and I
go
had
to the
what they would
room
consider
and
symptoms and stuff.
food. It's like that.
But the flu is just probably your body detoxifying itself. Could that be it?
That's
What?
what the flu.
What were you doing that you needed
Symptoms of
detox?
the
In my
I'm not
opinion.
judging.
No. What did you need detoxing
Where's your
from?
wife?
I don't know, bad, food,
I mean, he's
prescription
only 20 years
drugs.
old. I
You know,
mean,
there's a buildup of stuff that comes into your body that eventually your body has to excregate through, your skin or, sickness or
Can you
whatever.
answer this question?
Can I'm trying to convey an answer. I'm sorry that it doesn't come out as like instantaneously as you want it to in this generation, but I like to talk
yeah.
and I like to listen.
Probably
That's how we have a conversation.
online
I
biography
completely agree.
or
Are
online
you willing
blogs.
to tell me how you know each other?
I have cystic fibrosis.
You guys meet on an online blog about this?
It's a lung
I was
disease.
just curious. I was just asking. It's okay if you
Believe
don't
in
want
that
to.
disease,
I'm not.
but you don't believe in other diseases.
I just think we're.
I was diagnosed with it because I show all the symptoms
Well,
that
there are
everywhere
plenty
the
of people that
medical
have also been
establishment
tested
says that I have. And
You
so
don't believe the
if I
medical
refuse
establishment when the other
if
people
I
in the world are
refuse to
getting
take
the same?
them, well, I think it's a selenium deficiency, to be honest with you. But that's just me. I think all disease I think all disease is a deficiency of something, or it's just not enough of what we were born. Well, I think that over a period of time, our food in the ground has lost its nutrients over a period of time.
That's like false, because we've only
GMOs
gotten
mostly.
bigger. Humans have only gotten
So to
bigger,
be able
it's
to
stronger,
produce
faster,
food
it's
faster for all of these people, like big potatoes and stuff. If I make a big potato that's GMO'd and you have a regular tomato that was grown in
I
regular
was a big
ground,
man back in the day,
and you're a
5'2"
company, which tomato or potato would you want? You want the bigger one because it would go further, right? So GMOs basically have started to neuter the ground. And so now we have Terminator seeds where we send off to third world countries, and every year those countries have to buy new seeds because they don't have any seeds from the plants that they grew to be able to go back into the ground, so they have to keep recycling stuff. So the minerals in the food, like selenium, for example, is lost in the food, and so we have to take supplements. So we have to take supplements or get other things organic. I mean, that's a mind trick right there. Why do we have two separate food brands, organic and non-organic? Shouldn't everything be organic if our government cared about us so much? But they don't, because they have genetic modified foods here and then they have organic here. So, what do you say? Yeah.
It's really off topic. But
Yeah.
do you believe people are born evil or good?
Ice wall around the world.
I think it's conditioning. I think like your environment can sway you A or B.
I 100%.
You know-
But when you come out of the woman, do you believe that this child is automatically like a good person or a bad person?
Or do you believe that humankind
No, I
right now
think
is
that
bad?
they're. Oh, I see. Are you talking about sin?
No.
No.
So it's not
religious.
spiritual. Okay, so no, I don't know. I don't know whether that baby is going to be good or bad unless it's raised. It is born female or male.
Do you believe
So
human
hopefully we
society
can
at
put
this
that
moment
to
is
bed.
evil? Do you believe the American society at this moment is very
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's
Okay.
conditioned to be evil. So it's not your fault. It's not our fault. We just as we move towards whatever it is we're going towards right now, we can wake up and we can be more informed and knowledgeable about who we are as spiritual
Why are we even talking
creatures.
about being knowledgeable?
Because for lack of knowledge is why people perish.
Because you're saying you're not going to wear masks around people at a lake when
When you could possibly infect people.
Show me. Give me a test. Give me the test.
I don't
To
have
know.
the test on.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
I took it 3 times and I was negative. So
We have antibodies.
There's this quote, those who forget the past are condemned to repeat it. So like, you know how many
sitting
people
over here
died
saying
in the
that
pandemic back in
corona
like
is
the
false.
1920s?
That's crazy.
Okay, how many?
We literally experienced
I don't remember exactly.
okay, right. So okay, look it up.
Can you, wait, he just ignored your
You know what
question?
she just said?
What?
I just told her everything she said. If you like masks, you just wear one. Like, that's not.
Yeah, if you like masks, well, it's your choice.
It's not
to
that
wear
we
one.
like it. I definitely don't
Then
like
don't.
it. Okay, but I want to go back to
I mean, I don't know
wanna
why
go back
it's
to
that
the flat
difficult.
Earth though.
Go to A
but,
or
like,
B.
why do you have a Red Bull sign?
I used to be really heavy into Red Bull, and it's about the Red Bull jump. You know about the Red Bull jump? With Baumgartner or whatever his face is, Felix. Yeah, he went 120,000 feet. But that's not space. That's low Earth orbit, and that's not space.
If I say something,
And he was using a
But you-
fisheye lens, which
Just
bends
say it.
horizontal
Just say
lines.
factual
So that's not the Earth. He was like 10 feet from the ground, and it showed the horizon
Okay, what
like
about
this.
satellites actually taking
Is
pictures?
the Earth flat?
Yes, it is.
Wait, what about satellites actually taking pictures of the round Earth?
Can you show me a satellite on your phone real quick?
No, he was talking about
Google
a-
image satellites in space and
We're the
show
only
me a
thing
real
here,
one.
So that means aliens
A real one? So you're
Yeah.
just gonna claim every single one is fake. You're just gonna
Yeah,
disregard
I
it.
am actually going to
Okay, but can you answer what I asked before? What benefit does the government have about lying about the Earth being flat?
I'll answer your question, but I want to say again, you obfuscate the reason why the Earth is flat, which is water. Now you want to know why they're lying. You haven't gotten to the point of comprehending water's flat, and it doesn't bend to make a ball.
I just said that it's not flat. The gravity is pulling it down. If you go to a higher altitude and look from like a plane up almost in orbit, and you look out, you will see the curvature. You will. How do you know? Have you done it?
I have. Yeah.
Sir, does
Flat as AF.
Does Garen Beck Miller ring a bell?
Garen Beck Miller? No. No. Sorry, man.
You look like a teacher.
Oh, no.
Wait, but can you answer that question though? What benefit does the government have?
Will you look into flat Earth and everything? You go on my YouTube channel
I
and
have a
everything?
YouTube
Okay.
course.
And look at it genuinely.
I
What if there's more land? What if there's like more than what's here on this map here, or the globe that you believe you live on? What if there's more land?
But you're just changing
What if
the
there's more
subject.
land? No, I'm not. You're asking why they're lying, and I said, what if there's more land? Why is that like
That's
so
not an
out of
answer,
your
you're
mind?
just diverting it to a different
No, I'm
question.
not.
I have a question.
They have
That's not
more
an
land,
answer.
and you're not allowed to go to it.
I know. I'm used to it.
They have probably a dozen more continents that are bigger than Africa, and you're not allowed to go to it. That's a problem.
Aliens exist.
You actually do.
Yeah, I do.
That is.
Do aliens exist?
No, they don't. They're just on other continents. They're not. There's nothing above you.
Can I ask you a
Really?
question?
I think it's so selfish of us to think that there's not other life forms.
It has
out in the
nothing to do
universe.
with being selfish or not. That's the truth. So being selfish or having
So
these
you think
emotions
the moon and
that
the sun
everybody
rotate
seems to
around
have
the flat
emotions
Earth?
about. I wanted like you have
sound like
an
a
emotion
giver.
about like
You see the
looking up at
giver?
the sky at
Sound like-
night and
yeah.
thinking that like there's aliens
Wait,
out there.
do you believe that the sun and the moon rotate around the flat Earth?
Yeah, you want me to show you?
Yeah, I like to see.
He literally sounds like he's from like the people in the giver who
Can
don't
I ask you some why you do that?
Huh? We need them to come over
Have
here.
you ever done psychedelic drugs?
I may or may
Somebody
not
asked
have.
that and he didn't answer. He just said that.
I can't believe if you have, like, you believe what you believe. It's like,
If I have,
yeah,
you're not gonna believe it. Okay, well that's kind of weird.
I don't get how you,
So there you go.
do that and like still think it's.
Is time travel possible?
I don't know.
I have an actual theory about it.
So here's the sun. Now it's over Australia.
Also, it doesn't rotate underneath it. You don't believe it just goes in a circle
in
like
an
that.
infinite, and it's in an infinite plane. So there's nothing that there's no edge.
And so I think
Your
the
thought
notion
can't
of
go
time
fast
travel
enough
has,
to
like,
catch up
rotates
to
Earth.
whatever
I
edge
wanna
you
be
think
back
you're gonna
in
catch
there.
up to or
So,
find.
and also we
There's no underside.
How is the sun not lighting up the whole
So,
shebang?
like,
It works just like a flashlight, and really the sun is just a biometric, luminescent, electromagnetic polar star, if you will, where it's a
You believe in
positive light,
electromagnetics,
and
but
the
not
moon is a
gravity?
negative light.
and everyone was like, wow,
You believe in electromagnetics?
Those things
but
can
not
be
gravity?
tested here on Earth, and gravity,
Gravity
yeah,
has
in
a
theory.
yeah,
It's a
No,
theory.
Gravity is not a theory.
Yes, it is. Because if you want to
Gravity
use,
is-
okay, so how about this? If you want to use gravity for things that why they fall to the ground, you can't use it for how solar systems are formed.
Why? Who says
Because
that?
you can't verify that. You can't verify why the Earth is a ball because of gravity. You can say it falls to the ground because of gravity, but you can't go off onto more and more fantasy stories about how the solar systems
The solar
are
system
created.
holds together because of gravity.
You can't
Gravity
verify
is-
that. You've never done any. You've never lived long enough to verify that.
that logic, you can't buy. Where do you guys
Yeah, you can see flat water
That doesn't prove anything. I just said if you go to
because water doesn't bend. So eventually the Earth has to bend, right, to make a ball in outer space, right?
So if you go to a way higher altitude, like I said before, in like a
How high?
space in the like a lower part of the atmosphere, you can start to see the
No,
curvature.
there's no curvature.
There is. Have you seen?
I've seen 120,000 foot high altitude balloon footage, which are satellites, by the way. I would look up, satellites in outer satellite. You didn't even show me a satellite in outer space either,
Because you're just gonna say it's fake.
because they are. Because
What
high
benefit-
altitude balloon footage shows a level horizon. That's why it's called the horizon, because it's horizontal. It's that simple. I know, right? It's like blows your mind. It's that simple.
No,
But
it didn't blow my.
I agree with them. How do seasons like weather?
That's what.
Like
yeah.
winter, summer,
You gotta
fall.
give him some credit.
So here you go. So this is how the sun traverses around a flat plane. Okay, this is no different than because nobody's been able to verify outer space.
Okay, well, yes, they have.
Have you? Have anybody here? Can we at least agree with that? That we haven't?
So you're saying you only
Okay.
believe it once you go into outer space?
There is no outer space because it's
If you ever-
impossible.
If you were, let's pretend it is.
It's
And
not.
that's
We're
Wait,
not
so
going
you
to
believe we're
pretend.
the only
We're
thing
not going to
here?
pretend.
But all your facts are pretend.
I like.
No, he doesn't.
No, it's not.
Okay.
You just haven't looked into it, and I understand where you're coming from, and I used to be
No, he
where
was
you're
just
at too.
okay, he said-
But if you wanted to know how seasons work, it's just the sun traversing by the. So you're not curious, all right? They just jump back and forth.
I feel like you jump back.
earlier about like you.
I don't think I've heard you say
Oh, I was going to explain seasons, and you all were
Go
captivated
ahead,
by
I
it.
know.
and-
Really
I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like what you're saying right now, I'm kind of like, just like it's really, it's intriguing. I
Okay,
don't know.
so the center is the North Pole.
Yes.
Okay, you've never seen the tilt of the Earth from outer
I
space.
haven't. So I'm listening to you.
So the sun traverses across the flat plane, whether it's
He claims he did.
magnetically attracted or repelled by the center, which is the North Pole, which is a magnetic phenomenon. Okay, all of our compasses point north. So whenever you're gonna circumnavigate the Earth, all you're doing is going from A to B to C to D to F here. Just that's all you're doing is you're just walking around the lake, right?
What about the South Pole?
Okay, so here's the Tropics of Cancer. I don't know the different tropics, but here's the three. 1, 2, 3, and the center is the equator. All the sun is doing is just traveling further away from you. So how I can put it is, have you ever been to another state before?
Yes.
Okay, so when the sun is directly above us here in Minnesota, is it not directly above the state that you've gone to at the same time at noon, right? Okay, so from A to B, it's at the same height. That's all the sun is doing is traveling parallel across a flat plane, just like this.
Let him explain this.
And all it's doing is traveling further away, and by perspective, it appears that it's, being eaten up by the horizon.
Okay.
And that's why things disappear from the bottom up. It's because of atmosphere.
Hey, so, yeah, exactly what she said. What is underneath then?
There is no underneath.
There's no.
It's just
nothing
this. Like
there.
this. If this table
There's
were
nothing.
flat, it would just keep going.
That's it. It's over.
There's no. Where's the end of space?
But how deep
It's over. There's nothing. That's the end of it.
So
It's
how
over.
have you verified the end of Earth?
if we're infinite though,
Where does it?
then how does this work?
Like, what does it look like?
Just
How
more
does this work?
shoreline.
Then everything else is
What's
just
holding the
darkness.
lake in right now? What's holding the oceans in?
What are you saying?
No,
How does
the
this
shoreline.
work if this is
The shoreline
infinite?
is holding it.
This isn't the diameter.
No, but you asked me like
math
about
doesn't work.
the
It
edge,
just
and I'm just
goes
saying
on
like,
forever.
what if it's just more shoreline?
So how come no one's?
This system doesn't work.
How do you
if
know
this
nobody
goes on
has?
forever.
If this is a dome, where's the sun?
Okay, so
The sun is
Easy as
he showed
that.
us
I think someone would be like, oh shit, there's
yeah,
like an end of the
yeah.
earth.
What's that admiral's name?
If the sun, if the space
Admiral
doesn't exist,
Byrd.
where's the sun? Where's the moon?
He went down here
Are they in our
and he verified that there's more land.
What about
So-
astronauts who have
Who is Admiral Byrd?
He doesn't believe he did.
Have you done that before? No, I haven't, and I choose not to believe it. And it's not a religion to
That's
me.
literally the definition of
I know.
ignorance. What makes you believe?
I know where you're coming from. Because I can't verify what they said. That's science.
Same with
Admiral
Byrd.
What is science?
No, what's in it for people?
What is science?
Wait, I have a question.
Ooh, I want to watch.
I
I have a YouTube type in.
them because they're
But what is science?
Yeah, we laugh.
What you tell me not believe in?
Oh, it's called
You're not asking. You're not answering my question. What is science?
Oh, wait, let me see.
It's verifiable, is it not? It's proven, it's testable, and you can do it again, right? Okay, so going to the moon, I can't verify that, and I choose not to believe it. And I'll tell everybody else that we didn't land on the moon.
What makes you more compelled to believe the man who saw whatever you
So
saw
NASA,
instead of an astronaut?
What?
Because they're all part of a club. And you have to be part of a club to get up to that level of astronaut.
Have you ever seen the moon?
Oh, we got baked by someone. Someone said feed us baby
What
food.
makes you think that you
want to see the moon?
I don't understand.
Who, Bird? Oh, he is. But there's truth in what they say also. And it's more plausible to have more land than to be able to go up into outer space and do something else no other normie can do.
You're a normie.
That's
sir, if space doesn't exist, where's the sun?
If space doesn't, it's probably, like in my opinion,
Hey Nick, you trying to throw me a water bottle?
probably
I wouldn't drink that.
25, 30 miles up.
And what about stars?
They're no higher than the sun.
What if I just start thinking that shit right when I get home? Like, yo,
Yeah.
Earth
Oh,
is
look
flat.
at
Well, the moon and the sun are basically the same size, right?
They're
Well, no, I
walking
feel like the moon is
we're
smaller, so
walking
it's not even farther away.
to the north and south,
Where's the parallax?
but his plan
I'm sorry, I don't know what that word means. I'm 7.
You don't know what
No, I'm
parallax
shitty.
means?
I'm shitty science teacher.
Okay, all right. Well, YouTube doesn't appreciate minors on their,
Then let's end it.
platform. So don't touch my phone, please. Thanks. That's my property.
You have 41 people on
So
it, so.
I just won't address you anymore. So if you want, I got cards here. You can go ahead
I will.
Okay.
and check it out on your own
I got
time.
mine over there, man.
Yeah.
Please do.
It's just like, don't you like question
I know.
the number of deaths that
Oh,
140
Why haven't you yourself tried to explore these lands?
I don't have the resources to do so.
No, but like, I don't know, like if you had,
But you believe
like
the
maybe
guy
do
who
like a
did?
trip to like.
No, I believe water is flat.
And maybe try to like fly.
I think you should raise money
to be like on pay you like.
Yeah,
People.
Yeah, we actually tried. There, a bunch of flat earthers tried to do that a couple of years ago, and just before it happened, they canceled the entire flight because they recommended and requested nobody bring a compass or any kind of instruments that would show where we were going. You know, and to show that where they were going would also, from point A to point B, show that the airplane wasn't tilting to show a curvature of any kind.
Is that because compasses get
What do you think?
like magnets? Like
What benefit do they have to
triangle
the number?
like a huge magnet flying off ships and planes disappear there.
And the rockets.
We know that. We know that.
The North Pole and the South
we
Pole,
know
they're basically the same thing, right? If it is a globe, they're basically the same point.
Okay, well, I mean, if you want to believe that, but the center of the Earth is the center, which is the North Pole.
I know. I guess you guys.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of information to take in, man. You know, but I've been doing this for a long time, so
I mean, it takes a lot of trust.
all I do is just provoke thought, and you can believe it or not. You know, it's up to you. I don't lose any sleep over it.
I got you, I know. If you did, you wouldn't be coming out here and doing this, so.
You make a living off of
Okay. Do you want to go? Because I'm ready.
Oh man,
Like,
How many
we
stuff
can't-
did you have
close,
on?
man.
There's really not
Enough.
much guys. And
Enough.
that's okay. We can sorry, but we
We live with it.
Yeah, we're on live.
Yeah, you're live. You know, so I mean,
It's just so it's very interesting to me.
if in 19, yeah, it was nice meeting you. Bye. In 1927, before we went anywhere to explore space, they were already telling you it's a globe. In 1927.
Okay,
They had no way through technology to verify what the Earth was that we lived on. And then all of a sudden, they come back from the moon and then they tell everybody it's a globe. Do you really think that they would tell you the opposite? If they found out that it was flat, do you think they would come back after doing this for decades before? All of a sudden come back and be like, you know what, we were wrong.
They faked the Felix Baumgartner thing. You think the Felix Baumgartner thing is fake?
No, I don't think it was fake. You can see,
You said he was 10 feet off the ground.
yeah, because he's using a fisheye lens. You know what a fisheye lens
You
is?
don't think he's up where he was?
No.
They said
Well, yeah, he was up where he was, but using a fisheye lens at that height would give people who watch the video the idea that the Earth is a ball and it's not, and that's curvature. If that is curvature, then the Earth is a lot smaller than people think it is,
How can
obviously.
you just personally say that the Earth is flat if you haven't seen it either?
You can see water lay level and flat. Have you
Then,
ever?
but then people say that you can see the curvature, so
Yeah, okay, so then that's them. But I feel pretty confident where I'm at right now, and that's why I'm here to have these
What would
conversations.
happen if tomorrow someone just literally live streamed them going into space, just taking a video without a fisheye lens that shows the Earth had curvature?
How high do you think? How high do you have to get?
Then would you believe it?
Yeah, but how high do you get? How high do you
no,
have
but
to
then
get?
would you believe
You don't even know how high you have to get to see anything that you're trying to tell me to see. So you know nothing about what you're trying to convey to me. You're just saying, hypothetically, if we did this, that, or the other, what would you think? You don't even know what you're trying to convey to me.
I could be wrong, but
So-
I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be 240,000 something
why wouldn't you
miles or feet
That's the moon.
from like where you
239,000 miles is the moon.
Is something like this, do you think this is completely fake?
Yeah, it's all green screen, parabolic flight, it's the ISS video.
How do they get this shit to float in the air like that? and stuff?
Have you ever seen pictures of parabolic flight or the Vomit Comet? Okay, type in Vomit Comet and see that, and then they do the same exact experiments on an airplane, no higher than 60,000 feet. And then that's just them dropping down, staying at equilibrium with the environment around them. That's how they make things appear to float. And they're in a container, so you live in a container. You ever seen The Truman Show?
Yeah.
Okay, that's exactly where you're thinking.
we're living in the Truman Show.
Yeah, you have a dome, a ceiling above you that runs parallel with the ground.
Why hasn't anybody shown us the dome? Where's the dome?
Where do you get, no offense, but where do you get the audacity to think you get to see anything?
Because it's it's just like,
because he wants to
what do you
protect
mean
himself
get to
from
see
it.
anything?
You don't. Why would they show you anything? They're not obligated to show you anything.
Why wouldn't they just show us what they like?
Why would they?
What do they have to gain?
I mean, obviously,
What are they going to gain from lying to everybody?
I get to have more control over you by knowledge and information, and you don't know it. Every government does that. Yeah, especially America. Yeah. They all have the same vector symbol on all of their space programs. They're all in the same thing.
Have you gotten your medical license revoked? Because you
I
said
believe,
you worked
okay,
in surgery
I
like
agree
past
with you.
tense, which you probably don't do it now. Probably okay, but probably because like you didn't believe in the things you were trying to.
It takes a while to get there.
CIA.
Yeah.
CIA is controlling somewhat our media. That is fact. I believe you on that.
Yeah.
But,
Operation Mockingbird.
but at some point there are other
But
system that are
I just want to ask, have you
Like me, like I am.
like that's what I'm saying.
Have you had
I believe,
your
like you're
medical
putting out your own
medical license
information.
revoked?
I wouldn't even say your conspiracy theories. You're an alternative history.
No, I don't know why you asked.
Alternative history. That's why I say I have this too.
Have you ever looked into mud floods? Have you ever looked into mud floods and human resets? No? Yeah, check it
You
out.
don't
Mud
believe in the
floods.
things that you're working on.
that
People with
about?
medical
Like
licenses,
a short term.
they do shots.
It's like an idea of,
You did that even though it goes against.
you know, for example, flooding the entire Earth. You know, I mean, we've all read the story about that, and basically that's what it is. And they are able to agitate the ground enough to make either it flood or everybody sinks into the ground like quicksand. If you type it in, it's called liquefaction.
Yeah, that's your belief.
So no, for that you're trying
Charity.
to the common
I'm about to turn into a violent heathen right now.
Charity, I love you.
I'm a human being.
I'm about to turn into a wild animal on camera. You ready?
technology.
There's literally like there's people commenting.
No, I actually don't want to say it.
Yeah. No, totally agree. It was free energy.
I do my own research on my
39 people.
My great aunt got it.
Okay,
I got it a month and a half ago.
Yeah, because you can't meter it. That's why Thomas Edison. I know. That's why Thomas Edison and the government took over Tesla's information, is because he wanted to. Because he wanted money. They wanted money because they could only meter it. So like when you're at home and you're charging your phone, you're paying to charge your phone. No, it's not that much. But everything that you put into the wall and charge, you're getting metered and you have to pay for it. What Tesla? Yeah, of course.
I would just say, why aren't you back then? Tesla towers and like all the billionaires, like everything's free.
Yeah, maybe they have another continent where they're doing that at, and we're not allowed to go there.
That just seems hard.
I know. Yeah. Well, you gotta start to. If the sooner that you kind of start to realize that this place is just a big fat lie, that's the best place that you can be, and then at least you can back up from there.
What's your whole point in like what's your whole like point in all this?
Just to inform, you know, provoke thought, get a barometer about what people think about mask wearing and non-mask wearing. I think that if we all knew creation and we understood where we came from, I think we would have a better understanding of black, white, and all this other
Where do you
stuff.
personally believe everything started and came from?
You're saying it's not
A creator.
You believe in creation?
Yeah.
You think God created everything?
Yeah.
So you think He
Do you
created
believe
a
it's the
dome?
God of the
Yeah.
Bible?
Of some kind.
Okay.
I've never knocked on the dome. All I can see is that the sun traverses across the plane, and I'm not moving. I can't verify us spinning or moving or anything.
No, but
I feel
okay, but you haven't seen a God or a creator, so why do you believe in that?
Because I can see it. Because there's no way that this is evolution. There's no way.
Okay, but at that point, why don't you believe that God would make other places like?
Because we're so much that special, dude. We're that special. We are the only thing. We're it. And anything else is a derivative or a copy of a human being. It's not true.
Then like I saw this Joe Rogan post that they said the UFO, they got a vehicle from an off the Earth thing. Like they said they captured a vehicle from non-space.
Oh, yeah.
So why would they send out that information and tell us that they just caught a UFO? That's fake.
Because they want to make you believe a narrative that's not true.
But the whole point was for
Do you
last,
think-
the whole last 60 years though is they've been trying to say that aliens aren't real.
Yeah.
There's nothing here. There's only us.
Because you're going to believe in alien invasion.
Just be like your generation of old.
And don't.
It's still killing people. This is a thing. It's happening right
What
now.
do you think every UFO sighting is like?
No, there is.
It's us.
Because you're choosing not
I
to
believe you at some point that it might be us, but I don't think we know how to control it.
How do bees fly?
Honestly, because it affects you the most
No, they hover.
If
They
you
are
get
at equilibrium and equal. They're at equilibrium with the environment around them, like the ether. Much like all human beings are properties of the ether. We're just
What is the
light. I don't know. It's like what's between me and you.
being responsible.
There's a fluid in between me and you that has water vapor in it, right? And so whatever that water vapor is, it's at such a small, minute amount that you and I can see each other through it. If we were to go in the lake, we wouldn't be able to see each other because it'd be all murky, right? Okay, so our creation and how we perceive things is clear and clarity. Much like if you watch 4K. Have you all ever seen 4K or 8K TVs?
Yeah.
It looks literally like you're there. Right?
Right.
So that's how we perceive things here in this reality.
Yep.
And so a bee hovers in the ether and floats and can go zigzag and go all over the place. They use Tesla technology to become that equilibrium inside a container, and whatever they use to oscillate the engine inside that container can make it vibrate so fast where it can hover. And people would say,
using the Earth's vibration energy to.
Yes.
I believe that you can do that too. That's
You
how
can
the
do that.
pyramids
It's
are
the
probably
Hutchinson
built.
experiment.
There's used to be a dude in New York that moved like a 40, I think it was 20 ton, it could be 40 ton like brick thing into like this park.
Yeah.
And no one know how, like no crane can do it. And I don't really know what happened to the dude, but he could move anything. He could destroy buildings with just like touching it, like vibrations. But I don't know.
So that's the idea. Maybe they've always had this ancient, quote, ancient technology, and they just withhold it from the normies here that walk around, and myself, obviously. And then they give us these technologies here, like touch screens and everything, to make us docile and
Make us think
uninformed.
that we have the technology.
It's been weaned off to us.
Okay.
I think, and I kind of,
Facebook, it's all a DARPA program, like
Yeah.
government control.
Yeah.
it's been data collecting. So what they're trying to
agree
do
with
is they're
that.
trying to recreate human beings and create and mimic us. So it's AI, really. I think AI runs over 90% of our reality right now. And whatever AI is doing, it hates human beings, and it wants to derive some great way to be able to cause division, and it does it really, really well. I mean, look at the division that's going on right now.
You think that's caused by AI?
I do, yeah. I think AI or this type of technology has been around for thousands of years, and it's just, it gets destroyed and it comes back, and it gets destroyed and it comes back because people love the opportunity that this gives us. So why would anybody completely destroy it? That's like, getting rid of an addiction that you have, like beer or cigarettes or something. Not everybody can just take a cigarette, just throw it away and get rid of it and never have it anymore. Like with technology that we have today, the way that it helps us communicate with each other and get in tune with everybody else overseas, it's a great way to communicate and understand what other human beings are at. So they can see in the UK, like having to deal with masks and stuff like that here, and they're like, hey, we're dealing with the same exact thing here. So it's a great way for us to kind of communicate and kind of get organized, but eventually there is going to be a human reset, and there's going to be a lot of people that pass away. If you type in the Great Reset or something like that, it's like a 2-minute long video, and it's done by government. And it talks about a reset that's going to happen. When it happens, I don't know, like 5 or 10 years, Sud?
Do you mean like
What is
just,
it?
Just like mass like
It could be the
destruction
vaccine. It could be some kind of an alien invasion. It could be them manipulating the weather so much so that it causes
You think they
earthquakes.
control the weather?
Yeah, like over 98% of all the weather is controlled.
But then what about the 2%? What is that? What do you think that if that is it's 98% control?
Just maybe weather they don't care about, or over the ocean or something like that.
To the last locusts in Africa, when they had an area where it had tons of rain, they took the rain away. The locusts go find food, and they decimate the food.
Yeah.
And I looked at the fires in California a few years ago when you had all the houses and the cars and melting on the street. And the street is right next to it, it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
How you,
Yeah,
that kind of stuff.
in the 1963 or 61, JFK gave a speech at the UN and said that they control the weather, that we will have control of the weather. So if they can say that at that speech in the 60s, they were doing it decades beforehand. And so now, with chemtrailing and the various other ways that they can use HARP and other ways of electromagnetic, even our cell phone towers, 5G is more capable of just transmitting your data from your cell phone. That's not why 5G is being put up right now, is because of our cell phones and we want faster downloads.
Why is it?
It could be to more manipulate the human consciousness and make them more docile.
And to keep track of us better.
Yeah, that's why 6 feet distancing is more recommended, because there's a lot of ideas about facial recognition technology. Are you familiar with like Starlink by Elon Musk?
Isn't that the space company that's launching the ships into space?
Yeah, so Starlink is basically like an umbrella above us that's going to look like, maybe a honeycomb. And they're going to literally have, quote, satellites or cameras, high definition cameras that can zoom in, from wherever they're at, probably 70, 100,000 miles above us, and be able to zoom in perfectly and pick you out about a group.
Side question: when do you think the dome? Where's the dome? How far up?
I think it's probably 75 miles.
So it's like, it's see-through, obviously, right?
But what about?
Well, that's why the sky's blue, is because there's allegedly water, some kind of a liquid above us, but it's hard. It's like, have you ever had Jell-O, and then you put too much solution in it and not enough water, and it's very hard? So that same concept is above us as much as below. If you Google water underwater, National Geographic did a thing where they went underwater and then they were penetrating this hard brine substance that they couldn't go through, but there were organisms underneath it swimming. Our creator. And, we can argue about, God, particularly.
A specific type of guy?
Are you on there?
I was curious if this lady responded to me.
I don't know.
What do you think?
wait, okay.
What's it made out of? The dome.
Some people say it's made out of like an ash type of what people would say is volcanic. But volcanoes just disperse ash and everything into the air.
So wouldn't it be darker?
No, when it I guess when it cools, it turns blue. So that's why they call it blue ice.
So in the night, that's why it's dark?
Yeah. So when meteors or whatever it is that fall from the sky, that's allegedly what's falling is parts of the dome.
How you explain the video? Have you seen the video of the dude who free falls from?
Yeah, Felix Baumgartner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How would you? You know what I mean?
He says it's a fisheye lens.
Yeah, it's a fisheye lens that he's using, and he's 100,000 feet from the ground. And
yeah, but you said the thing is 75. Oh, that.
100,000 feet.
Okay,
That's
okay.
only like 20 miles.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how, like, if the Earth is flat, then how thick is it? You know what I mean? Like
8 miles.
It's 8 miles deep.
From the surface to wherever we've drilled is 8
What would
miles.
happen if we dug 8 miles?
Can't.
Can't?
Nope.
Oh yeah.
It's too hot. So that's Russia, the borehole. If you type that in, that's the deepest that we've ever drilled. So
Another story.
outside, we're not allowed to go there. I mean, we can't go any higher than 75 miles. We can't go any further out here because it's too cold. So I think that whatever it is that's happening to us is actually cooling the Earth, and whatever is out here is cold, and it's just coming in and creeping in more and more. So whatever it is that we're going to experience in the future, I think is going to be cold.
So eventually, if we get the technology, we're like we're in like a ship or like or you know what I mean, like a space shuttle, and then it, like the cold can't get through, and like the temperature is fine in there. Then do you think like what would happen? Like,
How far out do you think we could go before we don't experience the cold temperatures? I don't know. I don't know either. But we can't go any higher, and this is how you can verify space isn't real, is if you have a container, right, and it's a cube, and we drill a hole into it, and we suck out all the air, does that cube have a lower pressure than the exterior, like what we breathe? Would it say it's zero PSI inside?
okay.
So there's no air, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so how do we get inside of that container?
Oh, I don't know. Drill into it.
Yeah, we gotta drill another hole,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, so the same thing. We live in a pressurized container. 14.6 PSI is where we're at right now. And so if we're in a pressurized container, we can't go up any higher because we're there's a ceiling above us. If what people generally believe about gravity, that there's this, gradient of pressure, and all of a sudden you're out into this floaty outer space that has all of this pressure, 0% pressure around the Earth, we would have been sucked up into outer space by now. But because there's a ceiling above us, much like that container, you drill into it and the air from the exterior gets sucked into it. to create equilibrium to it, does it not?
By science.
By science, we can demonstrate that here. So we can't demonstrate a gradient here on Earth of where it's 14.6 psi and an open container, and then all of a sudden, a few feet, there's 0% pressure.
Yeah.
Now, whether the Earth has this dome where you can knock on it, go far enough south of South America or Africa or whatever, and you can knock on it, and you'll climb the ice wall or whatever, or hit up on a shoreline. I've never done it before, so I think the Earth goes on infinitely forever, and there's a ceiling that's parallel with the ground that also goes on infinitely forever.
You think the
And we
Earth
just can't
goes
go
on infinitely in which way?
horizontally,
Actually.
everywhere.
Well, then then why can't you? I don't know. Why can't you fall off it then? Because you think it keeps on
Just
going?
more shorelines. Can you fall off the shoreline?
No.
No.
But if you look at it, I don't know.
Look at it more. Look at it more and put these things to bed in your mind. Because the only way that you can verify you live there is by somebody else telling you.
That's true, and that's why we had a big debate one day. He was saying that the Earth, he thinks the Earth is flat because nobody is. He doesn't believe that because he hasn't seen it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And you could say that for anything. If you haven't seen something with your own eyes, then you never. Yeah.
No, you can't. Yeah, you can't be
Also, you
sure.
should look into the airline flights, why there's direct flights, they won't allow you to fly to the direct route. You're rerouted around in weird ways. But there's faster routes, but they never fly those routes, ever. Or in Antarctica now, they won't let you go there unless you're on a specific mission for certain areas. They won't let you explore on your own.
Yeah, you can't independently fly around, and do your thing.
Stu, you're just chilling right on cam.
Some aspects of the flat Earth are actually provable and can actually be seen, even if we can't see the Earth from an airplane, to tell whether it's flat or round. But if you've ever used a spirit level, this is actually used to determine flatness. If you've used it to hang a picture or anything. And so when the bubble's in the middle, then you've got a flat surface. And you have terms like water table and sea level. That's because water is flat. And so that's why we say that water will not form a circle. It will not adhere to a ball. Because water lies flat.
But if you had a sphere and a closed sphere and you filled it up with water, wouldn't that?
It was closed, I suppose.
Wouldn't fill up the sphere?
Have you ever looked at a ship out at sea? And in the beginning, it's not visible. But eventually, as it gets closer, it comes to light.
That proves that you're coming over the curve.
No, but you take the line's far enough and it's still flat way out there. You just can't see it because of the atmosphere way out there. You have to get, our eyes can't perceive it.
No, you can't see that far. So I really hope that you don't believe that, man. I hope that you don't believe that.
Well, there's videos out there of people with high-powered cameras seeing the ship further than we can even see with our own eyes. And it's still flat out there.
And JFK fired the head of the
Yeah, so we just hang out here for a couple hours and get the barometer of where people are coming from and everything.
What if you just flew that way forever? What do you think would happen?
Which direction is that?
I don't know.
Which direction do you want to go?
What if we go straight west?
Straight
Let's just
west?
say straight west.
Okay.
But only flew 100 miles above the ground.
Yep, so if you're flying straight west, you're going to do this. That's what you're going to do. You're going
think
to
you go
eventually go into a circle. Because if you're following the compass and the compass always points north, it's going to continue to direct you north and you're going to slightly go to your right. You're not going to know it, but then eventually you're going to end up here, back in California. Okay, if you want to really go this way, you have to set a course for that. And you don't have the resources or the information or anything like that to be able to go that way. And you're not going to be, allowed to by military.
Well, similarly, if we set out to go to walk around the lake, we'll wind up in the same spot. But that doesn't prove that this whole lake is round. We're going around a flat surface in a circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, most people just follow the connecting flights. I don't have the type of money or influence or anything like that where I could just fly and go wherever I want. Because it's an airplane, right? You got to land on an airstrip that's long enough for you to, get to where you need to be. And all of those ports are controlled. So I mean, they're not just gonna let Josh just fly wherever he wants. It's not my Earth. I was here later than everything was established. So I have no authority over anything to be able to do anything here.
So do you think life is just absolutely meaningless?
No, it's that much more important. That's why outer space doesn't exist. There's no aliens and all this other garbage that they teach us. We're very important. That's why I'm here, because life is so important. Huh?
You think we're like the only thing out there?
Well, we're not on a disc like flat Earth floating in outer space. So whatever we're on is firm and motionless and goes on infinitely forever, in my opinion. Or it stops at a dome and you can knock on it, right?
But then
what's on the other side of that dome? I don't know.
What about like
That's what,
No, those are just lights in the sky.
You don't think there's other planets?
No, not at all. That's what I'm trying to convey to you.
But the thing is, it's just everything we've been taught for our whole lives has been, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
it sucks.
I can't be the one to be like, you're not right, but you can't say that I'm not right. You know what I mean?
You're just uninformed right now.
Well, but I could say that you were uninformed on.
I was uninformed,
Or you
learning
are-
about this,
you
and
could
then I
say you're
learned
informed
about
on it.
flat Earth, and know that they were teaching flat Earth.
When did you start learning this? And
Like 5 years ago.
And who told everything to you?
I had to watch a video about Earth being
And all
flat
this,
and
did
water
you-
being flat.
What was the one thing that just kind of clicked? That you were like, wow, like, I believe the Earth is flat.
I couldn't get past water bending to make a ball.
Okay.
I couldn't. I see water lay level and flat. The oceans lay level and flat. At what point? How far away? What distance? How high do you have to be to see Earth turn into a ball in outer space?
So many satellites around the Earth.
So like bees around a honeybee, they're just flying around like a beehive. Basically, right? Okay. Could you Google image satellites in space and point to how many are real satellites?
He's just gonna tell you everyone's fake.
Because they look and are fake. Most of them have artist rendition under them. And I was coming out here a couple of years ago for some Viasat satellite that all you got were computer images. And if you go on Google and type in Via satellite, it's an actual thing. It's a commercialized wireless quote satellite internet. But it's all high altitude. It's all high altitude balloons. Google Project Loon. Project Loon, like Loon.
I looked up what you told me to look up, and it's just a live stream of people.
Yeah, that's fake AF, man. I'm sorry.
Oh, guys.
Yeah.
I just have a quick question.
Yeah.
Do you follow like the political parties and stuff?
I follow them, but I don't vote. I don't vote. I have my own personal morals and things that I care about. I'm not for abortion. I don't get vaccinated. I don't agree with the eugenics program called abortion. I do get a say. It's my child. If I was to have a child, I have a right to my child.
Right, but for other people, like if you don't, like,
This is all facts. All facts.
I guess your business, like you don't have to say anything about that to them.
When you say the same thing about masks, that someone who doesn't want to wear a mask shouldn't have to wear a mask.
A mask and a.
It's my body, I shouldn't have to wear a
Okay, a mask and abortion are two like.
But you're still talking about bodily autonomy.
Yeah, but it's so much different. It's so much different. It's pretty different.
You're still talking about personal choice.
Okay.
Yes, but
If it's the female's body, if she's gonna go through that period of time with a kid and she doesn't want it, then why the fuck should she have it?
What period of time? Most women get C-sections.
I was a C-section baby too.
I don't agree with that.
Why?
Because that's not how we're supposed to be conceived.
But I couldn't come out of my mom's vagina. I couldn't come out of
Yeah,
my
but that's
too big and big.
So what would
Hear where I'm coming from. Hear where I'm coming from.
Wait, let me ask real quick.
That's how we're born, and that's the problem.
Because
You would have been born. How do you know you wouldn't have been?
I would have died. Let me say
Exactly.
something.
I don't agree with that.
I would have straight up died in my mom's vagina if they didn't do a C-section.
How do you know?
Because that's I was like in an emergency room, and like my mom and dad were crying in the room, and my dad had to leave, and I had to get a C-section. My mom had to get a C-section.
I know, but what I'm saying is I've been in the hospital.
Why don't you do a C-section?
I've been because that's not how we're supposed to be born.
What if the baby's gonna die?
How do you verify? Then that's the breaks, man.
I wasn't breathing because I couldn't come out of it.
But we have abortion. So what's the big deal?
So you would abort the baby right when?
No, I wouldn't abort it. I would talk to my wife and I'd say, honey, are you ready to have the child? And she would say yes, through the vagina, because that's how we're born.
Okay.
That's how we're born.
What if it couldn't happen?
Then the baby or the mom would die, and that's the breaks of life.
So you would rather have?
I would rather have it done the right way than not done at all.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
That's just how I believe. You know, I believe that.
I'm not gonna change it. Yeah. I'm just saying, like, I would have died if I didn't have it.
I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
You know, I really appreciate that you're here. But I'm just saying that I would suggest, and it's up to you, right? Because I don't wear a mask.
Yeah.
Off a suggestion, but if you have a wife, I would have that serious conversation and be like, okay, are we going to have a baby through C-section or vagina? And I would just encourage you to do it the traditional way.
No, yeah, I'm saying like that's
because I think there's our small degrees of us changing from being human and dehumanizing us. And that's mask wearing, not being able to see facial features, turning us into something that we're not supposed to be, and also vaginal birth. You know, so there's different increments of how we're being dehumanized, and I don't agree with it. So, but I'm not king of the forest, right? I'm just some guy.
If the doctors are saying like you're dead, we have to do a C-section.
But doctors always go further than they should. They always suggest more so to be on the safe side.
Kill your kid or like do the
That's the breaks, man. But who's to say? I mean, then you're putting no faith into our Creator and allowing Him to create life the way it's supposed to be.
We don't even know if.
And you're saying, you know what, God, I don't think babies should be born through the vagina because it hurts too much or somebody's gonna die. Everybody's gonna do C-section. I think we'll lose a lot of blessings from our Creator if we do that. Because that's not how we're supposed to have babies.
But you would lose a lot more if you wouldn't allow C-section.
Did at the time we were created, just hypothetically, did we have, you know, a plastic spoon and fork and a knife to be able to cut into the human body and have a baby born?
No.
Okay, so either A, the mom died, the baby died, or they came out the vagina,
yeah, but
right?
then we evolved, and we started having technology where you can save a baby like me, but they were gonna die.
But we don't need second and third party things to make us human beings.
Why wouldn't you want an extra life if you could?
Because we need to go back to being human. And if it means having vaginal birth, but it's not wearing masks, then that's what we need to do. I don't think that C-section should happen, no.
I was a C-section baby.
I'm glad you're here, man. I'm glad you're here.
Glad we're here.
You know?
Thanks. That means a lot.
Some women are literally too small to push a baby out of there. They need to.
But did they do it?
No, they had a
Okay, so if they didn't do it, then you don't know. So
people tried.
What if they try and then the baby dies?
then the baby dies. That's the right way to have a baby. That's the right way to have our babies as human beings, is through the vagina.
You're okay with baby dying, but
you're okay with abortion, are you not?
I mean, it's not a baby yet.
Okay, well, it is a baby. It is a baby. It's a baby.
It's not a fully developed baby.
If you left it alone, what would happen?
Yeah,
it would come out the vagina. It would come out the
baby.
vagina, right?
Okay, so it's an egg
leave it alone.
then. It's an egg of chicken. It's an egg of chicken.
Leave it alone, and it will be a chicken.
So what if, okay, but it's not a chicken yet. Okay, what if a woman so it's not a chicken yet raped at a party?
That doesn't happen as often as you think.
I know, but why? It does happen.
Yeah, it does.
It does happen.
Yeah, okay.
And when it does.
So then the baby deserves to die because
I didn't
the mom
say
can't push it out.
No, that's not even exact. He's the one asking the question, not you. So I'm not even going to address you. You were asking it. So if they were raped, then that's her choice. If she chooses to do that, I wouldn't agree with that. I would hope she has the baby.
Would you support it?
I didn't rape her.
No, I know. I'm not saying you did.
I'm her brother.
Why are you laughing?
But
if I'm her brother, I would recommend that she doesn't.
I'm saying if it was your mom and she got raped and she did not want to have the child, what would you say?
What?
if your mom got raped and she didn't want to have,
If my mom got raped,
correct, and she didn't want to have the child, let's say,
I'm 39 years old. I don't think my mom can have a child right now.
Okay, if there
I don't
is
know.
How about if my sister?
What if your sister?
For one moment, here I'm going to read this verse of the Bible. It's my favorite. And then Jesus declared, I am the bread of life. He who comes to me will never go hungry, and he who believes in me will never be thirsty. But I have told you, you have seen me, and still do not believe. All that the Father gave me will come to me. Whoever comes to me, I will never drive away. For I have come down from heaven to do, for I came down from heaven not to do my will, but the will of him who sent me. And this is the will of him who sent me. This is the will of him who sent me, that I shall not lose none of those that he has given me, and none of those that he gave, lose none of this, but raise him up in the last day. For my Father will is that whoever looks to the Son and believes in him shall have eternal life, and I will raise him up in the last day.
Amen.
Thank you.
You know, that will settle up lots of questions, things, and then lots of things we do not see, we do not understand, but jamming up on one person and questioning him in a way that almost asserting an authority as we all know the truth. And the only one that does know the truth is the one that sits above, and he sends one of his servants to read you a verse from the Bible.
But that is your opinion.
No, it's not opinion, it's a fact.
It is an opinion.
You cannot create a single thing from nothingness, can you?
But how can you just say that?
How was God created?
No.
Who created God?
We don't even know. No, you don't. What, first of all, you were asking who created God. But first of all, okay, this is a very philosophical question, who created God?
Yeah.
Number one thing, you believe in a creator.
I don't.
No, we're just questioning your belief.
Yeah.
Since you
So
believe in
you
a
don't
God,
believe
who
in
I
created the God?
personally do not believe in a creator, no.
You don't believe in a
No.
creator?
No, not at all.
Okay, do you believe in such a thing called good and evil?
I believe
doesn't
in
prove that
I believe in morals. I believe in morals.
Well,
Yeah.
We can come over there, I can address both of you. Okay, do you believe in such a thing as a good and such a thing as evil?
I believe
morals have been developed over
One
time.
moment at a time.
I believe in a good. I believe in a good and a bad.
Okay, good and a bad. Okay, do you believe if somebody tell you that he saved somebody from the hands of a man who is plundering a 2.5 years old girl, would you call that an evil?
No.
Is that not evil that the man
That he
is
saved him?
No, that a girl, a lady, it is saving a young lady from 2 years old from the hands of a man who is plundering her.
Yeah.
And is drunk on hard liquor. Would you call that evil?
I would say that.
One moment. Would you call that evil?
Yeah.
Okay, then if that is called evil, then you believe in such a thing as good.
But morality was.
One moment, let me down. One moment. Okay, do you believe that? Okay, if that is such a thing as a good, there's a moral law then, right?
Yeah.
If there's a moral law, there's a moral lawgiver. By which law did you say that? By what morality? So there you go, your morality. Your morality has to come from somebody, and that is God.
I think it comes from within. And
But then how could you say that before a few minutes ago? You said that I do not believe in God, and I do not believe in like that. Okay, then create an alphabet from nothing right now. An alphabet, a system of writing.
I can't because that took.
Have a wonderful
He
day.
didn't prove anything. And he didn't even let me talk. I tried to tell him. He didn't even believe in good and bad. Then there's God, because if
you have morals, if you have morals, believe in God, apparently.
He basically
I was gonna, bro. I've seen so many debates about this. I was gonna argue that thing so bad. He didn't let me answer him. I would have. And read the Bible. And he didn't let me answer him. I was gonna.
That God is real and that's a fact, and then he can't speak fast as hell too. Yeah, he's like my opponent. Hey, I'm not gonna lie, Xavier. He followed you, bro. He hit you at one moment, like 3 times.
I was waiting to talk. I was waiting. He said, if you want to talk, come over here. I come over here, and he still said one moment.
And then he leaves.
And then he leaves.
I thought you guys were gonna go on for a couple more minutes.
I would have.
Is the live popping right now?
Yeah, I mean, people
How
come
many
and
viewers
go.
do you
I
have?
usually go like 4 hours, so
Oh, you have 43 viewers, dude. He said they believe in the Big Bang.
Do you guys believe in evolution?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because I mean, it's been proven, right?
So
We can say that.
where did coronavirus come from? Like COVID-19, where did it come from?
We were told that a man
China?
ate a bat, and that's how it started.
I don't necessarily believe that a man ate a bat and that's how it started, but
I thought it was a
yeah.
So does, because of evolution, a bat, because of like how we're supposed to be like come from other animals and stuff over the history of evolution, are we somewhat related to bats? Is that what the point
mean,
of,
if
is
you
that
go
why
down-
it's so
if you
easy
go-
to believe that a bat could get us sick, right? Is what I'm saying. Like, don't we have the antibodies and the immune system to fight off whatever any other animal has?
No,
Because corona is a new.
It's a new
virus.
disease. Our antibodies
New.
only
Where did it come from?
no, corona.
China.
Corona has been here for a while.
But where did it come from?
never-
Is it part of the evolutionary?
Yeah, exactly.
Is it part of evolution?
Evolution is the species going to survive. Adapting to its
Survival of the
environment.
fittest.
Yeah.
Okay, so survival of the fittest, right? So why are we concerned about people passing away from a virus if it's survival of the fittest?
Because what do you mean?
Because those
You can avoid people passing away.
those notions are kind of outdated. Like we
If
want to
you're
help
sick, you
people.
see who say that if you're sick and you have symptoms, that's when you should wear a mask and you should probably stay home. That's
Yeah, you're not supposed to.
and you should, if you're wearing a mask, then you're showing everybody else that you're sick.
Not necessarily.
Because there's
Well,
people
that's
that are
because you could-
asymptomatic that don't know that they can pass it on to other people.
But again, where did I get asymptomatic? Where did I get that from?
From getting corona.
When?
Where?
From someone go get
systems.
tested.
But I've been tested 3 times and I don't have anything. So
Asymptomatic
You're sitting here saying don't wear
Yeah, we know what
means
asymptomatic means.
no illness.
yeah.
It's
No,
no,
that's
no
not what it
symptoms.
means.
So no symptoms?
That's not what it means.
Asymptomatic means you have it, but you
You have it, but you don't have symptoms.
How do you know you have it then?
You have it. And
How do you know
still
you have
pass
it?
to other
Why
people.
is it so
If you get
terrible
tested,
to
you
go through
can
don't have
find
any
the
symptoms?
disease in your body or
I'm
the
not
virus in your
afraid of
body.
an illness that has no symptoms.
You being afraid has nothing to do with it. I'm sorry. It has nothing to do
Because
with it.
you're telling other people to wear masks. Right?
Yes, because we care about other people. We don't want people to die because they're being
care about
stupid.
yourself. So
Why would I
wear a
care about
mask.
myself? Why in this scenario? What does that have to do with
If we
myself?
didn't care
That is not about
we would have corona and we would come over here and
and infect you.
And I'm not scared. I don't want you to be
why do you keep
I don't want
scared?
you to
Like, that's
You being not scared has nothing to do with literally anything we're talking
What
about.
what does wearing a mask make you feel like? How does it? I don't know what it makes. I don't know what it feels like to wear a mask. Because to me, it sounds like wearing a mask makes you feel empowered and like
No,
you're
not at
doing
all.
the right thing and like you're doing your part.
Yes. I mean,
And like
Yeah,
it
you're
kind of
doing your part.
elevates your spirit a little bit, does it
how
not?
would you not? How would you?
my eye bags.
Does it not though? Does it make you feel kind of like like you're saving the
let's
world
say yes.
in
No.
a way? Let's be real here.
We're doing our part.
So
We're
do you
doing our
think,
part.
yeah.
That's the
So, so is that like that to me that's psychological warfare because to wear a mask, we're born without wearing a mask.
Okay.
We have an immune system.
Yeah.
Okay, and the people who are sick and dying right now are a population of which are already passing anyways.
No.
People die. It sucks.
So if your
But
wife
shutting
got
down the
corona right
entire
now,
world
suck,
over a
right?
less than 1% mortality rate,
What if she?
I
what if
think
she
that's a
got it?
problem.
How would you feel if she
I
got
don't
it?
care.
I'm not asking.
We're not
What if
asking,
she got it?
we're
and she
asking.
I
passed
visited
away?
her in the hospital.
What if she passed away?
And I
How
pray
would
over
you
her.
feel?
He knows people die.
Yeah,
Okay,
I was in the
okay.
hospital. I almost
But would you
died.
not
He
want
knows
more
I'm not
life
young
than you possibly have?
Just
You could
like
live for longer. Why would you not? Why would you want to take the risk of not having those extra 10 years?
I don't know where being asymptomatic comes from. I don't see any symptoms. So, and where did I get it from? Nobody cared about wearing masks last year.
Because corona wasn't a thing.
Coronavirus was a thing. It's
Well,
called
it
the
wasn't.
common
It
cold.
wasn't.
Wasn't here.
It's called
It
common
wasn't.
cold.
It wasn't this strain. It wasn't this strain. This. Extreme.
Yeah, it does mean a lot. Doesn't people dying mean more than just having some tummy ache? Isn't that a big deal? People dying? So shouldn't we take care of this? If we
Yes.
care so much about life,
Yeah.
let's all go to the abortion clinic tomorrow. 10 to 1 o'clock.
Not a person yet.
All right. No, we don't care about life that much.
No. Can we stay on the, like you keep switching up every time someone points out something.
You do switch up like that.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, okay. This is my platform, I guess. So it's where I want to go.
See where you going.
But I'm just saying, if this were so deadly, how come we haven't literally shut down everything? You're not allowed to leave, and you must stay in your home or you get shot.
Because
it's that serious.
Our country has there are countries who have been doing that.
No, we're talking about here in Minnesota. We can only talk about Minnesota, right? So why is it that we waited till tomorrow to mandate masks when he gave the order yesterday? Why did we wait? Why don't we just shut everything down and everybody wears masks immediately? Why are we waiting for tomorrow?
Because people aren't gonna. So everybody's not gonna.
Yeah,
you're right. I'm not.
Gonna
You're right.
respect the law.
Yeah. So it's not a law. It's a recommendation.
If a law is wrong, should it be obeyed?
Yeah. If I feel morally wrong about following a law,
who are you to say?
Someone tells you to kill someone, you're gonna.
If that is a law that I have to kill a person, I would do that.
but it's what about religion exemption? What do female Muslims wear around their face? Yeah. So I don't want to be associated with another religion, and so that could be my medical exemption. I'm informed about mask wearing and how it slows the oxygen level into your body and exhaling.
Is that why? I thought you were concerned because you didn't think it was real.
What the fuck? No, I'm just saying, like, these are all these other reasons why I don't want to wear a mask. I can have whatever reason I want. But it's a religious exemption.
But you're sitting here telling everyone else that this.
You don't have to do what I'm saying. You know, you act like I'm like telling you and I'm going to enforce something. This is what I choose to do, but you seem to be more passionate about your mask wearing, right? So I don't want to wear a mask. You should just be like, hey, you know what? Who cares? He doesn't want to wear a mask. Big deal. I would hope you don't curse me and say, well, I hope he dies from coronavirus, because that's not very good. Because then it's just going to come back to you. That's how this place works. So I just, heads up, you don't want to curse people here. So whatever somebody chooses to do, whether they're brainwashed, they're in a religion, or it's something that they just choose to do, don't condemn them.
What if your mom or dad died of coronavirus and it was like positive that they had it?
I would have to know whether they have a pre-existing condition, which my mom does, which is cancer.
Okay.
So I wouldn't be able to say it's for sure coronavirus that killed her. I would have to say it could be cancer complications, just like me with CF, cystic fibrosis. If I tested positive for it, I had pneumonia last month. A staph infection.
What is cystic fibrosis?
It's a genetic disability through the lungs, pancreas. You'd have to look it up, but so that's what they tell me. But it could be a selenium deficiency for all I know. But we need to verify mortality rates. Cases, not a big deal. People test positive doesn't mean they're ever even going to show symptoms. Same with asymptomatic people. We need to be worried about the mortality rate. And it's not as bad as it has been in the last year since the last flu.
I was reading something that the government is classifying every single death that has coronavirus positive in their system. They call that a corona death. So it is, I'd say the coronavirus death count is probably inflated than the actual, the real, if you just have coronavirus and die. But they are saying that if you have corona in your body and then you die from anything else, they're calling it a corona death.
The CDC said that if you had the common cold ever in your life, like coronavirus, you'll most likely test positive for it.
So you think it's then I probably would have tested positive because I've had the cold multiple times and I tested negative. But the thing is, one of our he was positive.
I had
probably 3.
I was in my house, in my bed.
Got tested during the time?
I didn't leave my bed for 4 days. On the 5th day, I was able to
How did you test positive if you couldn't leave your house?
No. He tested positive, and then a few days later, that's when he got sick.
It was the day after my other friend had tested positive, so I went in to check.
Well, you're still alive.
But you're still here. But it's great that you're.
I'm not saying.
But no, it doesn't. Okay, so if it proves it's real, but he didn't die.
Yeah, I'm
Right?
not saying you have to die every
I'm saying,
time.
I'm saying that
sick.
if you have a weaker immune system, you are more likely to
And if
die.
and if you have a weaker immune system,
You're
you
more
should
likely
be
to die
taking
in
care of
general.
yourself, right?
Exactly.
So you should be aware of your pre-existing condition or your health, and you should take care of yourself. It's not my responsibility to take care of you. Okay, so me wearing a mask isn't my responsibility. That's
It's
yours.
just like a human thing where we do things for others because we care about others.
Well, now we don't hold the door open for the other people anymore because they might have coronavirus. So there seems to be a switch now where nobody hugs everybody, nobody hangs out at their friend's house anymore.
To that point, opening the door for them because you might give them corona is not because we don't care about them as humans. It's because we don't want them to die and get them infected with corona.
Where do you think corona
Same as why we used to open the door.
I hear where you're coming from. We're losing our humanity right now.
Who do you
man.
think started the coronavirus? If you know what I mean, like if you think it's fake,
Mainstream
where is it?
media,
But why?
social media,
what would
you
they
know,
gain?
all these
What-
other
yeah, what are
media
they gaining
platforms.
from it? What are they gaining?
Well, look, everybody's doing a ritual now. This is like a
Yeah,
ritual.
Destroy the economy.
You know, yeah, destroy the economy.
Why would they want to destroy the economy?
Guess
The
it's
fact that the newscasts like Bill Maher and others have been talking
Of course.
last year they wanted the economy destroyed.
But that's a few people. I mean, that's a few people. Those aren't. I don't know.
Yeah, but look at everybody wearing masks now. Okay, so what will make? How long do you guys plan on wearing masks for? How long do you plan on wearing masks for? Okay, vaccines. Okay. You don't trust people? Yeah, of course. Just open it up. Okay, so you're gonna wear a mask till the vaccine. Anybody else have a time frame? A year? Forever?
Probably until I just wear a mask with my mom because she just got surgery probably like 2 months ago.
Okay.
And I just wear it around her.
So does a vaccine annul you of wearing a mask?
Say it again.
Does a vaccine, is that when it's going to get to a point where it's like, okay, I absolve you, my son, you don't have to worry about
That's
coronavirus?
probably they want you to think.
Are you going to take the vaccine?
I'm personally not. No.
Okay.
Antibodies, apparently.
Well, that's the idea, right?
The thing about you wearing a mask and why people get mad at you is because it's not about you. You're putting me in danger by not wearing a mask.
Then why aren't you wearing a mask? You're putting me in danger. I mean, come on. Let's be real.
Yeah, that's the only thing.
It sounds ridiculous. It sounds ridiculous to say that when you're not wearing a mask. No
I'm
offense.
also not like getting mad at people for not wearing masks.
No, we're
I don't
like
get mad
in a
either, I just
space where we're not like sitting in a closed room together for hours, like we're at a park and the air's moving around, so it's not that serious,
Okay.
and you're not at that high
But
risk.
everybody else thought it was serious a couple months ago, right? And
Yeah,
so
now it's a lot more
it starts out once you give these people an inch, they take a mile. So I'm just no mask. I recommend, ask you if you don't wear a mask here at the table, but I'm not gonna just wear a mask.
So what
That's
if
just not my
what
thing.
if you did get sick?
I did get sick.
You did?
Yeah, I was
And what
tested 3 times negative each time, and it was a staph infection, and I literally almost died. So I'm very happy to be out here and talk to everybody.
I'm happy you're here.
So yeah, I appreciate that. So it was a very scary time for me a month ago. I couldn't breathe.
And do you think that
No,
was,
I don't.
You don't think that was coronavirus?
No, I tested 3 times for it, and it was negative each time. So who am I supposed to believe? Am I supposed to believe the test or the symptoms?
I'd say
Because the symptoms would show I had anything. I mean, one of 20 things.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a flu, a cold, or whatever, but all of a sudden now, everybody thinks you cough in one aisle at a grocery store. Oh my God, he's got coronavirus. I can't go into that aisle and get my marshmallows for s'mores tonight for another 10 minutes. Now I gotta wait 10 minutes until the aerosols disperse. That is complete paranoia. Everybody's paranoid over that stuff. Hypochondriac. Just go about your business, please, human beings. Just go about your business.
Right, but what's the downside?
Just having to buy one and do all the religious external things.
What does that have to do with religion?
It does have to do with religion.
What about it that has to do with religion?
You're believing in government God to tell you what you should or shouldn't do throughout your day.
No, it's just best case scenario you save someone's life. Like
Prove it.
you prevent giving a disease to someone.
You
who's
can't
at high
prove it.
risk.
Yeah, you can't prove whether you're going to give them something or not. I haven't been tested for any. I've been tested for it, and I was negative, so I don't have to wear a mask. So how does?
Get it again and spread it to
How do you know? That's not verified that the antibodies.
How do you know you can't?
How do you know you can?
How do you know you can't?
I've heard that you can or can't. So I
Okay,
mean,
so we're
I
even.
just choose the happy place and say I'm not going to get it at all.
Get tested.
So
If it's fake, why would you get tested?
I was in the hospital already, and they had me take it 3 times. So
You're allowed to decline a COVID test.
yeah, sure, I could, but I wanted to prove the point.
Well,
that
how
I was
do know that
negative.
you even got one? Where's your proof?
What?
Where's your proof that you got tested?
You want me to go through HIPAA law and show you my personal health information? Is that what you're
Yes.
asking?
I actually wouldn't answer that.
Come on.
I don't believe that you.
Then don't.
If you really didn't believe in it, you wouldn't have
Then
ever gotten
don't.
tested.
Then don't.
Well, why'd he be lying right now? Why would he say he got tested?
I got tested 3 times. I was on the floor, and why not? I mean, I used to stick a noodle down my nose to take a tube feeding down my nose. Okay, so having them put a sterile swab down my throat 5 inches isn't that big of a deal to me. Needles and blood don't scare me. They don't intimidate me. So I'm gonna take it. I got negative, and I just proved a point that just because I show symptoms of something that doctors a week prior to me getting tested were certain I was positive of coronavirus. And I said, no, it's not coronavirus, it's CF complications. And that's what it ended up being. It didn't end up being anything.
Maybe for your case.
Sure. But that doesn't mean that I have to then go along with what's going on right now.
No, you
It's
don't
just
have
not.
to do anything, but like, it's just, I don't know.
It's great. It's a nice, and you all seem like nice people, and that you would just kind of go along with what government and mainstream media say. But I would encourage you to eventually, there has to be a point where you say, hey, you know what? All my friends are doing this. I can't do it anymore because it doesn't feel right for me. When will that come?
What is so bad about wearing a mask? Like, what will happen?
So,
I don't like it.
What's the worst thing that could happen from wearing a mask?
Hey, if you want to wear one, that's great.
Okay, worst case scenario, you have a piece of fabric on your face. Best case, you save someone's life.
But the masks aren't effective, and the CDC says that. And Fauci has said that also.
Oh, so you're saying they're not effective, so there is a disease to be prevented.
No, I'm just using your profits to give you your information that you would believe. I am not the source that you believe, right? You don't believe a word that I say. But I'm giving you scripture from prophets that you depend on that say masks are not
Why are you
effective.
making this sound like this is a religion?
It is a religion.
It's not.
It is.
Government and religion are different.
Don't you watch TV, go on social media, and whatever they do and say, the trends are what it is that you guys comply to? That's okay. That's not a big deal. But to be informed, like I look into things and I don't trust what I hear from mainstream media because they have a history of lying to us. Look at Project Mockingbird. You know, they implant government agents, CIA agents into ABC, Fox News, and so on, CNN.
Yeah.
These are CIA agents.
Barely. I'm just trying to see what people are saying.
So,
Can I ask you a question?
yeah, what's up?
Do you think aliens are real?
No, I don't. I think that there are more. So, like right here, if you just look, right here. So the center is the North Pole. So what's here in this blue?
That's water.
Water? Okay. So are they obligated to put land here if there were land on a map? Can I just ask, but seriously though, are they obligated to tell you about land here?
Is there land?
Is there land here?
Is there land?
I don't know. Is there? Okay. So how do you know that? How have you verified that? Okay.
It's not.
So if there's more land, have you heard of Atlantis? Like these stories of Atlantis or ancient civilizations and so on? Yeah. You guys have never heard of ancient civilizations?
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened to those ancient civilizations?
Well, actually,
Got destroyed. Some of them have allegedly gone underwater. Okay, so
I saw the Disney.
yeah, exactly. What's that one? There's a Thor movie or so yeah. I mean, there's been stories of ancient civilizations that have been buried by the ocean. You can see some of their artifacts underwater, but that's no different than life. Real life, there's also land. Have you ever seen Tomorrowland? With there's a Disney movie with that doctor from ER.
It was like in 2018.
Yeah, and so that's another. They give you truth in movies and lies in the news. They share information to you about reality, but it's in the movies, so you think it's not real. But then when they tell you that there's this invisible enemy that's going to infect you, and if you just wear a mask, it's okay, you comply. And so there's more civilizations than we're aware of, and that's going to be your alien invasion. Is another ancient civilization that's been weaning off this technology to us over hundreds of years, particularly the last 50. I mean, if evolution were true, don't you think we'd have better technology by now for 50,000 years into it as human beings? We just started getting this technology in the last, 25 years? We are so much smarter than I think a lot of, unfortunately, that we're educated to believe in school. and we have to investigate information on our own time, go off the beaten path where our mom and dad would think we're crazy, and go that route and see where it leads you. You can always back off and you don't have to delve into it too much. But everything that you're taught in mainstream media, if that's all you believe and you trust, and when somebody like me or Lois comes to the lake and stirs the pot and says no, then I see where your heart lies. And I will call it a religion until somebody proves me different.
What a religion.
Wait, would it be fair to
Public education, how our culture is. American culture is developed in public education. Yeah, I went
did you go
to
to college?
I graduated Buffalo High School in '99.
Did you go to college?
So, well, whether I did or didn't,
I don't. Like, did you?
I don't
Just
know.
a question.
Yeah. I don't want to give up all my information. Got to keep a mystery, So. But Google it. Google my YouTube channel. If you don't like what I have to say, it's not like I don't offer up links in the description section of my videos for you to go down to also. Not everybody likes to hear what I have to say, and that's great. But I do like to hear what other people have to say, and I'm not agree with everything that they say. But don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Take what I have to say. If you don't like me, take the information. But flat Earth and who I am doesn't discredit the things that I am possibly saying are true or have some semblance of something to consider. So that's where I'm coming from.
How many subs you got?
Enough, I don't really think about it like that. I just come out to the lake and the Earth is flat. I can observe water when it's contained, like in the shoreline, laying level and flat. And so from shoreline to shoreline, Pacific Ocean, Indian Ocean, and so on, those are all shorelines, right? So water lays level and flat, there's just more shorelines. The sun travels parallel from the ground at all points on Earth.
Well, this is too small to be observable. Yeah.
So,
way larger than grass.
how big is it?
I can see across the lake, guys.
Okay, but if you understood and comprehended the diameter and the measurements of the Earth that you believe you live on, that's why I'm here.
Wait, so you're just basing it off of looking straight and you see that's flat?
Because it's atmosphere. So from what if you go on your weather app, how far distance does it say that you can see?
It just shows clouds.
10, 14 miles, okay? So ask yourself, why is it that I can't see from New York to, London
It
again?
doesn't get foggier and foggier. It cuts out. Wait, if it was like that,
Have you ever been on
It's called like fog, atmosphere, dispersals in the air. You're not going to be able to see that
if it
far.
were like that and clouds like slowly obstructed your view as it went out, it would get foggier and foggier until you couldn't see it anymore. It just cuts
Oh
out.
shoot, what's up, live?
I know you want to believe that, but it's perspective. So in a hallway, do not things line up together at a point in a hallway? Okay, so it's the same thing with us here on Earth. The sky, the clouds top goes so far, right? So if we see perspective, it all comes up and it ramps together at the bottom and meets to the bottom. That's perspective. That's why you can't see forever, because the clouds eventually get eaten up by the surface, do they not?
So if the Earth is flat, what's at the edge?
Well, there's two answers. It's either an ice wall or more shorelines, of which both I can't verify. Okay, but if there is no edge to outer space.
Wait, how do you know that if you've never done that?
I know water lays level and flat, and if we could all agree, if I have to, compromise, I guess, and say that water is 75% covers the Earth. If Earth is covered 75% by water, and water doesn't bend, then the Earth is flat. Isn't that the conclusion that you have to come to?
I got a question.
Is it what?
You said it's not. You said water isn't. What did you say?
Well, if I have to compromise that the Earth is 75% water, and water doesn't bend, it doesn't bend to make a ball in outer space. Okay, it doesn't bend. Water doesn't bend in general, right? If I hold water, it just falls out of my hands. Okay, it goes to the ground, right? So at what point, how far do you have to see, or how high do you have to be to see water bend to make a ball? You need curvature to have a ball.
It does. That's why it cuts off, because it curves down.
No, that's a small ball. That's a small ball Earth. What's the distance? You got to tell me what the distance is. You know, because
Well, I don't have the.
that's 5 miles.
I have a question about the smell. If somebody was down here and they were, flying around the globe, why wouldn't they just fly off into space? Because I'm sure someone is taking a flight from around here to there.
If the Earth is flat, is it a disk floating in outer space like a ball Earth? Is it just a disk instead?
Is that what you think?
No, I'm asking you. Is that what you think?
No, I don't. I think that it's
Okay, but come back to your question again. Are you replacing this model with that model and thinking that the Earth, if it were flat, it's just a CD disk floating in outer space instead?
Okay, yes, I do.
Is that what you think?
I'm asking you if that's what you think.
No, I think that is a globe.
Okay, so you're just replacing one model with another. Hold on, I'm engaging with her, man. If you're replacing this model, flat Earth model, with that, you're just saying that it's a disk floating in outer space. You think I think that, right? I don't. I think that land and water go on infinitely forever, horizontally with the sky. So if you're in Minnesota and then have you ever been out of the state before?
Yeah.
So you go to another state, does the sun at noon, is the sun not directly above you in Minnesota as it is in California, for example?
It is.
It is, okay.
It's directly above you.
Yes, of course.
Yeah,
Because we're all in the same, we're all in the same plane here. Whether it's curved or not, it's always going to be above you. So if the Earth is flat, for example, then just think about it like this. Instead of the Earth spinning, the Earth is flat and stationary, and the sun is just traveling further away from you out of your perspective.
If it's just infinite land and water, though, then if the sun's just traveling like that, where does it go after that?
So it just goes away from your perspective. It goes in a circular motion. I don't know if you saw it earlier.
If it's just one plane, the sun would just keep going and it wouldn't come back to us.
Well, it has a relationship with the North Pole, whether it be magnetically attracted or it's retracted by the center, North Pole. It goes like this, just like.
They're like, what are they protecting us from, or what are they lying to us about? What is
I mean, it could be they could be protecting us from themselves. It could be like another civilization. It could be that civilization that's keeping us from going and exploring.
Say it was another civilization. Why wouldn't we combine forces?
There's so much. They most likely believe that they're part of a bloodline and they're better than us. There are a lot of stories, and if you get into a religious conversation, there are a lot of stories that, people believe because of their bloodline they're more important than others, whether it be by color of skin or culture or whatever. So what's up?
Wait, does this image display your belief of how the sun orbits?
Yeah, I mean, I can show you right here. So there you go. Right now the sun is.
Do you believe that the sun and the moon orbit at the same distance?
I'm ready.
Like above us?
Yeah.
Like in terms, like 20, 30 miles?
But you think they're on
on the Earth plane, yeah. So they're literally above the Earth plane, yeah.
Okay, so then.
So what?
How does that explain eclipses?
Well, what do you mean? So going back to why I think the Earth is flat has nothing to do with eclipses, lights in the sky, whatever it is that's above us. The water lays level and flat. Okay, so when you start to comprehend that water is flat when it's calm, have you all ever been up north or at a lake and there's no wind and the lake looks like glass?
Yes.
And it's reflective and it's super calm, right? That's calming to you, right? So imagine that the oceans, if it weren't as windy and it didn't have undercurrent to create waves and stuff, it would also be level and flat like glass, and it would show that infinitely. Just like the salt flats. The salt flats show that after it rains, that there's a mirror image of the sky, and it goes on for miles and miles and miles. If you comprehend what the circumference and the diameter of your ball Earth that you believe you live on, you'll be able to use math, come up to an equation of 8 inches per mile squared, where after a certain distance you should see a curvature drop.
Okay, but
yeah, thanks a lot. Take care, man. I'll see you again.
No, but shouldn't somebody have been able to go out further and prove that?
If they did, why are they obligated to tell you?
Okay, so you're telling me that somebody would just go out and create completely what everybody believes. They would find the complete opposite, and they just wouldn't tell anybody?
Yeah, so in
That's completely unrealistic.
I know.
Do people ever lie?
What do you mean?
People ever lie.
Yeah, people lie.
But I feel like if someone proved that the Earth was flat and they got like footage of it or something, I feel like they'd want to share it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a really great, like, human concept, but that's not reality.
Well, why would somebody want to keep that a secret?
Because this place hates human beings, and it doesn't like us.
Okay. Yeah.
And so you need to understand that there is evil, and 100 years ago they believed the Earth was flat. In 1927, they started the predictive programming of a ball Earth on Universal Pictures. Before every movie, they would show a ball Earth, even though they've never verified it before with their own eyes, like by going to the moon. And when they did go to the moon and claim that they went to the moon, why is it that you feel compelled that they're obligated to tell you the truth about where you live?
Okay, so you don't believe in NASA or anything like that?
I mean, I believe they exist, but I don't think that they do what you think that they do.
Do you have like a reason to believe not?
Yeah, there's a lot of fakery that shows the moon landing to be a hoax.
Okay, I mean,
There's a lot of political aspects to it too.
There's a lot of proof that it does, like proof that it did happen.
Okay, so science should be able to be verified, right? So why is it that we've only gone to the moon 6 times since then? No other country has landed men on the moon except for the United States. Science, what it does is it verifies things, and then people should be able to test those things. Okay, so nobody else has verified the moon landing ever happened. I can't do it. And going on the moon, you can clearly see that there is video to show evidence that it's not what they say it is.
And it is what you said?
It's clearly a hoax. Clearly.
Wait, so video evidence shows what?
You have to look into it. And
I'm curious, what grade are you in, or what?
We're going into sophomore year, all of us.
Okay, so maybe about
15.
Just curious.
That was actually a good question about the eclipses. Like, if you think that this is all, and they're on the same plane, the sun and the moon, how do you explain that?
Well,
I know you were talking about the water all being flat, but I feel like you should answer that too.
okay, so with the eclipse and everything?
Yeah.
Okay, so after, unfortunately, because of YouTube and everything, not allowing minors on their platform, I got to end the conversation, okay? But eclipses may or may not be something to do with the electromagnetism of the sun and the moon and the relationship of which they have. And so when the sun is the opposite of the moon, it lights up the moon because it may be drawing the plasma from the moon and revealing it. And then when the sun and the moon are closer, it's only a new moon and we can't see the moon. Okay, so when the moon phases, same thing. The moon phases have nothing to do with, the earth or, sun in between the earth and, all that stuff. It's all about electromagnetism, and the moon may be plasma. Same with the sun. So the sun is a positive polar, and the moon is a negative
But
polar.
that's just a belief, because you can't prove that it's like plasma.
Well, some people back in the 60s did claim, and had some more verification than what I could say, that it is plasma. And it's not a rock solid sphere in outer space. What's that? You can't go to the moon. No.
Why can't you go to the moon?
Huh?
Yeah, if you can't go to the moon or something, you can't.
It gives off the properties of which plasma would do, and you can test that here on Earth.
With your COVID thing, COVID didn't exist because it had all the same symptoms for all these other things. So like that could just be similar. Like that could just be anything. You don't know.
Could be.
Which is why we have testing.
So if you want to wear a mask, that's up to you.
Well, just remember
Oh, hey.
they say that the Earth is over 70%
Figure out what the moon is.
Yeah.
70% water. And just remember that water lies flat and level. So I mean, just think about that. What would happen to the water on here? It would just whoosh off.
Okay, no,
But-
not when there's gravity.
There's a center mass
Gravity
that
wouldn't hold water on here.
I mean,
Why
yeah.
would it hold water but not a bug or a butterfly?
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it? Because you generate more lifts than gravity. Because gravity is a pretty weak force.
But do you see how the lake is in the ground? It's because gravity's keeping it down.
Yeah, like if
This is
anything,
how I
like
throw my
So
phone
you
up in
think,
the air.
you think that magnetism will hold water
Not
to
magnetism, just like gravitational force. Yeah, it's a center mass.
Same with water.
That's never been proven.
Why wouldn't it be
Yeah, yeah. Well,
okay, no, but how do you explain P waves and S waves then? Going through the, that's how they like. Which one is it? Which one is it? P waves that they go through the.
S waves, it's P waves that goes through the
Yeah,
core.
yeah, it goes through the core. How do they, like, how they identify
I've
P
never
waves?
proven there's any core.
Okay, no,
That's
but
just theory.
Okay,
no,
How far
but
have we
that's-
drilled? Do you know?
What?
How far have human beings drilled into the earth?
I could.
Hey, this is the same thing with the moon. They can't like prove it, but it shows the same properties as having a nickel or what cobalt core. Yeah.
When metals are melted that much, they can't hold their magnetism
No,
at
it's
that
not,
temperature.
It's not magnetism. It's that they hold enough mass to have like a significant gravitational pull on everything. On
No.
the surface.
Why no?
Wait, why not?
It's just buoyancy and density. It's that simple. That's
Okay.
why things fall to the ground. You
So-
can't use gravity and then turn it into some magic story about how universes and solar systems
There's
are made.
more mass,
Also,
so it's affected more. That's what density.
that's your belief, and you haven't verified that.
No, but what's your counter?
I'm just not going to engage with it anymore. Unfortunately, you guys are too young. So
Yeah.
has buoyancy and density and mass. That's why things fall to the ground, and then you need more power to make it go up.
So if something more dense means it's going to fall through gravity. It has everything.
But it has nothing to do with gravity. So
Okay, no, but mass and
Do you not think
gravity
gravity's
are
real?
tied together. They're like that's how that works. Okay, so like, is
that doesn't
If you have, like a volleyball or a beach ball or a basketball, pour some water on and see if the water will stick to it. Doesn't have to.
Because the
Yeah,
volleyball
that's
doesn't
just
have
the volleyball.
gravitational
It doesn't have
Yeah.
enough mass.
Yeah, it doesn't have enough mass.
So how do you verify it then?
Some mysterious pull.
How do you verify it then? That's science. If you believe that what you want to demonstrate shows that that it's not true, but then you want to believe that it is true on a larger scale, but you can't verify it yourself, that's a belief system and that's religion.
So mass and gravitational pull is proven. It's like like sixth
By
grade
who?
science.
By who?
Proven. If you get like
Sixth
big
grade
buildings
science?
and-
Yeah, they want to get you really young to believe something that's not
And-
true,
and then
and then
you
now you
prove it while
can't
doing
fight
the
against
math.
it. Now you love to be lied to. No offense,
I
but
did it myself.
I'm bringing you truth about water laying flat and level.
If I see
The
it
earth
with
is
my own
firm,
eyes, how
built
am I-
on foundations, not a ball earth, and that's where I'm at. So if
is
you want to
virtually
believe what
the
you want to
whole
believe,
world,
it sucks.
lied
But
to?
yes,
So you just think everything's a
And-
lie?
most of it, yeah.
So
It's a pretty good place to start. It's a pretty good place to start. If you believe that everything is good and like everybody has good nature towards man and stuff, that might be true here individually, but massive scale like government is to control your mind. That's why it's in place.
Who's your source for news?
So all sorts of different places. CDC, WHO, Fox News, CNN.
Hey,
You know?
if this
This is a government institution.
Yeah, they are. They also get a lot of money from Bill Gates.
if
What
there's
you just
like
said is mainstream media, and you were arguing against that earlier.
like why if the government was this oh so powerful force that just controlled your mind, how would you like why are you like not controlled?
We don't wear masks here at the table, and Earth is flat.
Oh, the Earth is flat.
Every belief you have is a religion.
it's a lie.
Yep.
Government, religion.
And you've been lied to.
Everything you learn in school is
Yep.
See.
Yeah. So what's up with you? How is it going today? You got the corona.
Fucking right, dude.
You got the Rones.
How else would I do it?
You got the Rones.
Yeah, I gotta celebrate what's going on.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
That's right. You got corona, I got corona too.
Make sure you take your mask off when you drink. Some people forget about that.
You know it's mandated tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna wear
Maybe
one.
at this park even, right?
I'm not gonna
Is
wear
it
one.
outside in
It's
public
indoors.
or is it just indoors?
Indoors.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, you got it.
I won't be wearing a mask. You know that you can get medical and a religious exemption for wearing a mask inside a store?
Definitely good.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you just walk in like it's 2019. Like there's no reason to feel like you're obligated to wear a mask.
True.
If you choose to wear a mask, that's great. But I'm not going to.
Okay. I want to. If you go to like the South Pole or the North Pole, is that just the edge of the world?
No, have you ever seen this before? Like the center of the Earth
I've seen them.
is the North Pole?
I've seen them.
So where's the South Pole?
Okay.
Where's the South
So the South is wherever the opposite of North is. Just like a compass. A compass always points north.
The opposite.
Yep, so if you want to go south, you just go the opposite of north, right? But all your compasses point north. Yeah.
Wait, what up with east and west then?
That'll make no
Wait, yeah.
So
what happened to east
well,
or west?
when you point the compass north and you want to go east or west, you go east or west. But you're gonna go like this.
Okay, so if you go east and west, you're just going in a circle.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're telling me if I went straight, like if I just went east, I'd end up right where I was before.
Yes.
That's what you do.
Okay.
I mean, just
So,
try,
like,
try walking
yeah,
around the block.
Wait, but like,
You end up in the
if
same
I went
spot,
to like the
but then
side,
it's
am I
just
walking
block
off?
is
Or
Yeah.
like so like.
No, it goes on forever.
Wait,
You'll ever try to?
It goes on forever, but nobody's been there, and nobody would ever say.
Wait,
it.
Do you believe it's so? No, but
Wait,
do you think you'll ever try
so-
to prove it? Like go to the
You're right.
laser test.
No, that's what he said.
Yeah, because on that map, if you keep going,
Wait, so
you won't go back where you
So
are.
if we're talking like if I go like over here, right, and I just like walk off, like what happens, you know?
You just keep going.
Yeah, you keep going, but nobody's been there, and if they have been there, nobody's told anyone.
Well, you can look at Admiral Byrd. I mean, I'm not trying to like.
So
I don't know why you have such an attitude. Like it sounds like you're defending your government narrative that you got from education. And that's just what it sounds like to me. Okay, so if you want to be an apologetic for government education, that's great. But just because I'm bringing you new information doesn't mean that you should like talk to me as if I'm a lesser being than you.
No,
and that's really
I just don't
offensive.
feel like you're the information.
So I've been here for 3 years, man. So I've been doing this for a lot longer than you've been trolling me for, right? Or flat earthers in general. So I do have information and knowledge about why I think the earth is flat. That doesn't make it not true. It just makes you unawares of what else is out there.
But since you've been studying this for so much longer, and I came up with a point that you still haven't argued, says something.
No, it doesn't say. I don't have all the answers. Just because I don't have all the answers doesn't mean why I'm not out here being what I'm doing doesn't make it true. Or something to look into.
So I'm still confused on like what's past there, like what's over here, you know?
I don't know. I've never been there before, so I can't verify it. So,
are we
so
talking
just
like-
because
like
hold
another,
on.
like-
So just because you haven't traveled further up into outer space, does that not make outer space real?
No.
Okay, so it makes space real because you haven't done there, but it makes flat Earth fake because you haven't gone that far. That doesn't make any sense.
Pictures of space, and there's not pictures of the edge of the Earth.
Pictures of space, like what?
If you had curvature, you would not be.
Yeah, you want to see this? This is fun.
Want me to
What's
like
that?
pull up like a quick like I don't know
Yeah,
like,
do it.
image on Safari?
Yeah, go for it. What are your?
pictures of dragons too. Do you think dragons are flying around?
Yeah, right.
No, I don't.
What about?
I feel like that's
Dragons are cool.
What
though.
about Earth from space? Go Google image Earth from space and show me a real image of Earth from space.
Wait, no, here's a like the space though, so like don't really know which one to like present. To.
get it really animated.
Somebody lose their key fob?
That's no bueno.
That sucks.
Okay, so if the Earth is flat, what's under it?
There is no underneath.
Wait, so are we
We've only-
talking like
There's no underneath.
Yeah, that's not real, man.
so like Photoshop? No.
Well, no, it's those things. The top two things on the corner. Here, show the camera too. Show them. So the top two things here and here are real, but they're on a stationary image, and the back is a green screen.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You can do this in Hollywood all the time. I mean, you guys saw Gravity, the movie with Sandra Bullock and that doctor from ER, right? People were responding in the comment section after it came out and thought that what they were doing was real. They thought they thought that movie was real. And so I'm just saying, if NASA gets $55-60 million a day, could they not fake space?
But,
I mean,
so you think like the Hubble and all that and all the
Hubble is an airplane called Sophia.
So the Mars isn't real, like the movie Mars.
No, of course not. It has no basis on reality.
Wait, do you think no Mars? Do you think
No.
Wait,
that was no Mars?
No, they're just lights in the sky.
Oh.
I think that they're electromagnetic lights that vibrate at a certain vibration in liquid water.
But like people can get real telescopes and see Mars and see that it's a planet.
Okay, so it's a circular thing in the sky, but that doesn't verify that it's someplace we can land an RC car.
But it's not an electromagnetic light.
How do you know it's not?
Because people have seen it. It's a planet.
Okay. You can see it. Yeah, we see a light in the sky.
So, but people can buy telescopes. It's not just the government mainstream media
Yeah,
who can see them.
right. And you can see it. So big deal. It's a light in the sky. And if you zoom in close enough, you can actually see it vibrate and have different oscillations
and see,
to
like,
it.
Texture and see like
And see cymatics. No, you cannot see land with the telescope. That's when you get to NASA, National Geographic, and everything.
So how do you think that they faked the moon landing in what, 1970? Was it?
1969 to 72. Yeah.
Wait, what about like the people on
What is that?
Yeah, how did Nixon call the moon? How did Nixon call the moon from a landline?
What about the people who've been on like Everest and have claimed to see the curve? That's also just like, from on top of Everest. There's been people who've been like claimed to see the curve.
Wait, and why can?
So if I were to point in the sky and say, "Oh, can you see it? Can you see it?" and I have Lois come over, and Lois is in on it with me, and she says, "Yeah, I see it." And then I have another friend come up who you don't know. You don't think I know them, and then they say, "Oh yeah, I see it too." How many people would it take for you to say, "Yeah, I see it too," and there's nothing there?
You think the government sent out these like elite climbers to go up there and say that there's a curve?
Could be.
What do they gain from that?
Could be. I mean, why not? Send some agents up there to say that the Earth is curved, and then use a fisheye lens, and then make the horizon curve so much so that it's exaggerated to tell people that the Earth is a ball? Yeah, I think they would do that.
If you saw the Earth from space and it was a sphere, would you believe it?
It's not a sphere. You can't get high enough to see the Earth as it would be like this. We can't though.
No, but
Wait, so
we can't. That's
what he said.
so
we
if you
can't.
came up in like space or whatnot, like
Do you know what hypothetical?
Okay,
I do know what hypothetical means, but I don't say if you were to go to Santa Claus's little workshop, and you were to meet all of his elves. That's not what we do.
Well, he would answer the question.
So
yeah,
we don't do that here though. So you can set up a table over there if you want and ask that question.
Or if you saw proof that the Earth was round.
But it's not. It's a painting. All of your images of Earth from space are data collections of which they use a high altitude balloon or plane, and they just scan a flat surface, whether it be land, water, and so on, and then they put it onto a screen. They Photoshop it, and
it's just.
they literally say this. This is how they do it.
Who is that?
NASA. And the people who make the images that you see on National Geographic.
So wait, so NASA both
just
is
interpreting.
saying the
right in the news.
See, that's the thing is like I have this information and you look at me as if I'm crazy. You're just uninformed. You don't know the information.
we're not saying
If you were to show us,
No, I see his face. I've been doing this long enough to know, and I can see his face, which is great. He's not wearing a mask. So I know that this is how they create the images that you think are planets in outer space. And they use data that they get from the sky, and then they say, oh, this color's 1, this color's 2, and then they project it onto a sphere, and then they put that globe that you think is a globe onto a ball. But it's really just a flat plane that they're scanning. They admit this.
Okay.
Yes, they do.
So on
Wait,
who
admits that?
When did they
The people who make your images of your ball Earth and Mars and everything else.
That's what they do for like
Okay,
farther
so
out pictures are programmed because it's like interpreting data. But
So-
with
Yeah, and they do that with Earth too. Because all of your images of Earth are not real. They're not photos, and you don't know where you live.
Wait, why? Wait, why though? Like, why aren't they real?
Because they're CGI and we can't get high enough to see them.
so like the guy.
Because there's a
But
dome.
can you
you
prove?
take parts of the Earth and you stitch them together.
Shouldn't have to stitch them. You should have a complete
no,
picture,
you
photograph, reel
No.
of Earth from space, and we don't
Why
have
they
it.
CGI it though? Like.
They just do the same thing. It's painting. You know, they copy and paste
Prove
like
it, though.
Photoshop.
You know what I mean? Like, prove it.
So you got my YouTube channel. You can go on an adventure
No,
yourself.
it's
I
more
got plenty.
convenient right here.
I can't prove anything to you right here. You have to go on your own adventure for however long it takes, and if you choose to do that, that's up to you.
Is there like?
But I'm not here to convert you or make you believe
I'm
what
just
I
curious,
do,
you know?
and I don't have to be apologetic and give you all of my information. If I want to withhold information because I want you to desire to do it yourself, that's my choice, right? I mean,
So you
I
do
know,
have
but,
like a
like-
direct, credible source that states this
yeah,
information.
multiple sources.
But you won't tell
No,
us.
but like all I'm asking.
If you go on my
on
YouTube
some of
channel,
your
you can
YouTube
go
videos?
on there.
No, but all I'm asking is like, you know, like, do you know if they CGI it or not?
Yeah, I do.
Telling you that they are.
They're telling you. They tell you.
No, it's not
Plus,
that, right?
plus you can have 4 different images from 10 years apart. Okay, so 30 years pictures of Earth, and the continents are different sizes. So all of a sudden the continents get bigger. All of a sudden, like, should there be consistency? No, it's not. Maybe they should always be the same every single day, every single time.
Okay, so about the flat thing.
You know,
So is there an edge to the Earth, or does it keep on going?
It keeps going, in my opinion, but
Okay,
I can't verify
so,
it.
in your belief,
Doesn't
do
the
you think
space go on infinite? Can I ask you the same thing? Doesn't space go on infinitely forever?
Yeah.
Okay, so how have you verified that?
No, I'm not going
Okay.
against that.
No, no
I
offense.
was
Just think it's something to think about. You know.
Is there anything underneath it?
No.
So.
How far have human beings drilled into the Earth?
Yeah, like 10 miles.
8 miles.
8 miles?
Kona borehole in Russia, allegedly, right?
So
If it goes on infinitely forever, how do you get to the underside of something that goes on infinitely forever?
Wait, so it doesn't go down infinitely as well?
No, it does not. 8
Oh,
miles.
so you could. So
Only
if we
goes
went
8
past
miles.
8 miles, it would just be.
You can't. Allegedly the drilling bits get too hot and they can't drill any further.
And
Okay, so if it goes on forever,
that's
then
pretty convenient.
Dude, Earth is
Horizontally.
pretty wide then. Wow.
So
So it just keeps on going.
yeah, it's 8 miles thick. And then
so-
whatever it is that we have
If it goes
here,
on for like ever, that's like.
it's as deep. So it's as deep. If you were at the Mariana Trench, which is already 35,000 feet, 7-8 miles, then you go to the Mariana Trench and then you drill. I mean, then you could go even further.
Oh, so it's not 8 miles thick. It's so
On
do we not
land,
know?
they've drilled 8 miles. So whatever they've done in the Mariana Trench to drill even further, I don't know if they have.
So you don't know like the exact thickness.
Could be 16 miles, but it's not 3,000 miles in diameter, or 4,000 miles in diameter like they tell us. There's no core of the Earth. There's no ball. Doesn't look like a gobstopper. It's flat like a table.
Wait, how deep is the Mariana Trench?
From surface of the water to the floor of the Mariana Trench is like 38,000 feet.
And that's
7-8 miles.
Can you explain
9 miles.
how the moon and sun are like in relationship to each other again?
Yeah,
So, like,
and just from what I've understood about it, is they have a particular relationship with the North Pole. So whether the center of the North Pole repels or attracts the moon, that's how they go about their business to make the seasons. So in December or January, the sun is lower on the horizon here in Minnesota. Is that something we could agree with? Have you ever seen the sunset? Okay, so the sunset when it's just lower, and even during the day at noon, it's lower on the horizon. But then in the summertime, it's almost directly above us. Okay, so it's the sun traversing over the flat plain, parallel with the ground at the same height.
sun, when it's nighttime, it goes below the point.
It just goes further away from your perspective. So right now, the sun is just traveling at the same height like this, but it's just traveling further away from you. And it's perspective. So when the sun travels further away, it gets eaten up by the horizon because it's just going that way. Just like anything of perspective that you would see on a railroad track, for example. Same thing, same concept. We learned about this in art class. I hope you did, anyways, perspective. And so the moon and the sun have a relationship with each other. And so whether the sun is repelling or pulling the moon to make the phases, the moon is its own light source.
Wait.
The moon is its
Going back to what you said about perspective and how you learned that in sixth grade art class, wouldn't that be government school teaching you?
Well, it's objective though,
why do you
but it's
believe that
objective. Come on, it's art. It's objective reality. It's you perceiving the earth, or it's you perceiving things in your eyes, and that's how we all perceive things.
So, but
it's just
so
like
the government
learning a
just-
language. If I learn a language in government school, am I going to say, is it real? Come on.
I mean,
Can we be rational? You gotta be rational. I know you want to be like, I gotta find something to stump him, you know, but that's not fair. They're not gonna lie about everything. You gotta add some sugar in the salt.
Wait, I have a question.
Yeah.
What does the government gain from making us think the Earth is a globe if that's fake? Like, how does
why in the
that
first
help
place?
them?
if I had Scooter City, just wasn't.
Power.
But what power does that give them?
No.
If the Earth
No,
is
yeah, what's the
flat,
benefit of?
why would they hide that?
Well, they can do whatever they want.
Yeah, but like, why?
Why would they
Why
do
do you
that?
think?
Because people will believe just about anything.
Right, but
I mean,
Wait.
But I mean, the like us thinking that the Earth is round, if it's
What-
not,
what
that
bene-
doesn't
what's
help
the
the
benefit
government.
of
That
that?
doesn't like keep
What
us
do they
more in
gain?
line than it would before. It doesn't change anything.
So like, why from the
How do you
start?
know it doesn't though?
If you believe me,
Well,
that
what
it
would it change?
like act like a team of the year.
You're in it right now, so you can't see my or Lois's perspective.
But like, what?
No.
You know,
How does this like give the
you know,
government
like,
more
realistically.
power?
But
What if there's more
Along
land?
with what you're being told all the time, no questions asked.
Yeah, that's right.
Because there's no way to prove otherwise.
You're right. So you gotta believe them, or else you get flamed by everybody at the park, right?
That's right.
So if I don't go along with the program and I don't have, if I wear a mask, I'm just everybody else. I'm like everybody else. Hey, he's a good little tax-paying person. And that's just not me. There's something wrong with this place, and unfortunately, there's not enough people who realize that there is.
not a taxpayer.
I may or may not be. You know. So show me the law. Show me the law where it says anybody has to pay taxes. People were rising up. People were rising up for 3% tax increase. Okay, and now it's at 45%. So obviously we all just go along to get along, and I'm not the type to go along to get along. If I see something wrong in my own conscience, how I carry my constitution, I'm not going to do it. And if whatever the repercussions of that are, at least I did what I know I needed to do at that time until more information comes along. But the information that I've been given come from the same people that you trust yourselves. Government, mainstream media, CDC, who says that wearing a mask when you're sick and have symptoms is when you should wear a mask.
And the government tells you, okay, stay 6 feet apart from everybody else and wear a mask. And you say, okay.
So you're saying the
no
government,
questions asked.
The government,
like it's chill,
not
like I'm not
trusted.
dying to like hug my buddy.
Have really proven like how little, especially our generation, trusts the government. And if you're saying you keep saying that we're so blindly following it, then what are all these protests about? You know, a lot of it is protesting the government itself, and you're just making it seem like we're blindly following it. I think a lot of us are actually coming from places of more scientific fact, more than you, rather than just trusting the government and mainstream media.
Okay, then I have nothing to say, and I don't know why you keep listening to me. I've been listening for quite a while. What is it about me? What is it about what I'm saying that resonates
I
with
just
you?
think it's an interesting perspective.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. But don't go away from here thinking that everything I said is wrong. You know, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Why don't you try to investigate and prove me wrong and come back here, because I come here often. I've been here for 3 years, and I have never seen any of you before. So it's not like I avoid you or conversations, obviously. I put my table right up to the trail. I want to have conversations, but I don't need to because I have signs here that basically give you an idea of where I'm coming from, so you don't have to. You know, but I'm open to have conversations. But again, to act like, no offense, and some of you aren't, but some people do think like they're better than Lois or I because we think differently. You know, so just because we think differently doesn't mean that we're wrong. It's just a different perspective, and that frequency, that feeling that you get, that vibration in your heart, how we speak doesn't make you feel very good.
I have a question. So you said like some of your trusted sources have been like the government, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the government has also told us like wear masks, like stay inside. So they just say different things for fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they talk one way out of their mouth and another way out of their mouth.
Oh.
It's all recommendations. It's a recommendation. It's not a law.
It's gonna be a law.
But it's not a law. It can't be.
Why not?
Because I have a medical or religious exemption and I can go into a store and not wear a mask. So, why not? If I get that option, why not? But why does it affect me if I get a religious exemption?
Right, but like, again with the mask thing, if you get someone sick,
Prove that I got them sick. Maybe I got, what if I got hundreds of people sick before all this from whatever and I didn't know about it?
Wait. So like,
Then you should have been wearing a mask last year then, right?
no,
Why weren't you wearing a mask?
if you think less of us.
So, okay, so from here on out, how many years, how long is it going to be until you stop wearing a mask? Okay, so a vaccine. So you're going to take a vaccine?
Yeah.
Okay, so what are ingredients in the vaccine?
right? Okay, so like,
You don't even know what you're putting into your body?
No, because it's injured.
I'm chill with it though.
It's injured in dead cells.
It's vaccine.
Only.
I don't know, like,
Only. That's all that they put in the vaccine.
I mean, that's what makes it work.
Okay, so why is there a vaccine court that's paid out $4 billion?
$4 billion.
Why is there a vaccine court? Why is there a vaccine court that's paid out $4 billion that you've never heard about?
Call us normal.
Why is it that if this were a vaccine, the vaccine company is not liable to, be accountable for their vaccine? They're literally, they can make a vaccine and wash their hands of it and say, hey, you know what? Take it at your own risk.
That's really not true because a lot
It
of
is true.
over years of testing.
Okay, so if the vaccine comes out later this year, are you going to take it? Even though that's way too soon.
If it's been through all the correct testing and the correct
It's not going through the correct testing.
It's not.
They're skipping animal testing.
they're skipping testing because there was a Mars 12 that was really similar strain to COVID-19, and they found a vaccination for it fairly quickly, and they're testing that quicker on the human things because they know that that worked for Mars. And since it's such a similar strain, it's working for people too, which allows them to skip the steps because they're trying to get it out faster so that less people are dying, and so that we don't have to wait.
Yeah, please just pump the brakes a little bit. Don't take it. What's the soonest? Because I don't agree with it, you know. And so,
You didn't even address everything she said. You just
but
said pump the brakes.
yeah, pump the brakes. Don't take it because she doesn't even know what's in the vaccine in and of itself.
Have you heard that vaccines are associated with autism?
We're not doing this.
So there's a guy named Stanley. There's a guy named Stanley Plotkin, and you can look him up yourself.
Okay, I would rather have my kid have
Okay,
autism
so-
than have them die from a deadly disease.
Yeah, he gave a 9-hour deposition.
And then you got his medical license.
Yeah, because he was malpractice. Because okay, so they were admitting that they were putting up to 75 aborted baby fetuses in vaccines. They put formaldehyde, they put mercury.
You're taking this from an ex-doctor?
No, I'm taking this from the ingredients on your vaccine. Your literal verbatim ingredients for your vaccine. How many of you read the?
Deny that they put mercury in there.
Yeah, they don't deny these. They don't.
Mercury is a deadly poison.
It's like 0.00001%.
And so, what is the soonest a vaccine has ever been released to the public before? Do you happen to know? Okay, yeah, you could. 4 years.
Yeah, because it goes through lots of
Because it has to go through a lot of testing. I wouldn't take one regardless, but so with using that information, why would you even consider taking the next vaccine 9 months after this started?
Because other vaccines that went through, like what I said, that went
They said they'll
through
take
more
it.
extensive
So-
testing.
Well, okay, we mean we take it like as soon as it's been like verified.
Yeah, 2 years from now. So let's say 2 years from now, you're still gonna wear masks.
If that's what
Don't you think after 2 years, everybody would have already gotten COVID and gotten sick if they were gonna get sick?
If cases keep spiking and we need to go back to the lockdown.
Cases, not mortality death.
Okay, yeah, but cases is what like.
No, cases are not a big deal. Mortality death is the problem, and the mortality death rate is incredibly low, and and it's not anything that we should worry about.
Yeah. I mean, it's a respiratory issue. Like, if you get it, you can still, like, it still has long-term, like, it's not
It could. Same with anything, right? Same with smoking cigarettes.
So then cases could matter.
So, but does that mean that they're dead?
No darts over here.
No, but if cases could have lifelong lasting symptoms, then yes, I would wear a mask if needed for the next 2 years until a vaccine came.
All right.
If you think they work,
If that's what you want to do, that's great. But don't make it a law and force other people to wear one to go buy food.
If you look at Japan and
So-
South Korea, like their culture, like they usually wear masks.
Yeah, is America Japan?
No, they're
Okay.
not. Okay, but
All
they,
right.
so their cases are squashed. They're more
24%
That's
of
Japan.
COVID cases, we have
Right, because they wear more masks.
That's Japan.
That should tell you that
All right.
Affected differently than here. Rather
There's no evidence to that because I can't verify those numbers. So
So it worked in Japan, and you're saying
I don't know.
it
Did
wouldn't
it?
work here.
If they're all,
Yes.
but they
And it
didn't.
worked in
They
China
didn't
as
shut
well.
everything down, though, did they?
Same thing with
No, they didn't. They didn't. No, they didn't. I'm talking to people that didn't, that live in Japan, and they didn't. They wanted to keep having preschool.
Shutting things down is different than wearing a mask. Like,
Yeah.
shutting things down, like,
That's right, man. We just appreciate if you just come to the table without a mask on.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
love it. You know, Del Bigtree did the doctor show on CBS. And
Okay.
I saw his videos. He measured the oxygen level.
Yep.
Right. Put the mask on.
Yep. He used the firefighters thing. Did you see the one where they used the firefighters' oxygen level, where the firefighters have to keep their oxygen level at a certain percentage, and if it goes down, they have CO2 or whatever in their mask. Well, they took that off. One guy had his son put a mask on, and over a period of time, that oxygen level went down, and the meter beeped. And so there is evidence out there to show that mask wearing is detrimental to your health.
There's also videos.
So,
Yeah, I'm really happy to see you guys here spreading the news because I actually built the state systems for medical providers.
Mhm.
I'm a state expert, and also for federal discrimination laws. So when you have 80,000 people going to the university for a job, you can't pick and choose. You got to treat everyone equally. So if you don't have a mask on, you're protected by federal law. And everyone gets a chance for a job. So You can just say you have a disability, that, you know, you have issues with it. And any business, if they ask you to wear one, say, will you take liability if anything happens to me? You go in there, put the mask on, bam, crack your head. They'll never agree to that. They'll never take. So that's the two things you do. You ask for legal liability. It's a verbal, recorded. You're covered.
Yeah. What we like to use is medical and religious exemptions, and that pretty much annuls us from having.
Disability is federal
Yep.
law.
Yep.
American
Exactly.
Disabilities Act.
So.
But the liability one puts them on the hook for any damages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they'll never say yes to that.
Yeah. I've asked people right here, use the medical exemption 10 times. I bet you get into 8 or 9 stores, and people here don't want to believe me that you can get an exemption to wearing a mask. They think it's a law tomorrow.
I'm first sheriff.
It's not. It's not. I can use a medical exemption or a health or an exemption. You don't have to.
Yo, it's upside down, just by the way. Yeah.
And then the other thing I was going to pass on is they've got a lot of hypnosis technology on the public. It's military-grade weapon systems they're being hit with.
Yep, that's what they're.
People wearing the mask are under hypnosis. It's Sonic mind control. You can find it on DuckDuck.
Okay, so I'm not hypnotized by wearing a mask.
Military-grade weapons are being used on the children.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep. Yeah, it's very upsetting. So I mean, so you can't reach a lot of these people because they're just.
Well, everybody's got vaccines. Everybody's vaccine damaged. They think and they trust so much. They want people eventually to be so docile that all they do is work and pay taxes.
Are you vaccinated? Yeah,
that's it. Absolutely not.
You know what I just looked at this week, which is a very big interest to me, and I've got I do jokes about it on my comedy YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And then I get attacked by the Black Q people. Stuff, and I make jokes on them, and then they run off.
Yeah, right.
The Black Q people, you know who they are, right?
Please inform.
Yeah, they're the 8,200 agents that got backdoors on all the social media platforms. So those are all committing treason because they're giving support to KGB agents like Maria Butina that came to Minneapolis and stole 80 people's life savings.
Oh, wow.
So if you give somebody a ride to the bank to rob it, you're now considered material support felony. So we got the FBI report on the KGB agent Maria Butina, and we're going to pay anyone on YouTube $50 to cover our FBI report.
Oh, right. I remember talking to you a couple months ago.
So we're going to be basically we can outlaw all those treason platforms in Minneapolis, including the Mall America, and just rewrite all those platforms so they're not breaking the law and make millions of jobs. It's an opportunity. I'm a business guy. It's a business opportunity.
I don't know.
We could get the source code, Twitter, everybody. Because you're not going to sit here and bring people here to steal people's money with your platform.
Fair enough.
So I run my book, Platform Test for treason platforms. I run tests. My friend is an IT guy with Homeland Security, so I do stuff to him. Like when Twitter got hacked, I sent him a text on Google Voice, text not sent.
Oh, yeah?
Busted. I mean, now people's liability is so bad that people are bailing and selling the data, right? Because they find out that, all their evil plans and they just sell the data.
Yeah.
Well, that could be your passwords, your confidential information that you need to know right away so you can take countermeasures. And so that was blocked. My text to Homeland Security guy, my guy.
Yeah.
So I busted Google on that. Okay, he didn't cover it until Thursday at 11 a.m. And he should have warned everybody. And I covered Fry, Waltz. They didn't warn anybody. Okay?
Yeah.
They took an oath, right? They're violating their oath. We're going to sue them all for damages.
I hope so, man.
They're all going to go down because we have damages now.
I hope so.
And, it's basically, so many people are under the hypnosis, but I got rid of my TV set 2014, read the mind control patents, threw them away. And I never carry a cell phone with me. And I'll run tests.
And now everybody's connected to social media, and that's where they get all their information from, and they got to keep up with what's cool and what's hip right now, and most people get advertised and spammed $20, $30 masks, and they're like, oh, I want a max, so I'm going to buy this max and then never wash it, and then I'm going to get sick, and then I'm going to blame it on COVID. I just learned about this lung illness that bagpipe players get because they're breathing into the bagpipe and they just don't properly clean it over a period of time, so they get this terrible lung infection. And that's basically what's happening with the mask wearing. how many times are these people gonna wash their masks?
Like pretty consistently.
Yeah,
You should, yeah. But the disposable ones don't protect you from COVID. They say it on it. They say it on the box. They say this is not supposed to protect. This is not designed to protect you from COVID-19.
Well, yeah, it's supposed to protect others.
No, it doesn't protect anybody. That's the point.
Okay, so with COVID,
See, now you're denying what it is that I'm trying to convey. But you can't deny it. It's on the box of masks.
yeah.
It doesn't protect anybody. It's not ineffective at all. Totally about COVID.
If you have
Baby deaths
COVID,
drop to zero.
it definitely I mean, you're not breathing over as much of an area. So if you were to spread it, it would limit the spread.
That's some pretty smart evidence.
So it is effective.
I mean, if you
wear a
believe
mask
that,
for
that's
yourself. You would wear the mask for the well-being of others.
Okay.
Which is why.
if you want to wear a mask, that's cool. That's up to you. You know, I appreciate it.
Oh, you got blocked?
Go ask them why the comments are being
Yeah, but that surgery is different. You're gonna like lean over and then like
I got banned from the stream.
you know like spit or like leave spit into the wounds. That's why you wear a mask.
Right, you're not
Shorzy.
Yeah, but you don't mean to like drool or anything into But
You also have to have
Cole
a
Parker.
head net to keep your hair from falling.
yeah, you have a hairnet and everything. So like, they don't. Surgeons when they get done with surgery don't walk around the hospital with a mask on. Because they know they can't breathe under it with it. When I was in the hospital, my nurses said to me, "This sucks so much. I got to wear a mask all the time." It were nurses that I know, and they know my character, and they just think like, "Hey, that sucks." And I'm like, "Well, if you want, you can not wear a mask in the room with me."
You're breathing out like unseeable like droplets of water, and then that's what carries COVID around. And when you wear a mask.
Okay, so why didn't you wear one last year?
Why?
COVID wasn't. Like,
Okay, no, it's because you weren't told to. That's why. You were not told to wear a mask.
Are you saying we should wear a mask
Dr.
in case of like an
Horowitz,
influenza
he
type?
actually published the IBM top guy in Europe, okay, did a DNA match on their top supercomputer, okay, and IBM Watson, and it's a bioweapon. Okay? And that is published on my website. I'm publishing an Amazing Jews chapter, okay? Anyone that censors me will be on Hitler People and the Jew Hater. He is a Jewish doctor, one of the honest, best guys. He publishes the results, and I'll be putting him on. Our book coming out is going to have Slave Words Matter, the first chapter. We don't want slavery words in our publicly tax funded. Lord, landlord, House of Lords, House of Slave Masters. No. Attorney in Hebrew is turning slaves over from one slave master to another. We're not having attorney general name. Sorry, we're not paying for that. That's not what our citizens want. We don't want to promote slavery. So all the secret slave words we're going to get rid of. That's the first chapter. But Amazing Jews, Dr. Horowitz, I just saw his publication this week. He is an amazing guy. And Craig Newmark, another great guy, gave us free ads and stuff on Craigslist. So we're going to be, pushing this message out hard.
Good. Yeah.
And then if they censor us, we'll put them on Hitler People. They're like all the platform people. And we're putting them on Hitler People. We did the joke on Dorsey, Hitler People. We all saw what happened to him last week, right? So people get a clue working there. They don't want to be working for a company on their LinkedIn profile called Hitler People. Our little joke on Dorsey. Yeah, we published the Winter War stats. I'm half Finnish, right? And the Finnish beat the Russians. I put that on a tweet. They shut the account. That was my platform. Busted.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Your war happened 80 years ago, and you're going to suspend my account for just taking the war stats?
Right, and then just, get over it.
But you got to have solid evidence, with regard to putting them on the website and say, yeah, here's our one-page agreement. If you want off, we're going to run tests to make sure you're not scamming people. And the misinformation on this stuff is horrible. And they're censoring heavily on YouTube. We have a plan.
Oh, go ahead. Thanks.
What are we gonna do about Walt?
Well, Waltz I covered in my last video, okay, and him and Fry, both of them. Yeah. I covered them in my last show, and we have a plan. We're doing Slave Words Matter, okay. Anyone that doesn't want to get rid of slavery words, we know who they work for. Okay. The secret slavery words. We're gonna be we covered that last show. My YouTube, Powered by Comedy. We just do comedy jokes. I don't want to endanger myself because I've been attacked by the Black Q people. They're the top people. They attacked me last June, and I had to research these people more.
Are they agents?
Well, the one guy, Ehud Barak, is a named rapist by Russia Today. That was my joke for him, right? I said, even dumbass Putin's, KGB agent, he's such a bad rapist, he put him on his KGB platform, RT. I said, that's how bad of a rapist he is. Ha ha ha, when RT put him out there as a rapist. So, I changed all my YouTube videos, put his name in there where they came with the black cubes. They came for 1 second and just showed up, just to let me know they're watching. And I said, yeah, you want to mess with me? Look what happened to Jack Dorsey and Twitter. Hitler people. I got the 50-cent store, just tweet Jack Dorsey was a dumbass for 50-cent deals. Good joke. Yeah. Little comedy payback.
Like, do you have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, Powered by Comedy.
Powered by Comedy.
Powered by Comedy.
Powered.
Yeah, PBC network. So yeah, we just do jokes.
You've got to shut down.
Well, I'm well aware of that. We have plans to do that. We know how to do it.
How to be shut down.
No, what we do is we outlaw them at the treason platform because they're providing material support to bring people to our town and steal money. We got the FBI report from Maria Butina. Okay. And we ran more tests. We busted dumbass Putin twice.
Oh, you forgot his
We made a dumbass Putin folder in Firefox. He came in there and deleted it. Okay. Then we made the red cocaine PDF, free book on how there's drug in the country to take over. We put that out there as KGB bait. He came and took the bait, blocked it with a DNS block. We just put 5 more copies out.
Right. So it's truly like an info war at this point.
Yes, it's military. It's a military. All these platforms are military-grade weapons systems, psychological weapons.
Like Facebook, and
they're all military-grade.
all data collecting.
Yeah, they're all psychological, military operations. All of it.
Right.
Well, that's why Facebook had to apologize for spamming so much Trump information during the election.
Yeah,
they were trying to sway.
He got tons of advertising, 100 million that he pushed in 2016.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And why did they push the Russian thing for so long?
Well, it actually is true. Okay. It actually is true. Okay. If you want to defuse the situation, you investigate it and they call it a hoax. And I'll bet anybody $50. I've got the actual FBI report of a Russian coming here stealing 80 people's life savings. Right there, boom. And I'll pay anybody on YouTube $50 cash to cover that report. And let me tell you what else you do.
$50? This sounds like it's that easy, but will I be risking my life?
Well, it's a joke. Do you want to risk being on Putin's KGB hit list? Ha ha ha. It's a good joke. Okay. It's a joke. But if you look on YouTube, there's 3 people that are KGB agents. Okay, 3 sources. Greedy Finance Guy, Ken, he owns them. Also, Timothy Fitzpatrick fits into that, he owns them. And also the Red Cocaine book and author owns them. Okay. So you'll look on YouTube and search for any of those subjects, not one video. It's all KGB.
Oh.
All KGB. I'm not cool with KGB agents, 25,000 coming to my town, my country, and poisoning people with all their drugs.
Sure.
Very upsetting to me.
Yeah.
And these people that are dumbed down on all the drugs, then they hit them with the vaccine to kill them. That's the kill shot. The 300 million, they're going to kill.
The kill blow.
And 5G.
Yeah, it's Saturn Death Cult. I've been looking at that, but big
question: which in Minnesota are there more KGB
What? Oh, religious?
or Chinese operatives?
I figured as much.
Because I feel like I've heard more about the Chinese ones.
I went to public school. What do you want from me?
You know,
We go to public school and we know
I would say KGB because
Well, you went to
they-
public
they-
school and think we landed on the moon,
watch-
so
I've watched them.
there you go.
Do this now.
There you have it.
Yeah.
They all speak Russian.
further.
Okay. If you look this week,
There
Uber
you have
could not run their business in Israel, but Russia Uber got theirs approved.
Really?
Yeah, that was this week.
There you have it.
So Uber has been around forever, but dumbass Putin's Uber instantly approved. They all speak Russian there. So that's really, and the thing is, no one can say nothing if you say nothing.
Feels good, and then it's like, blows everything around.
He owns all the big details on the virus. Then I call it
Yeah, walking away.
You want to play that game?
Yeah, he's
I'm a
kind of
chess
seems like-minded.
good luck with that. Yeah, so
So the technological aspect is really where they're pushing.
I didn't want to ask him in case he had already said
Correct.
something.
Are they more concerned with actually putting operatives on the ground?
Well, they put operatives, and they brag about this.
Yeah, I got kind of rowdy
Press
there
and
for
other
a bit.
KGB, they publish what they did.
Good.
And I was looking at today, one of their other, Whitney Webb is another KGB operative.
I like that guy.
Docs everything. He goes through the whole history,
interesting, yeah.
all the stuff, and something they won't talk about. And basically, they outed, on 9/6/16. I'm impressed that KGB took over all platforms. So here's the deal. Let's say you're talking to your lawyer. You got a big trial.
I was seeing if she wanted to talk to you.
Go ahead.
I don't know. What do you think about the new designer masks?
Designer masks.
Yeah.
Like. I just want to look fashionable with it, I guess.
That's what I call smart.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna say, I did my platform
Do you think you can breathe just as well with a mask on?
I mean, we all work, and like it's completely fine when I wear it. Like I don't feel constricted. I just think if there's a chance that it's keeping people safe, why not?
You put them through like tests.
Is it okay if someone else doesn't want to wear one? Is that a problem?
I just don't understand why.
Well, I think it's kind of selfish for someone to tell me to wear a mask because they're scared.
To not wear masks or something. I think have a specific reason to not wear masks.
I already billed the mayor $4 grand.
No, I don't feel like it.
Okay, then that's
No, because
putting other people in danger.
you're demanding that I wear a mask for you.
Not for me, for other
So
people.
If you
People who are at like higher risk.
what you could do is just put another mask. If you don't feel safe with one mask, you put another one.
Do you guys not believe in COVID? Is that the thing? You guys don't believe in it? It doesn't exist.
No, it's like it's never been proven.
What do you think all the deaths are? All the people dying.
People die all the time. They die of the flu. They die of pneumonia. They die of old age.
What's happening now is in normal. The people who are experts on it. And if there's these tests that are all saying the same thing, how would it be?
No, because they even admit there's false positives and false negatives.
Yeah, because they're still working on testing. That's because they're testing. Who benefits from lying about COVID?
Well, just to give one example, the vaccine manufacturers.
I don't know much about
Because they're going to have plenty of people.
I know that he's bent the knee.
They may be working on it, but seriously, like, people are living in tents now. That they're not benefiting from it.
Not anymore.
Businesses are closing. Well, not anymore because they tore it down.
Well, when they did the lockdowns, then a lot of small and medium-sized businesses are going to go belly up. In other words, they're not going to survive. Your mom and pop shops.
Exactly. So who's benefiting from
Amazon?
Yeah, totally, Joy. That guy showed up and everybody just everybody left.
The big corporations are benefiting.
How are they benefiting?
Because they take over the whole market.
Intentionally spaced out, Flat Dan,
Home Depot and Costco created COVID then?
Epicurus Trailers, Joy,
How did Home Depot
Philip
create
Bell.
COVID? That just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, Philip Bell. He showed up. He showed up and then everybody leaves.
There's not a Home Depot in Switzerland or Britain.
How do you know?
Maybe it's called something else.
Yeah, maybe it's called something else.
Probably comes in Swiss or whatever language.
So all the big companies in the
Yeah, I know, Vertec.
had a huge
Every single time.
and they were like, let's create.
Every single time.
I don't know.
We really get all the normies plugged into what's going on and they're at the edge of their seat waiting to talk or listen. Somebody shows up and it's like, I guess you do. Hey, Mikey, Mario,
They didn't come to this independently.
Noah Mueller.
They came because they had a power that was greater than them, which was a global government, which is represented by organizations like the World Health Organization and the United
Isaiah
Nations,
Smith.
World Economic Forum. These are the real power.
But you know, our government, Trump's government, doesn't associate with the World Health Organization.
He does.
No, he doesn't. Not anymore.
They do. They
No,
take
not
orders.
anymore. He cut off ties with them.
Then why do they?
How have you verified that? I mean,
How do you know it's not true?
you know,
Because you know when
You can't just
when
say it's
I
not
when
true
the
and
media lied to me over and over and over again.
just like flat Earth, people
I'm
say,
smart
it's
enough so that I say I
not
don't
true.
believe you.
How did you get that information? Believe what because it doesn't hurt other humans.
Yeah, it does.
How does
Yeah, it
not
does.
living in flat Earth other humans?
You don't know who you are and why you're here and a human being. It has. The whole idea of not knowing where you live is an epidemic. It is a problem.
How does that work?
It is a problem.
Thousands and thousands of lives.
People die all the time.
They
Unfortunately.
do. That's true.
Unfortunately, it's part of life, but we shouldn't shut down an entire world based on a less than 1% mortality rate.
50 million people thrown out of work in the United States alone.
Yeah.
50 million people losing their jobs.
Yeah.
You probably know people in your family.
Yeah, but the
friends
crazy thing
who
is,
lost their jobs.
if we all just stayed indoors and wore our masks like every other country on
That
the
sounds like a
planet,
religious cult type practice, ritual, and I'm not going to be a part of it. I'm not going to participate in whatever this is that's going on right now. I'm not going to.
Right? Which is you're right.
Exactly.
It's just silly. That's what
Okay, it's silly to wear a mask and not see your smile. You're a beautiful looking girl. I would hate to see you wear a mask and not be able to see your smile. I mean, look at that smile. That's very true. And I'm not saying it to like come on to you. I'm being honest. Like it's really taking away our humanity and it's dehumanizing
Would
us.
it be crazy though? Like a lie to go.
Humanizing if you're saving human lives.
Yeah, that's what you're doing.
Okay,
The
well
evidence
that's your
shows
evidence.
every other country.
But if everybody had already had it before though, what if everybody already got it and then what are we wearing masks for?
We haven't.
Are you asymptomatic or?
I've got tested twice, and it's been proven that I don't have it.
I don't have it either, so I don't need to wear a mask because I'm not sick.
You do because you're protecting
I don't.
others.
Fauci said, Fauci, the CDC, and WHO all said when this first started, if you're not sick, you do not have to wear a mask. So,
It's been 5 months.
but that's it. That's it. Nobody wears a mask unless they're sick. That's even in Japan. Even in Japan, they have that type of culture. We're not. You're right. You're right. And so it's not out of custom to wear a mask here in America. Americans don't like to be told what to do.
We don't. We're
Right, right. But when there finally is something to say no to, and you all and everybody else goes along with it, and me and Lois are the only ones to say no, you think we have the problem, right? But what if it's that we think that you guys have the problem?
How about we don't want to sit at home?
Yeah, I don't want to sit at home and
Computer and
Yeah.
wearing a mask and staying 6 feet away from
Have you
others.
guys studied the disease?
is it a disease or a virus? What is it?
Not
Okay.
even proven to be a disease.
Yeah, it's not proven to be a virus because of Coach Postulate. They haven't verified it to be a virus in and of itself. And for a virus doesn't transmit through the air. Like the whole idea of germ theory is not what you see in the movies and on like Outbreak with Morgan Freeman.
That's a
Movie, exactly. But you guys believe that that's how viruses and colds and everything are transmitted. And it's your own personal body's system detoxing by itself again. That's why it happens every year at the same time. That's why it happens the same time every year.
What COVID is it through your spit?
Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, bro, it's in the body.
Okay, so if the COVID virus is that infectious, why is it that they got to shove a swab down your throat through your nose?
It's in your nose.
Yeah, through your nose to your throat. Why is it that they do that?
It's not mucus. Down your throat.
How far does it go?
It's literally a Q-tip. I've done 2 tests.
Yeah, I have done 3, and they were all negative. I was in the hospital. It went down far enough. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so you're denying my experience. I got it. Okay, so you're gonna deny my experience. I see how it is. Okay. Okay.
You didn't go to a testing center and get something shoved
You're right. I didn't go to a testing center. I was in the hospital. And so again, back to if it's so infectious that you can get it through the air or whatever, why is it that why don't I spit into a jar and give it to them so they can test it then?
Or just test the mask.
Test the mask. No, it's easier to spit. In my opinion, it's easier to spit. So why would you have to put something back?
It's more accurate if you do the swab.
Neither are you.
I know, but I
Yeah, you okay, so you believe everything that you hear and you never question anything. That's your prerogative.
They didn't tell us that. That's a hypothetical.
Come on. If the CDC or WHO said that you had to walk on your hands and knees to avoid coronavirus, would you guys do it? Okay, so
none of us are wearing masks right now.
yeah, why aren't you all wearing masks?
Yeah, we're children.
Selfishness? Come on, that's not appropriate.
Really? Why not?
No.
Why not? Give me a reason why.
You're selfish to wear a mask. You think that you're some social justice warrior.
You're selfish to wear a mask. I'm saying you're selfish to wear a mask.
I'm just giving her what she gives to us. So she says I'm selfish for not. She's selfish for wearing one. So bye. Like people leaving make it seem like it's a bad thing. I'm having a good time. I was in the hospital bed last month at this time. I was missing this so much. And I'm having a really good time. Are you having a good time?
These kids are
Me
so
too.
young and lively, but they want to sit
Yeah.
wearing a mask.
Yeah. Yeah.
And just, they want to use their thumbs. That's the only exercise.
Exactly.
Let's get the fuck out.
All right, guys, take care.
Match.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, appreciate you. Have a nice day. Take care.
When I was young, I was running around all over the place.
Neither is yours.
I could sit in my house thumbing a smartphone.
The experts. Aren't you an expert? You're not? You can't personally be informed on your own and find out the truth about things without being told? You have the internet, you have Google. Google has all the answers that you'll need. The scientists are the ones that put their information on Google, so. But you can. Yeah, exactly. You do. I totally agree. And so my sources tell me that I wear a mask when I'm sick and symptomatic. CDC and WHO and Fauci. No, it's still the case now. And it's not contagious. Go to CDC right now. Go to the CDC on your phone right now, and it's on there. And it says that you cannot transmit through asymptomatic. It's very, very rare. So if it's so rare, then why do I have to wear a mask? If you're wearing a mask, you're okay.
Where's the problem?
Like, why don't you just do it? If you save someone's life, I want to know. It's not like hurting you.
It is kind of hurting
I'm
me.
with an asymptomatic disease and no symptoms.
Yeah, how do I know I'm asymptomatic? How is a disease without symptoms?
Yeah, I'm cool with a disease that has no symptoms.
A virus. How is a okay? But how can a virus be a virus without symptoms?
Because it's still in your body. It's just your body.
But where are the symptoms? Where did I get it from?
You got it from other people.
When? Okay, so you can't verify I have it. When? All right, exactly. So I'm gonna stay on the side of caution and not wear a mask. So, and then
explain how that's on the side of caution.
because it's my own personal choice and my own constitution. Yeah.
That's what you want to do. That's very reckless. That's just being.
It's reckless, like driving on the street at the park with the car. Like that's reckless.
No, I just don't understand. Like, reckless. I just don't understand why not. You know what I mean? Like, if some people don't.
Prove it.
I don't like it. If you don't like it, you go in the store for 15 minutes.
What's
the? We also don't like them, but they're trying to wear. Yeah, you think we want to? We do.
Yeah, you do. You do want to wear a mask. You want to comply.
I just don't want to kill other people.
How are you killing other people? How are you even going to verify that you killed somebody?
If I was
Exactly. So why are you worried?
Because I don't want. Okay, so Chase, I'm asking you something. I'm not scared at all. If you're
Prove
not
it.
scared, like you could be killing other people.
You can't even prove it, right? I mean, you can't. We're gonna go around this circular all day.
You were to like small chance that you did for someone, didn't even know it. That's still bad. If you have it.
Oh, Mom. Thanks, Mom.
You are so smart. I don't know how you guys.
I know. I don't know. I know. And you guys gotta like. This is where she's sitting over there with her husband. They've been there for about 45 minutes.
You're so smart.
She's been over there for 45 minutes listening.
What do you think about masks?
Oh,
Max.
I don't care. I just
The
know you're
Maxes.
so smart.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's nice of you.
I want to wear a Max.
Thank you. I don't mind. She thinks I'm smart. That's cool.
Hey, if she thinks I'm smart, I'll roll with it.
Thanks.
Thanks, Mom, for telling me I'm smart.
Well, so this is my thought. You're already wearing a shirt, and pants, and underwear, and socks, and shoes. What's the big deal if you throw a little piece of cloth over your face?
And that's for 5 minutes when you walk in the
Seems like a religious activity to me, and I don't want to be a part of it.
It's a religious activity. It's actually like a health. I'm an atheist and I am aware conversation.
Okay, so what about like evolution? Do you believe in evolution and all that stuff? Okay, so people passing away of COVID is just survival of the fittest. It's just something that happens.
So if you're a close family member you really love pass away from COVID, it's not their fault that they have like
People die. People pass away.
way to prevent it. Like why don't you just wear a mask? I don't understand.
We're just like being
If
thoughtful to our elders and
I know,
not
but if
going
you
in
don't
with
like it, like
that
just
terrible
wear it. Just get over it and wear it.
is it a disease or a virus? They told me it's a virus. You say it's a disease, so maybe he's misinformed. You should let him know.
A virus is a disease.
Oh,
Yes, but then if everyone's wearing it, then it
okay.
This is my
thing. Be something you don't understand, but we understand that it's a virus.
We? Who's we?
The medical community.
Okay, you probably don't either because you're not a scientist, are you? A doctor or anything like that?
I'm a nurse.
Okay.
I work with it every day.
Okay, so fair enough.
What do you do? What entitles you?
This is what I do right here. I just hang out at the lake and, stir the pot a little bit.
So you don't have a job.
I may, whether I have a job or not doesn't mean that this isn't what I'm supposed to do.
But you sit here.
Yeah, I sit here, yeah.
And not wear a mask.
And not wear a mask, yep.
Don't tell
Yep.
okay, so how is it selfish for someone to do that? That's not right.
He said it's selfish.
I was just going back at her with what she was giving me. I just don't care. I don't care. If you want to wear a mask, that's cool. That's up to you.
Bring me back to the religion thing. So this is religious to you.
It's a religious activity, in my opinion, yeah. And this might be part of a ritual that you're unaware of. So, I don't know. I don't want to participate.
Like speaking objectively, what known religion requires you to wear a mask?
Did you just really ask me that? And you live in Minnesota? Really? You want me to, Muslim, for example? Muslims?
It's not a mask.
It is a mask. It's what they put on their face. Whatever word or word you want to use.
That's where you differentiate. That covers their entire body. That's not just covers their mouth.
It does cover their mouth, doesn't it? And their nose, and you just see their eyes, right? Okay, so
your shirt covers your chest, so it's a bra, right?
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, good point.
So, is there anything else? Do you have a YouTube channel where you just come up to people and just act like the way that you do? Because you seem very apologetic for the government and everything.
I'm apologetic for the government.
Yeah, like you come up and defend against anybody who goes against government narrative. So Lois and I, we don't want to wear masks. We think the earth is flat. So you seem very, very passionate about shutting any other thoughts down that go against government narrative.
So I'm really shutting thoughts down.
Yeah, you love government. It just seems like you're kind of like in it. You love government.
So say specifically what I said that says I want to go with the government. I'm apologizing for the government. Tell me what I said that makes you
Everything, every single word that's come out of your mouth the last 5 to 10 minutes. So
good point. Yeah, you really got me there.
You're really getting me a lot too. So did my mom over here. Said I was smart. So I appreciate it.
You're telling me to wear a mask.
It is comedy. I mean, this is funny to me. Like, people actually getting fired up about me having a sign not to wear a mask, and people are like, how dare you not want to wear a mask? And then they come up to me and give me all of these reasons.
fired up.
But you didn't care last year. Tuberculosis, the flu, other diseases and viruses were spread that way too. So
How many cases of tuberculosis were spread across the United States last year? How many?
You heard that.
Was that a comparable number to COVID?
1.5 million people died last year.
Really?
Yeah.
In the United States?
I don't know. You tell me.
Well, that's what I asked. You said 1.5 million people died, and when I asked how many people died in the United States,
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know.
Okay. Fair enough then. So.
But you said that last year we weren't scared.
Yeah, you weren't. No,
But
you
a
weren't.
mask doesn't protect you from tuberculosis. So even now, if you wore one, it'd actually be an N95 or a respirator. That
Right.
would protect you.
Exactly.
So it's totally different.
That's why I have the sign over there that if any mask will do, it's not about safety, it's about compliance. So if you really want to believe the government is telling you the truth and cares about you, they should have sent every single human being in America an N95 mask, scheduled you for an appointment for 30 minutes, and get fitted for the N95 mask, and then everybody would be protected properly. Instead of putting a bandana on your face thinking that you're saving the world, and you're not. Well, you're right, we don't. So then why are you doing it in the first place then? Okay.
The scientists and the doctors. That's the government. Science. There are plenty of scientists who will tell you that masks are
We're not like having this imaginary narrative.
So you just
Yes, it is. Well, you have a problem with me taking medication? Oh, okay. So you're gonna talk about me taking my Pez, and you're just gonna talk about me negatively because I'm taking Pez?
What's a religious thing?
Yeah, taking medication is a religious thing. You should know. You're a nurse, and I have CF, and I take medication. Are you gonna say how much medication are you taking? You guys are really disrespectful.
Straight up, you have CF.
Seriously. Yeah, I do.
And you're not worried about COVID?
No, I'm not at all. I was tested 3 times last month, and they were all negative.
You just said you weren't tested like 15 minutes ago.
No, I've been tested 3 times.
But it's why.
So what medications do you take for CF? If you really have CF, tell me.
Why does it matter?
Because I don't believe you.
I know you don't believe me, and it's not my obligation to make you believe anything I say. I have a YouTube channel. You can check it out if you want, and you can find out more about me and find out whether I have CF or not.
Didn't I just ask you if
So-
anything that any medical condition that made it safe to wear a mask or something?
I don't have to wear a mask if I choose not to. It's a recommendation by everybody that people wear masks. It's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. I told you earlier, okay? If you didn't hear what I had to say before, here I'll say it again. Go to 10 stores this weekend, 10 different stores that mandate masks, and say I have a religious or medical condition where I can't wear a mask, and I'll bet you 9 or 10 of those stores will let you do that. Medical condition and religious exemption.
But, well, they've got a way around that now.
No, they don't. No, they haven't.
They're online and they can ship it to you. So they're not really allowing that generally.
Oh, they're not? Oh, okay. Well, you just might want to read this from the Star Tribune yesterday. Like, seriously. Like, this is what we're dealing with people who are uninformed and think that they know what is being said. So, come on, man. You're in the health industry. I wouldn't act like that if you were my nurse.
Well, you can just say it there.
You just fart?
So,
gross.
That is not in any way, shape, or form a policy from any store. That's literally a Q&A from a newspaper. That
You're right.
doesn't mean a lot.
Okay,
Like-
well,
like
I'm
if
gonna
you
go
showed
into
me, like,
stores.
hey, this is what Menards has. This is what they say. This is their policy. Then I'd be like, oh yeah.
They
thanks
have
for
to
the
abide
information.
by it.
Well, if someone passed out, they could sue them, and they know that.
If somebody passed out from wearing a mask and they lost the ability to stand and they fell to the ground and they hurt themselves and it's a mandate by the store, they could get sued.
Absolutely.
Now, the way they get around that though. So
They don't get around it.
For them.
Yeah, there's loopholes for me. Religious exemption, medical exemption.
But they can say no to you and say, you know, instead of coming in the store, if you have this religious exemption, what we'll do is order it at curbside and we'll deliver it to you, like Target, for example. They can say,
That's not how this works, man. So you just might be uninformed right now. I would encourage you to check it out tomorrow. Yeah, I've been going to stores all the time, and that's what I say when I go to stores. So I don't know what reality you think we live in, where if a store says you can't come in without a mask, you can't come in without a mask. That is not true at all, and I again encourage you to do it tomorrow. But you might not, because you don't want to. Exactly. So you won't even test what I'm trying to help you comprehend. It's dangerous. Like, you think like you're gonna immediately get somebody sick while you're there, and that is further. That's going to be further from the truth. But where? How do you know you have whatever it is that you're going to get them sick? See how we keep going in this circle? I'm not wearing a mask, so. Okay, that's fine.
Okay. So you're okay with tasking someone?
I prove that I am. I don't go to sleep thinking like, oh my God, I'm gonna get somebody sick today. That's just not how I go about my life.
But during a pandemic,
So.
No, it's selfish to demand that someone else wear a mask.
But your mask works, so why do I have to wear a mask?
Because we have proven that if you have it and I'm wearing a mask, there's still a 70% chance that you have
Also, you can get it on, if you're in a food store, you can get it onto the food and it can last.
Sure, yeah, go to the water. Kick your feet up in the water. Do you why are you together so much? Do you avoid other people outside of your friend circle? Hey, Lois. Careful. Do you just care? Do you just hang around your circle of friends and strangers like mom here? She gets close to you and you avoid her?
We just try and keep our distance.
But why though? That's not human nature.
Yeah, maybe it's not close to
Why live in fear? Why are you living in so much fear?
Because I don't want to die. I don't want to kill anyone.
Nobody wants to die, but it happens, It just sucks, But
Avoid that, why not?
We can do stuff too. There's a way to
Why would we run into death? Why would we just do that? That doesn't make any sense.
I know, it sucks, but
It's just you don't have any. You just blindly believe what you want.
I know you do. Also, so you do.
You don't believe science.
So do you. Yeah, exactly.
I blindly believe. Yeah, I blindly believe scientists have gone for years and years in school and they know what they're talking about.
Okay, so. Okay, well, if that's how you feel, that's fine. And you want to wear a mask, I don't. I'm just not gonna do it.
Wearing a mask, you don't want to wear a mask just because you don't feel like it.
No, I just don't feel like it's gonna help because I don't have symptoms.
But it's been proven that it does help.
But I don't have symptoms.
Everyone's on the wrong.
I don't have symptoms.
I'm just letting you know.
Prove that I have asymptomatic symptoms. I did 3 times, and they were all negative.
But you gotta test it also. It's not.
So it's all.
So why did you get tested if you think it's not?
I already explained. I was in the hospital, and they tested me 3 times for it. So I was like, okay, I'll prove the doctor that said I have COVID without getting tested because I showed symptoms for it. I got tested, and then I never had a conversation with him after that. Because he was firmly guaranteed that I have coronavirus. I took a test, and then I had a conversation with another doctor, and he says, you show all the symptoms of having coronavirus. First test is usually negative, so we're gonna give you another test in a couple of days. I took that test, I got it back, and it was negative. I never had another conversation with that doctor again. So it's almost like they wanted me, personally, I guess, to have coronavirus, and I didn't.
Why would they?
I don't know, that's just how I felt. Because he kept saying that I have the symptoms for coronavirus. And I'm like, no, I have cystic fibrosis symptoms. I have an infection. That's why I'm sick. So, I tested negative. So I'm just go about. It's a selenium deficiency, actually. How do I know it's real? Because I've tested it and I haven't done the things that they require me to do. And so, and when I get sick, then I'm like, well, I can't do that. So, what? Is that coffee you're drinking, Mom? Is that coffee you're drinking? Is that coffee you and your husband are drinking? I hope so. I guess so. This is fun. I mean, I'm having a good time.
You said you're paying $50.
I like being outside. I like talking about things that people don't agree with and see where they're coming from.
You said that.
So, you know, there's nothing wrong with hashing things out and finding out where people are. It's not like I'm a unicorn and I'm the only one that has these views. There's plenty of people in the chat room right now that think the same way. Well, you know, I guess you're just gonna have to kill us all then, right? I guess you're just gonna have to just get rid of us. No, it won't, and that's not very nice to curse people. So I wouldn't go about your life cursing people that don't go along with what you believe. So.
Why is the Earth flat? No, I want to know.
Water's flat.
Well, they can't censor all, you know.
Yep, it is. Yeah, from point A to point B measurably. Those are the characteristics of water. Is when it's contained, it's flat on the surface. So have you ever been like up north or maybe later on in the day when the wind isn't going so much over the water, the water is like glass? Have you ever seen water like that before? Like on a large scale, like a lake? So the ocean does the same thing. Without the undercurrent and the overhead wind to make the waves, the ocean would lay level and flat also. And at no point does water bend and curve to make a ball in outer space, of which none of us here have ever seen before. And if you believe that you live there, you're taking somebody else's testimony and telling you where you live, and then you believe them, and then that's a religion.
Do you believe in like planets and stuff?
I believe that there are lights in the sky, yeah, but they're not physical objects to be landed on.
And then there's like Mars and we're all orbiting like that? Or no?
No, there's lights in the sky, and their particular rotation around the sky they were called stars before they were called planets.
Okay.
So.
But so then are we just like a flat? Are we just like flat? Just like.
Yeah, this is the map right here. I mean, have you ever seen a flat Earth map before? So here's the idea: is that here's the North Pole, and so here's California, and you know people say, oh, well, how do you circumnavigate the flat plane when I do it on a globe? So you go from LAX to Sydney, Australia, to India, South Africa, here and here. You're just going like this.
That's true.
You're just going in a circle. So you only go to connecting airports. So you go here, 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 and here, here. So there you go. That's how you circumnavigate the globe. And that's how you circumnavigate the Earth. It's the same thing. But we have to start with two pots. What's possible on a globe and what's possible on a flat Earth. And so once you start doing these things, you realize that things can be done on a flat Earth.
So if you're in the North Pole, it's colder, right? And then if you're north or up, it's colder.
Yeah.
And then in the south, it's warmer. But on a flat Earth, how is that possible? It's flat.
Yeah, so I'll show you right here. You know, and this is just projections, just like we experienced when we were in school. Okay, so here's the north in the center, and the sun traverses across a flat plane just like that.
So the sun is rotating around us?
Yes. When we are stationary and firm, built on foundations, we don't move. We don't experience movement. And so the sun is just traveling further away from you. It's on the same height.
But what about the other
so it just goes like this.
Do they not rotate around the sun then?
No, they rotate around us. The lights in the sky are for...
It's kind of like the sun. The Earth is there, and then everything else rotates around us.
Yes, we are that special.
Are the other planets circular, or the other planets also flat?
They could be circle or globe, but that doesn't make us a globe. So that's the idea.
If we were flat, don't you think someone would reach the end at some point? Yeah.
Somebody may have. His name is Admiral Byrd, and he went to the south part.
And he fell off the Earth.
No, he saw that there was more land that kept going on, and there was more resources that were more than America.
Okay.
Like a different country.
Yeah, different continent. Yeah, that we're not aware of. Yeah.
How do you
Yep.
How do you explain?
Well, you just found out about it now. You know. So. Yeah, it's special.
Well, so no one's gotten it. But how do you?
Well, they have. They have, but the idea is that's the idea of flat Earth, because how much extra land can you have on a globe?
Like these people are all saying, hey,
because isn't a globe a fixed amount of land and water?
And he said, so they got to the edge.
Okay, so right, because it's not connected to anything else, and I think it goes on infinitely forever, personally.
Wait, so wouldn't it be? And there's like way more humans or more life even further on that we.
There could be an ancient civilization that's possibly weaning off technology to us. Yes.
We're an infinite disk.
No, we're not in outer space. Outer space is not real.
But I know, but the planets are. Oh.
The lights in the sky are. They're lights.
But no, I'm asking.
So have you ever?
So do you think you're living in the
Okay, so
Where are the rockets?
they're just going back in the ocean. So yeah, they just go like this. They just go like that. Nobody. Well, who's looking for the rockets in the ocean?
Well, I think you can see the rockets.
In the Bermuda Triangle is where a lot of them go, and nobody wants to go there because it's haunted.
But they go up. They collect data. They come back.
They don't.
Okay, then where are the going? They come back. They return.
They do. Yeah.
They do return.
Yeah. They might go on an airplane or something like that. But when do you see them go in the rocket ship?
Yeah.
Okay. And then have you ever watched a movie? Do you believe that they're going into a rocket ship on the movie or a set?
It's a set.
Okay, so is that different than what you're seeing about NASA and SpaceX?
A movie is different than like
Is it?
videotape of like.
Have they?
Like setting us up. Like someone's like setting us up.
Yeah, we're being set up for an alien invasion. But they're just other beings from another continent.
On Earth.
On Earth, yeah.
That have countries.
They may be around us right now. You never know. They might look human beings. You know, they might be asymptomatic. Have you been tested to find out whether you're an alien or not?
Are there think that's a test?
I'm just joshing you.
Test to see if you're an alien?
I don't belong. I don't feel like I belong here right now.
So you're there.
I could be right now. Yeah, I mean, I'm not mask wearer, right? So I'm not conforming to general practice, right? So, but the lights in the sky. Have you ever gone to the Science Museum, put sand on a metal plate, gotten a violin string, and done one of these, you know, on the side of it, and made a design? It's called cymatics. Okay, and so when you hook up, you can get 2 prongs, electric prongs, hook it up to that, and then turn up an electronic, you know, electromagnetic frequency thing that, you know, that makes it vibrate at a certain frequency, and you can make designs. And so if you follow me here, if there's a ceiling above us and the lights in the sky are in that water, in that, you know, 70 miles up above us, for example, just follow me here. And the lights vibrate at a certain frequency, each one individually. When people zoom in and use a regular camera like a P1000 and zoom into the lights, they see those same cymatics that we can experience here on Earth.
So do you think that the lights are then fakes, like that? They're like.
No, they're really there, but they're projection.
How are they? But outer space isn't real.
No, it can't be real.
So then how are they?
We're on land, we're on Earth,
Okay,
right?
where is Earth?
Wherever we're at. No, it's not real.
So, you didn't know that. Wow, mind blown. Okay, so if we're not in outer space, where is it?
Well, we're on Earth here, on a plane, and then we just do what we do as human beings.
But where are we?
I don't know.
You think we're the whole world?
We are everything, yes. We're that important.
Oh, yeah.
But there is no space of where, like, if we travel further away, there's more land up above us, horizontally.
Okay.
Think horizontally.
Okay. Let's say, no, wait.
What is that then? What's out there?
That's just black darkness. That's nothing.
The outer space.
No, it's not. It's not outer space.
So it's just black.
How do you explain when planes fly this way when they go to Europe? Why wouldn't they just go like that?
They do that though. And all it's doing is just showing a drawing to show that that's how they do their flights because they think they're little globe. But you're just going from point A to point B. Where's the sun? I don't know, maybe 20, 30 miles above us?
Okay.
No, it's not outer space.
Let's say
It's within the firmament. It's within the firmament.
Planes would see the sun if it were 20 or 30 miles
Some
above us?
planes have.
I don't think they have.
Have you looked at video footage that shows the plane being the same height as the sun?
Where was this video footage come from?
On YouTube?
It could be edited. Reliable. Of the sun 20 to 30 going into space. Couldn't someone be doing
He
that?
doesn't believe science, but he believes.
Okay, so a YouTube video can't convey truth? Is that impossible for
I'm
YouTube?
saying, but I'm saying you said that by evidence. But you said that the rockets, that could be like a video, like a movie. That you said the rockets.
Could be.
Yeah, but the same thing that you're saying, that could be true too.
In what regard?
That could be a movie. It could be a movie. It could be.
Could be, yeah. I just know that water here in the physical reality lays level and flat. To go off onto any other conversation is totally speculation and I can't verify it. But I can have great conversations and expand your mind about it. But the only thing that I can verify is that from shoreline to shoreline, no matter at what distance, you can see a flat level plain because water lays level and flat. If you Google how far can you see the Statue of Liberty, it'll say 60 miles. If that's true, then the Statue of Liberty is at about 450 feet tall. You shouldn't be able to see it 60 miles away, but you can. Because the curvature of the Earth, it would be like here, like on the Earth, and then the Statue of Liberty would be here. So it would be below the horizon by 2,500 feet.
Like that. That's still gonna be.
Gosh, you're
Okay,
paranoid.
wait, let's entertain it and say the world is flat. What does NASA have to gain and all of those things have to gain by making all of this shit up? Like, why? Why are they doing that then?
Yeah, Lois. Well, obviously to control your mind, because that's what you believe. You believe you live there.
What is that? What is that? What's the gain of controlling my mind?
More land? What if there's more land out there that you're not aware of?
But you just said okay.
We are. No, more land. There can't be more continents available out there? That doesn't make you any less available.
So you're saying if I went down here, what would happen?
No, I'm saying that I didn't make this map and there could be more land right here. And I can't verify that.
But why would anyone? Why would anyone do that? Why would anyone do that?
Why not? If I had the resources and the power and I was here before you, and all I had to do was comprehend how to manipulate the human mind, I would do that. Why not?
But what are they manipulating us for? Like
maybe an alien invasion? Do you believe in aliens from outer space?
Oh. No, I don't, because you told me that this is the Earth and
That's
we are
right.
everything. And there
Exactly.
is no space. You
Exactly.
said that. You said that there is no space.
Exactly.
So do you believe in aliens?
No, I don't.
Wait, so that's
Thing
what?
of, like, mental health thing too, though.
That's what you believe.
Why would I believe in aliens?
I think big.
But you just used that as an example of your last point.
I did, and there are no aliens because there's no outer space. But I asked him in the blue shirt. He asked me why they would lie, and I say maybe there's more land with an ancient civilization on it. That when they come to Earth, to come to America, people would consider them as aliens. But they're just ancient civilization that has the technology.
Now, CBS had a show called.
You know, so
they have also lived on this planet and they just evolved like
it's not a planet. We live on a plane. Yeah. Earth.
No, they
Yeah.
don't understand any of those. They live on the Earth still?
Yeah.
And where are they?
I don't know, man. But if you believe that, if you believe there's aliens and those lights in the sky, how is what I'm saying any less credible than what you're saying when you can't verify anything either?
How? What about like telescopes?
What about them?
Like, what if like they just stills that?
Like does Saturn not exist? Like what? Like
Hold on, he's got something to say. He's got something.
He never said that.
Something awesome to say. Hey, I like your dog. Your beautiful dog knows the Earth is flat.
So by what?
Good time in the summertime. Did you go to Tulane?
What?
Did you go to Tulane?
I'm going to Tulane next year.
Yeah, are you?
If you wear a mask, for an extended period of time, I don't know if you're aware about community science, but your immunity, which is your gut, it's full of bacteria. It only is stronger.
Yeah, I don't really
if you're around one.
How long have you lived in Minnesota for?
2 years.
Okay. Do you like it?
But guess how you survive COVID?
Is it any different than any other place you've lived at?
You could die.
Yeah.
It's more likely
Yeah, it is colder. Yeah, especially last year.
How does that make any sense? If we both have a mask on and she coughs,
So my question was like, so how can you prove that to me? Like, how can you?
Godzilla.
I'd like to understand what your point is. Please
a mask
explain.
for long
But you
periods
also
of
said in
time.
big groups of people. How does it make
Your
sense to be in a big
oxygen
group of
levels
people
go
when
down.
it's
okay?
Your immunity goes down. Then you become more susceptible to being sick.
When you go back
Getting after it.
Are they going to have you stand in circles and wear
I'm probably gonna be online.
You think that's okay?
I'm hoping that's how it goes.
If cases and whatnot goes down, and if the mortality rate goes down, then I think that is the way they should go. Yes, because hopefully then people can.
Also, there's so many kids at our school that could have it, and then it's just would be so easy to spread it, and I don't want it.
But you don't know if they have it or
Okay,
not.
but think about how many kids are at our school. We don't know.
You don't know.
But you don't know if it's anything that you should be worried about.
But
if I'm having these people tell me, like, if I'm having scientists tell me that it is impossible that, like, it's here, then why not just, like, not go to school and not get it?
I mean, yeah. I mean, I wouldn't go to school. I guess if I could use that as an out to not go to school.
That's not why. I just don't want to die, and I don't want my family.
You're not gonna die. I'm pretty sure you won't die from
My
it.
friend has asthma. She could die. Her mom
I have
said-
CF. I could die, and I didn't.
Okay, but so then I think maybe you just have a different outlook then towards.
I have a more positive outlook, I guess. Yeah, I don't live in like total fear about things I can't explain, and I think I know that you want to be aware of things, but to like marry an idea or like come into a covenant with something that you can't be sure is true or not, I think that's a scary place, because then sooner or later you're going to get so numb to saying no that you say yes to everything, and you just go along because your friends are going along with it.
But the only thing I'm obeying to is just wearing a mask.
Well, social distancing, you have this like perception that other people are sick, so you avoid them, right? Was that something that you did last year?
No, because it wasn't.
But you could have gotten somebody sick from something and you didn't know it. So why didn't you? Why is it that you can?
Maybe I'll get COVID and not die, but like if I have COVID and spread it and someone does die, I don't want to have that. I don't want.
Are they going to call you and tell you that you killed them? So how do you know?
You don't, but like, what if I did?
I go into school without wearing a mask, because this is what I believe, I think that I am putting other people at risk, and so then that will always be in my mind.
What about herd immunity? Is there any truth to that?
I don't know, because you can get
Can you?
Yes, I think they.
That hasn't been guaranteed, though. That's not like for sure science.
There's just so many ways you can look at others.
I don't know. I just go onto the side of safety and just not wear a mask.
I don't understand that, because I think it is true. What you're saying is true, that there is a lot of uncertainty about this. That is very true, and everyone's just trying to do what they can,
Yeah.
right? But I also think that you can't say that it's safety, because how is it safety to not wear a mask?
I don't want to affect my immune system by limiting the amount of oxygen I can get into my body.
But what if you were to get COVID and then you could barely breathe at all?
I was experiencing 65% oxygen on May 29th, and I thought I was going to die, literally. So I wasn't going to wake up the next morning if I would have stayed home, and so I know what it's like to have those symptoms. But it was a symptom of a staph infection, not COVID.
Yeah, but like you didn't like how that felt, right?
No, I didn't.
So if COVID feels similar to that and it's worse, and it can feel worse for other
But I don't know if I'm not asymptomatic because I don't have the test. I was 3 negative. I'm not, but I'm not positive though. So why do I have to wear a mask if I'm A, not showing symptoms, and if B, I don't know if I'm asymptomatic or not? Yeah, what's up?
Hey, who thinks we should get rid of slave words? Raise your hand.
Slave words?
Slave words.
What's a slave
Secret
word?
words. Raise your hand if we should get rid of secret slave words.
I don't know what that is.
What is that? Words that are secretly slavery words.
Slavery words.
Slavery words are like slave master, stuff like that.
You're the only one that knows the secret.
Huh?
Can you let us in on the secret?
Well, I'm asking you. Raise your hand if we should get rid of them.
I mean, we don't even know, so we don't have to get rid of it.
They're in our language.
Bro, they be going off topic so much. Like, I'll be talking about Corona, go to abortion, slave words, then go back to Corona.
I know, I hear where you're coming from. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
You're not sacrificing, you're just wearing a mask. What is that sacrificing? That's not.
Let's say you're in their house
Your
and
oxygen's
you're
not going down.
running through the internet and you got a mask and you're 6 feet apart from everybody else and you're scared and you're bored.
I mean, we don't wear a mask in our own house.
Oh, well, everything else.
Texas governor suggested that you do. If Minnesota governor suggested that you wear a mask inside your house, would you? Why not? That's an order.
There'd have to be science to back it up.
There is, isn't there science though? I thought that by him telling you would be the science.
That's not the science.
What?
No.
Okay, so what about?
That's like Trump saying there isn't a pandemic going on. That's not the science. So I'm not
Okay,
going to believe that.
so when the mandate for wearing a mask at a store tomorrow, where's the science in that?
Well, we're living in a pandemic right now.
Around a lot of people you don't know, and you have a way higher chance.
Okay.
I can see the
All right. Yeah, exactly. So the first virus ever in history of man doesn't show symptoms. I don't understand.
It's a precautionary measure.
Okay, well, if you want to wear a mask, that's totally up to you. I just don't. I'm not going to wear one, and I'll go into my stores without one.
Right, but you can't sit here and argue that it's not right.
Not wear a mask.
No, if you want to wear a mask, that's your right. That's totally up to you.
It's mandatory to wear masks in public open spaces starting 25th, which is tomorrow.
Which is tomorrow, yeah.
Just
So,
so you guys know,
do you want
I'm a
to?
state expert. You can't discriminate federal law against any people who are disabled. Mental cases are just claustrophobic. They can't wear masks. So the University of Minnesota hired me as an expert witness to build all their IBM systems. 80,000 people go over there a year to get a job. You can't turn away people because they don't want to wear a mask because they have a disability. That is federal law. It supersedes state law. I am a state expert. I taught them IBM. I am an expert in this area. The first medical benefit system the state got from me.
There you go.
And secondly, if I go into business and I ask the guy, you want me to wear that thing? Okay, or are you going to take liability if I drop dead from my oxygen level dropping down? And he says yes.
Drop dead.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's a legal defense.
What are you arguing?
You're telling the truth. No, you have a right to
drop
be
dead from wearing a mask.
I can ask you yes or no. Are you going to be liable if I do what you ask?
But you can't drop dead from wearing a mask.
What if you?
If something does happen,
what if you do?
You're going to be liable. Okay,
Nobody
will take
you're
that.
saying a hypothetical that's not going to happen.
Are you a doctor? It doesn't matter.
Are you a doctor?
No, it does matter. If it doesn't,
Are you a doctor? I'm asking him. Are you a doctor to say? Are you a lawyer or a doctor to say that that wouldn't happen?
They said that. You cannot die from wearing a mask.
Pass out. We didn't say die. We say pass out.
But they're not doctors.
Nobody's passed out driving wearing a mask.
No, you.
We see drivers all the time.
Have you looked? So nobody has ever passed out wearing a mask?
You don't need to die. You can breathe. It doesn't lower if you wear a mask. So if someone passes out, it's not because of the oxygen level. It's not because of the mask.
Maybe it's because of pre-conditioning.
So people.
Pre-existing conditions, just like
It's okay, bro. We all step forward.
at points.
I'm just saying, like to say that people haven't passed out wearing a mask is just being uninformed, and maybe you need to look it up.
No.
Okay.
Nobody has passed out from wearing a mask from their oxygen level drop.
How do you know that? How do you know you can't do that?
I'm just saying, wouldn't you think that would be like breaking news because so many people are wearing masks right now?
Come on, do you really think that the news is going to report on something like that when they are doing what they're doing? You're totally misinformed on how media works.
Anything ever look at it?
Just the majority of mainstream media is fake. Yeah.
You've seen that they just like you're just thinking this stuff and then you're like, this is real. Yes.
No, I'm reading the article and I'm
What article by what certified?
look it up. I mean, you can Google it yourself and go and use the news tab.
Conspiracy theorists online. They're not like
Here's the
certified
fact.
people.
Do you know the micron rating of a virus? What's the micron rating of a virus?
Did you look that random fact up? Like, why?
No, it's not.
We're talking about why we're wearing masks. Bro, I can look at random facts right now and ask you, do you know this?
It's not a random fact.
You don't know it.
So you don't know the micron rating of the virus?
No, I don't.
It's 0.05.
Congrats, you look
You know
at
the
it.
you know the micron rating of a mask? It's larger than the micron rating of a virus.
Bro,
So that means a virus goes through the mask.
Listen to him.
That means a virus, no matter what happens, if you
But
wear a
it
mask,
decreases the chance so much. It decreases the chance so much.
it's like erecting a gated fence to keep out mosquitoes.
Yeah, listen to him because he's
Okay,
telling you something.
so you're the type of person who makes a chain link fence to keep out mosquitoes. How does that work?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? You're a moron.
Yeah. Exactly.
They're fighting words. Come on now.
Come on, man.
Relax,
Stop
bro.
touching shit up right
We're
now, bro.
No, because I know it's all a joke to you guys, and it's
It's
just
not
all
a
fun.
joke. Because you guys are saying Corona isn't real. We actually had it. We recovered from it. And you're telling us
Yeah,
that
but
it's
people
not
trying
real.
to inform you is a joke, right?
No.
Inform us.
You're informing us false information. That's the thing.
Yeah, but you guys also think tomorrow I can't go into a store without a mask on, and I can't.
I think you should
So-
not
I
do
think
that.
you shouldn't
I'm
do
not
that.
doubting
What?
you.
What? But maybe.
If you want to wear a mask,
But this is still America, and if I want to go into a store without a mask, I can do that.
America is #1 in cases.
No, this is why America is.
Like you are just going.
It's not #1 in deaths. Unbelievable. Yeah, just don't label my selfishness as a way to that I don't have freedom.
If I'm wearing a mask, I'm not
You admitted to it being selfish.
I do.
No, you just admitted to it being selfish. Hey, bro, he's gonna clickbait his video. Chill,
I'm gonna, because I need to do that or what? I don't understand. I do. Okay, like honestly, like you think I care about views or whatever? I got plenty of people here. You know, I'm getting mad. I'm just talking to him. He thinks I need to clickbait certain things to make it relevant.
If that's not true, just ignore it.
Well, exactly. So if me wearing a mask, not wearing a mask, isn't relevant, then just ignore it.
No, but it is relevant. How about true? It's
not a law. It's not a law. I can go into a store tomorrow and not wear a mask, and I'll do it. You want to come with? Exactly.
We're not endangering people around us. So, go into a store with a whole bunch of people that don't know around you. You should wear a mask.
I don't have to. I don't have to. No, it's not. I'm not a Buddhist. I'm not a Muslim. I'm not part of any other religion.
The mask is not a religion.
It is a religion.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
It's not selfish.
Explain how is it selfish?
How's wearing a mask?
It's a religion.
To ask someone to wear a mask.
Because you're scared of coronavirus, so you demand.
No, I'm not scared of it.
Yeah, you are.
Okay, the person,
cautious,
the
not
person who
scared.
demands that another person wear a mask is scared of
If we were scared, we wouldn't go.
We're
cautious. They're worried about the
person
safety of
wear a
others.
mask.
Look, we're all good. I had it a few months ago with them.
Yeah. We've had it a few
Okay,
months.
so if it's a deadly disease, why are you standing here?
It's
You
not
have to be dead,
deadly
right?
like that. We
If
didn't have any
it's not
respiratory.
deadly,
We
that's
didn't
why
have any
you're
respiratory
standing here.
illnesses. We didn't have
Proof
any.
that it's not
And
deadly
older
is that you're
people.
standing here.
It's
We're worried
mostly
about
older
people
people
like
and people with
you.
pre-existing conditions.
And I'm
Lois,
not scared.
we're concerned about you.
I'm an old
Again,
person,
you
I'm
being
scared.
not scared does not bring
You know what?
anything to the
That's
argument.
just you though, right?
That's just
What
you.
about
Other
the
people.
population?
I'm an
There's
old person.
a whole senior homes having like breakouts and people are dying left and right.
Yeah,
Go
yeah.
check that out.
Cuomo is sending positive people to old folks' home and getting everybody infected
I
allegedly.
never said that was a good thing.
Okay.
I'm just saying.
But I don't, and I don't have to wear a mask for you.
Okay,
We're wearing it for you. Because if we get
so
it,
why
we're
don't you just
covered.
order things online, get things shipped to yourself?
I do that when I need to. I mean, when it's raining outside.
You should have to since you don't want to wear a
Look,
mask.
it's like this. You don't have to do it.
It's more expensive to just stay home and order food.
Look, right now you don't have to do it, obviously, right? But the argument is that you should, just because.
Okay, I just choose not to though. Okay, well, if you want to respect other people, that's up to you. You know.
It is very good.
But me not wearing a mask doesn't mean I don't respect people. So
Scientists saying that it's real.
no, it doesn't. You can say that, but that doesn't. That's not how it
Why do
means.
you think it's not something? Wear a stupid costume.
Because it's my choice.
But for most
So-
people, we know Halloween. What about the safety of others?
They can choose to be safe themselves.
Come out at Halloween.
If you're sick or you're worried about getting sick, you should stay home.
We have fun.
If you want to go out into the public, general public, and you want to risk getting sick, then you should wear a
We
mask.
don't have the infrastructure.
There's people dying from it.
Okay, well, you shouldn't worry about what the federal government does to protect you. You can make your own choices. I'm sure you're a big boy and you make your own
What about
choices.
me? What about the people that have to work and they can't go work because they're dying because
Then that sucks. That's just life. No, that's not selfish. That's just a comprehension of life and how people are more sick than others. So,
I just dismantled your argument.
no, you didn't. No, because tomorrow I'm going to not wear a mask in a store, and you think I knew.
You don't have to, right?
No, I'm not.
I'm arguing that you're
No, I won't.
after the age of 7.
I don't know what country you think we live in, but that's not true. So,
Lifespan. They probably could have.
no, I won't. No, I won't. That's not how it works.
Well, there is one fact here
So,
today.
so this news article from your news is untrue. In the highlighted, that medical exemptions.
You could have just randomly cut out everything you're saying was speculation.
No, it's not speculation. No, it's not. It's not an opinion. It's a fact.
It's not facts.
Yeah, it is. Go into a store tomorrow and say, I'm medically exempt from wearing a mask, and they'll say, okay, and then leave the store, come back and wear a mask if you feel more comfortable. Do it tomorrow. I guarantee anybody to do it and prove my point. Exactly, because you don't want to be. You don't want me to be right. You don't want me to be right.
Hey,
Have a
you
good
two
day.
deserve each other, bro. You guys have similar mindsets.
You guys do deserve each other too, so take care of yourselves, fellas. All right, bro. Take care. Yep, you deserve each other too, guys. There goes our soy boy men, quote men in this country.
They're introducing 5G.
Soy boys.
4G, 5G.
Soy boys.
So the 5G would cause it to
Soy boys.
Is that
Vaccinated, vaccine damaged soy boys.
Gonna go get a soy
Gonna go get a frappuccino from McDonald's. Woo, front lines. This is what we're dealing with. This is unbelievable. Thanks, ladies. Bye. Take care. Obliteration.
We're not gonna lose.
No, you can't. They were adamant that you go into a store tomorrow, you have to wear a mask. They're adamant about that. And then and I said, okay, tomorrow you go into a store and say you have a medical exemption. I'm not going to do that. I want to wear a mask. And it's like, no, just do it to prove my point. Why won't you just try it? I don't want to. Because they're afraid that I'm right.
They're under mass hypnosis.
Oh, just
They kept
unbelievable.
telling me over and over, why don't you just put on a mask? Why don't you just wear a mask? It's just a piece of cloth over your face. Why don't you wear it?
Yeah, now I'm not going to wear a mask. A max. I'm not going to wear a max just because you tell me to now. So.
Yeah, this is quite the year. 2020 is just like.
Yeah, it's just like, what's next? Like, seriously. I can't believe it's already 8:30,
They
Lois.
could make the second wave real by turning on 5G.
Well, Dr. Leonard Horowitz is the top guy. The IBM Watson supercomputer did a DNA match on it. It is a bioweapon. Okay, it could be time released, like 40 months. I just saw his latest publication. I'm going to put him in Amazing Jews chapter, so anyone that censors me will be on Hitler people. I'll put him as a Jew hater. Yeah, because he's a good Jew. You got to make sure, and the first thing people will do is call you anti-Semitic and thinking honest Jewish doctrine. But he's really good. He has 528 frequencies heal your body. He has all kinds of Dr. Leonard Horowitz. 528 frequencies heal your body naturally.
Yeah.
And I get to buy this stuff, but I'll be promoting him in my Amazing Jews chapter with Craig Dumark. Gave us free ads. Free place to sell your stuff.
Yeah, she wrote it down.
Here's two good ones.
I want to check it out.
How you guys doing?
Hey guys, how you doing? So you've been listening and watching quite a bit. How's it going?
Just listening from a distance.
Yeah.
So, just in a nutshell, your goal at providing some sort of persuasive message every day. What is your goal, kind of in a nutshell?
Well, actually, I know, right? Actually, I'm just trying to get a barometer of what people think about non-mask wearers and where people who wear masks are coming from, where they get their information from, and then explain where I get my information from and why I don't wear a mask. And I'm not going to wear a mask because I don't have symptoms, I'm not sick, so I go about my business and carry on as usual. So, and I haven't felt any concern about me being asymptomatic because I don't know where I would have become asymptomatic throughout the 39 years of my life. So how can I, pinpoint a time that I got coronavirus and I'm spreading it off onto other people when I've been tested 3 times for it, and each time, it's all been negative.
Where have you been tested?
Yeah, here downtown Fairview, on the north side of the river, because you got, Riverside, Fairview Hospital, and you got the other one.
We live right next to because there's right next to the health partners, there's that drive-through. I'm pretty sure you're probably
Okay.
familiar with that. Okay, so you've got tested. I'm guessing that was the nasal straight.
Yeah, it was. Yep.
How was that, by the way?
I used to do tube feedings for like 20 years, so I put a tube down my nose for 20 years, so it wasn't a big deal to me. No. It was. I didn't feel like it. I didn't feel it being evasive, but I know I can feel why people would think it's evasive. My tears did. I did get some teared up a little bit in my eyes, but it wasn't like I passed out because I was, in pain or anything like that. So.
Before I start off with kind of just a basis of what you stand for, do you feel like there's any inherent opposition that you might feel that maybe contributed to any political affiliation?
No, I don't vote. I don't care about politics or anything like that. Yeah, it's unfortunate that people who don't wear masks are more labeled as being Trump supporters or
It kind
Republican.
of sucks that everything's become so politicized
Yeah.
and tribalistic. I agree with you. I personally, in this upcoming election, and also, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
To be honest, and the last election, I felt very similar
Mm.
because, and I don't know if it's because currently I'm 23 years old.
Yeah.
I'm college educated. I'm currently in law school, and I'm very open to opinion. I don't really trust major news outlets, whether it's your big ones, whether it's left-leaning or right-leaning.
Yeah.
I try to make my decisions as independent as possible, and I understand that issues become so tumultuous and embedded with these political ideologies. So I try to not let myself really follow under a path because I understand how much major news has a part in that. So you're saying that political ideology has not affected your position
No.
in any way, and I totally understand. And I understand from my point of view, the reason I'm not wearing a mask right now is because we're outside. I understand how air flows. If I were to breathe out and I did have coronavirus, the likelihood, the wind is going right
Yeah.
right now. The likelihood that it would reach you right now is very low. The only reason that I do choose to wear a mask while I'm in indoor places, and before I continue, do you believe that while you're inside, you should wear a mask, even if you're uncertain that you may not have been experiencing asymptomatic symptom, or could have been asymptomatic? Obviously, you weren't experiencing symptoms in that period,
Yeah.
although you've been tested 3 times. Do you feel like when you're inside, maybe you should wear a mask?
No, it's not anything I concern myself with. It just doesn't even cross my mind.
So me as a person, as trying to be as rational as possible, even though I don't believe throughout this, because I was really hooked on coronavirus and information about it as early as late December when it first came out. And when I first saw these couple of cases, I thought this is weird. I also am of belief that this is not with the presumption that this is a real pandemic and this is occurring, that I don't think this is as natural as it is procured to be.
So you think it's like developed somewhere?
Well, I don't know if it was intentionally developed and let out as a virus. That's for sure. That's for sure. But I do believe that coincidences happen way less often as they're reported to be. So the fact that the Wuhan Institute of Virology is so close proximately to where the virus started, I don't think that this is some coincidence that this wet market that just so happens to sell this this bat, which there was no evidence that the bat that purportedly caused this virus is being sold at this market, and this bat originated far away from where this virus started.
Yeah.
And then you have this Institute of Virology, which we've been funneling money into for the past year or two.
May I interject? On that subject, Dr. Leonard Horowitz published the IBM Watson supercomputer results that proved it was actually a DNA match. It was a bioweapon. Okay?
Yeah.
And this is the top IBM executive in Europe that ran the test with their supercomputer Watson. I'm an IBM guru. I've studied, taught this university people, everybody. But that is the bottom line. That DNA match, it's a bioweapon. So we don't know for sure, but Dr. Leonard Horowitz, he's going to be in my book, God's Dog Show, under the Amazing Jews chapter. Because we don't want this information being censored. He's a very honest man.
And I'm totally I'm vehemently opposed to censorship, generally speaking. I'm a big fan of letting things speak. I think a lot of stuff generally does get censored to a great degree. So that I'm a little hesitant when we start talking about bioweapons because, and I will admit that I'm a little under researched in what you're specifically talking about in the IBM studies that you were saying, and my familiarity with this Dr. Horowitz, or was that
Dr. Leonard Horowitz, he's been doing quite a bit of research. I've studied it all, and it turns out that Kissinger, he's part of the Saturn death cult.
I'm familiar with that too.
And the author's stuff, I've looked over it, but he missed quite a bit. And the Illuminati cards show all the different cards they play. I studied it this week, and the death mask is one of them. So they kind of roll this stuff out. It's very advanced people that are doing this, but I'm just going to share that with you.
And this is so okay. So I understand that there's been it's really hard when you dive into that stuff because as a scholar of people who have entered that realm, it becomes really skewed when you start to talk about these ancient theologies and these worship of God.
Agreed. And
Yeah.
here's I keep it to simple points, under 10 seconds. Okay, under Gulf War syndrome, 250,000 injured on Wikipedia from the vaccine. So that's 250,000 our military guys Gulf War syndrome. And it was a bioweapon because people didn't even go over there, spread it to their families when they took the shot. That's on Wikipedia, 250,000 military. I keep that very simple. Gulf War syndrome, 60 Minutes published the swine flu issues, and they actually shut the thing down because they were dropping like flies from it. And if you look at the statistics from Del Bigtree, he shows the baby deaths dropped to 0 when we had the lockdown because people couldn't bring their baby in for a vaccine anymore. So those are the facts I look at.
Yeah, I'm a little worried when we start to talk about vaccines because things become from, so in logic there's I-A-D-O. It's all are, none are, some are not, right? And
Well,
when
here's the way I look at it, okay? I'm a comedy guy. We got the dumbasstax.com website. And here's the deal. When somebody's got a logo with skull and bones and they hand you a shot put in your arm and you take it and die, it's on you, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, they're all part of Skull and Bones. Tamiflu guy was Skull and Bones. That's their joke. They're all yelling Skull and Bones. All of them.
Well, I think Skull and
I'm
Bones,
just saying, if you're going to have a guy with a Skull and Bones logo and he's going to give you a shot to put in your arm and you put it in your arm and die, I mean...
Like fraternities and stuff, like secret
I
organizations,
secret societies, but Skull and Bones is at least in my words. I'm way more worried about...
That's the common denominator of all of the vaccine people.
Or Freemasons.
Or the Bohemian Club.
Yeah.
Why don't we talk about the Bohemian
You can
Club?
go right on Wikipedia and read about Skull and Bones.
Well,
They even tell you how the
We're talking about
320...
the Skull and Bones that actually are a death cult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what did you say,
They want
Bones?
eugenics.
They do want eugenics.
It's bragging rights. One guy makes one vaccine, Tamiflu, he's killing off a bunch of people. The next guy's Cheney's going to make a bunch. Bush is going to have.
And it's like Jim Carrey on Jay Leno when he says, and they're buying it. And they're buying every single vaccine, every single thing that they come out with. You know what's funny about what we minted, the Treasury minted in 2020 of January of this year a bat quarter, a fruit bat quarter. So like how we had the states a number of years ago. Wow. Now recently in the past like 6 months or something like that, they've come out with I think a dozen or so quarters, and one of the quarters was a fruit bat that came out in January of 2020. So you have to come out and plan these things, right? If you're going to print money, you got to have that planned out a couple years beforehand, right? To make sure that there's enough circulation and quarters and there's not too much, right? So is it a coincidence? But is it a coincidence that the bat quarter is coming through?
I would have to look more into that, but I would say that the presumption that the quarter has to be scheduled a couple years in advance would be kind of a stretch due to
a year?
Donald Trump's coins being released in 2017. I guess a year may be reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
But what I want to get back to is, if we are going to look at these cabals or these sort of organizations, I'm totally of the belief that there are large groups of people that have immense amount of power in this country, and I'm not a conspiracy theorist by any means, but I do believe that you look at the Manhattan Project. Where did that start?
I don't know.
Bohemian Grove. That was already
It started in Bohemian Grove. Okay.
With members of the Bohemians.
Okay.
And that
had a lot of compartmentalization.
Yeah.
A lot of people doing A and B and C and didn't know what A, B, and D were doing, right? So there's a lot of compartmentalization that goes on, behind the scenes, and it's best for them. Like it's their own personal protection, right? Because plausible deniability is kind of the thing that you hear in military.
And I will say it's fucking scary to think about how few people make a statement. And that statement goes on to, I don't want to say fascist, but a source of trail of information where we are expected to believe whatever that information said be.
Yeah.
And if we don't, we're ostracized.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
ostracized.
right.
And I understand that you guys have probably experienced a lot of that just because of so back to what I was saying originally. What is your goal of being here today?
Just to get a barometer of where people are at, to be honest with you, and then inform them that tomorrow, the starting mandate about having to wear a mask indoors, you have a religious and a medical exemption from not wearing a mask, and it says it right here in your Star Tribune. And also, it's a federal law that you can't deny people service regarding discrimination for a medical or religious exemption.
Okay, with everything that I've said so far and how much I agree with a lot of points that we probably agree about, that 99% of the people out here are uninformed and don't agree about, or don't further wish to educate themselves about these kind of, taboo areas of understanding that our government lies to us all the time. What is the dangers of wearing a mask?
What is the what?
What are the dangers of wearing a mask?
From what I've seen, it lowers your ability to inhale oxygen and exhale, and vice versa. And then did you do that over a period of time? Eventually, you're not getting in the oxygen level that you need.
Okay, has there been any scientific studies that prove the deprivation of oxygen to the brain from the concurrent use of masks?
Yes, I have a YouTube channel, and I encourage you to check it out. The links are in the description below. There's a guy who does Truth in Media, all one word, truthinmedia.com. And he does some videos and shares information that would help you see. I think his name is something Swan. What's his name? Ben Swan, I think it is. And he did some information like a week ago and gave a bunch of links that showed even back in 2013 and 2015, they were doing mask tests and trying to find out whether they were efficient against helping against viruses, and they showed that they were ineffective. So,
okay, so
it's like one person gets information from here, another person gets it from here, but where I sit and stand is what the CDC and WHO said at the beginning, is that if you're not showing symptoms and you're not sick, you don't have to wear a mask, and you shouldn't.
Well, another thing, I just wanted to mention, another little point. I mean, there's the deprivation of oxygen, but also there's an effect on society. When we're not able to read each other's expressions, we're not able to see each other smile, we're going to have a society of automatons just wearing a patch where their mouth ought to be. And that's what worries me and scares me.
I totally understand that. I currently am a law clerk at a criminal defense firm, and I'm a law student. I'll be a lawyer in about a year. We were just in trial, and we were just doing jury selection, and that's a huge issue right now. Because
mask wearing in court or something like that?
I got a question where I specialize in this area. Do you know what BAR stands for?
BAR?
Yeah, the Bar Association. You know what BAR stands for, acronym?
Enlighten me.
Well, I will let you know this. 90% of the lawyers don't even know what that means.
Hey, we can see your tongue. I think you're not wearing a mask.
Stands for British Registry. That's why Lincoln was a Rothschild agent. He was a member of the bar.
Yeah.
They wanted to corporatize all the northern states to be corporations, like you're a corporation. When you're born, you're a corporation. Both the Pope claimed all the people on the planet his collateral corporations.
Can't see your smile.
And the King of England in our history.
Well, a lot of our stuff derives from English common law, so.
Correct. Yeah. But I'm just, giving you a heads up on just education you're getting right now is so bad, you're not even learning what BAR stands for.
Yep. Well,
that's my point. That's the joke, okay? Yep. How much are you paying for law school?
Right now, well, I have a 30% scholarship, so it's about 17 grand.
We should go up and down the strip here and see who's got the year
I think
so you're going to drop 50 grand for law school?
Total or something.
And they're not even going to tell you what BAR stands for. My
well,
point. Done.
I mean,
what do you think it is?
I actually built the systems at the university. I actually taught them IBM over there. I know the people over there very well.
Where at?
The University
Somebody left a key fob behind.
We built all the systems for them.
It's a
before I showed up,
communication
they didn't have
device.
computers to do anything. We built all the IBM systems. I taught all their stuff. Built all their medical benefit systems. All that. So I'm a state expert and built the federal discrimination systems.
Keep that.
A real expert.
Yeah, I'm a real expert.
What net effect, though, does understanding the acronym for BAR have on the judicial system in America?
Well, there's many other subjects basic stuff they don't teach you.
Well, it's like the idea that if you ask for a lawyer, you're giving over your own rights to somebody else, and then you've lost all of them.
If they don't teach you that it's
Okay.
admirable law.
Okay.
What about that? I've stirred the pot with that.
Yeah, correct. Or that the basic stuff, like we're ruling under admiral law out at sea.
Yeah.
Okay. And so they don't teach any of these basic concepts, even what what the words mean. You know what citizen means in Hebrew?
In Hebrew? No, I don't. I'm not a.
You're a subject of the Queen. Correct.
Subject of the Queen. Okay. What I was saying, going back to the.
I'm just saying those are things I don't agree with. Words like I'm a subject of the Queen.
No, yeah. I just don't see these tangential connections. I don't see how they negatively impact.
I'm just letting you know, I built the system that taught them over there. I know what their skill levels are.
How does that affect the
I'm just saying the level of education you're getting. I'm sorry?
What's your name?
I'll give you my website. I'm the Earth Sheriff. That's who I am. I have a book, godsdoctor.com. All the chapters, the JFK book. So the bottom line is I'm familiar with the talent over there and you're getting scammed.
I'm not going to the UVM.
Okay. I'm just saying all the schools do not teach you the stuff you should be learning.
Okay, well, to go back to your point, I wanted to say about the masks and expressions thing. I totally understand where that comes from because we were doing jury selection, and you have witnesses testify in a trial. And this case was a CSC, third-degree CSC, criminal sexual conduct, which is a rape case, which is his word against hers. And the only evidence is against hers. So it's basically hearsay, regardless of what happened. So what happens when you can't see this amount of a witness's face?
Agreed.
Credibility is of the utmost importance. So I
I'm
understand.
glad you're asking questions. Here's another good one, and I'm going to have all the points when I go over to court over here. Here's another good one. How can you get a fair trial when all your communication with your lawyer is monitored by the opposing party?
It is not. It is not all monitored.
It is.
Because I was just in the jail having a conversation.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm very familiar with AmDocs and the 200 agents. The Black Key people attack my show on my YouTube show. They monitor every phone call, every device. They have backdoors on all of it.
Well,
so that basically means that I can't have a conversation with my lawyer. I can demonstrate beyond any.
You need to be with him in person. You
No,
need to not say anything over the phone.
Agreed, but I have corresponded with my lawyer at Hennepin County by email, and that correspondence.
You have a public lawyer? Who do you have?
Public lawyer. I'll be exposing all their weaknesses, and I will be collecting damages. They're going to be. I already billed the mayor $4 grand, $8 grand the next time. Public defender office $2 grand invoice for not replying to the email. I charge for my personal visits. I will collect every one of them. They are committing fraud over there. All the claims they make on their website are all fraudulent claims. I will have all the evidence. I'll be pulling, like, probably on the ticket they gave me. They actually had a KGB agent hand me a beer, and I poured it in a cup. Okay, and I had the cup, and a cop ran up to me, and I poured it on the ground. I said, "Oh, that was O'Doul's." This ticket that they gave me a ticket for is going to cost them probably $50,000 in damages.
I will just say this before I depart.
Yeah, before you depart, I want to ask you a question. Go ahead. But finish, yeah.
But just so you're aware, that's how much they come after me. They actually had a KGB agent hand me a beer, 6 beers out, and I knew there was a setup. I put it in a cup, and the cop came running up, and I just poured it on the ground. You know, and that's how bad we've got the whole country infested with KGB agents. The Red Cocaine book covers it. The documents, 25,000 KGB agents trained to infect our whole country with crack cocaine. It's well documented.
Yes, I definitely agree with that.
And even on my website, I put KGB bait out, I call it. I put the Red Cocaine book, and they blocked it with a DNS blocker. I put 5 more copies. I made a dumbass Putin folder in Firefox. They erased it. So I got evidence. I'm a pro IT guy. I run platform tests for Reason Platform. Because if I'm trying to fight a case in trial, and these guys can interfere with my documents and my evidence, how can I have a fair trial?
Well, I mean, what you're saying, if those presumptions are accurate, I don't think they can have a fair trial. I agree with you, but I don't know if those presumptions are true. And here's what I'll say, and I think all of you will agree with me on this point. I don't fucking trust the elites of this nation. You agree with me on that?
Agreed.
What do they want more than anything?
Your compliance.
But amongst the populace, they want divisiveness.
They all want us hypnotized using very advanced technologies. That's our main goal.
Don't you think they want divisiveness amongst the populace?
They do. Divide to conquer, correct.
is one of the oldest.
100 different subjects, divide and conquer, correct, psychological operations.
And before I depart, I will just say this. There's a lot of points that, surprisingly, you and I, like, we're not that different. There's just a couple things down at the bottom that we may not align with, but we're very similar. And I just want you all, and I'm trying to work on this as much as I can, try to find points with the people that have the least amount of power that you can agree upon.
Agreed. And that's where we're rolling out Slave Word Matter next week. Slave Words Matter. We're going to have stickers en masse. We all agree the slavery word should be gone.
Yes.
We should not publicly fund
Slavery words like slave master.
Okay, let me give you an example. Landlord. Okay.
Well, all shit derived from feudal system that's still in place today.
Landlord, House of Lords in Hebrew is House of Slave Masters, land slave master. We're Attorney General in Hebrew is Slave Master General. Attorney is turning slaves over from one slave master to another. So we are going to remove the slavery words from our publicly funded, systems. And everybody agrees on that. That's the beauty. We all agree that we should be financing slavery.
We need to unify. The weakest classes need to unify. That's all I'm saying.
Right, and I agree with you. And that's
right,
a subject.
But here's something that happens. Say again your point one more time.
I'm saying that the elite, like he mentioned, divide and conquer is one of the oldest rationales of how they achieve power and keep the eyes off of them.
Right.
We need to find the lowest class and agree upon something.
Right. But what happens when the lowest class is constantly fighting the people trying to bring the things to light? It's like, so at some point, if they keep fighting, at what point do you say enough is enough? We're just gonna go ahead and do our own thing now. Because what if they don't want to,
the
be
way that I
informed?
see it is you have to ease into it.
What if they like their poverty? It's kind of like, what if they like the way that the government supplies, welfare or, even for example, what is it, affirmative action?
Yeah.
These people over here, they have to get 95% test rate, and then I get a 75% test rate, and I get to go to Harvard. So it's like,
totally understand
it's like rewarding, ignorance or lack of knowledge, maybe like drive, but also a lot of it has to do with not having a full family. A lot of families that grow up in the poorer cultures don't have a father figure, don't have a mother figure. It's always single family homes.
Completely blind to certain sectionality parts that are completely ignored by just one factor. It's one factor. Race is not the only factor. I totally understand.
Well, that's why Slave Words Matter covers all those bases, because it's not white or black, it's Spanish. It's Slave Words Matter. We're going to eliminate them. End of story.
Yeah.
And
Real
we
quick,
all can agree on that.
let me ask you a question. So is there any legal ramifications for not wearing a mask in a store? Just because I'm asking because you're going to law school, right? Or does a medical or religious exemption allow me to go into a store?
As of right now, so Walt's just ordered that. Statutorily, I agree. I'd have to do my research. That's not my area of study. I would have to see what the executive mandate from him says.
Josh, I'll answer that for you because I am an expert in this area with the state. And Gallagher is one of the top lawyers that responded to the mayor on this subject. Did a good job.
Tim Gallagher?
He's on Hennepin. But what I will say is that there's state law in the book that says masks are illegal. He covered that in his blog. And federal law says discrimination is priority. And Walt says if medically you can't wear one. Well, if you have a mental issue, you get a headache because of a mask. I do, just talking about it. Okay. End of story.
If you wear a mask, here's the thing.
Wear a max. Oh, you got to go the other way. Otherwise it won't go.
Leave a little bit of space and just breathe out your nose. There's airflow that comes up and down.
That's the idea, but so.
Showed a video of somebody with a finger thing on it, and they had 98% oxygen.
I've been pulse off too much. Just trust me. This is something I've been
Because
working
I saw the video where a child puts on the mask, and within 2 seconds he puts the oxygen level meter under the mask, and within 2 seconds it starts going off, saying that your oxygen levels are dangerously low.
It's porous,
So
though.
you're seeing a video where
No, we're not. No, we have a pulse ox at home. I do the pulse ox every night. The pulse and the oxygen levels.
Right.
And,
With the mask on and all that? Okay.
It's been okay.
Yeah.
But I understand your concerns. That was one of my first concerns when I started doing it. I don't wear it outside. I wear it when I'm inside in areas where there's other people.
Sure, fair enough.
But
Yeah.
I limit my area. I'm not gonna wear it all fucking day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Yeah.
And maybe it does have some effect on oxygen intake if you're wearing it all day, every day.
Mhm.
But I don't think that's if you're going into public places. I'm not in public places every day.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well,
Fair enough. I appreciate you guys stopping.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting late, but mosquitoes are coming out.
what I would say is,
Got my good work. Jesse.
Yeah, but I'm good to see you again. I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.
You guys have a great day.
thank you guys for trying to have a conversation.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, you know. All right, folks.
All right, be well.
There it is. Boom. Yeah, Miles is back here chatting.
Like a whole mob of them here.
Yeah.
Out of control.
All right, guys. Take care. Peace. Peace.